Hey, come on in. We saved a seat for you. Today we're going to be talking about some movies.
2021 movies.
I think like 50.
53 to be precise.
Maybe
more. Maybe some shows if we've got the time, which we will.
We've
got
nothing but time.
So what we're gonna do is go through all the movies that we as a group. Some of us have seen some of these. So... First movie, Old, directed by M. Night Shyamalan.
Why is that the first?
Because they're in random order.
They're supposed
no,
to
because they're in
surprise
random
us.
order.
Is this alphabetical
What
order?
kind of...
Old? Ald?
I'm just asking a Joseph question.
That sounded like something you would have said.
That was a
I did
change
just say
question.
it.
All right, what did you guys think of Old?
I thoroughly enjoyed it.
It's a pretty average movie
That was pretty.
with like a lackluster twist from the Shyamalan ding dong.
But there wasn't a
Shyamalan.
twist.
There was
That was
There
a
was
twist.
But no, that wasn't a twist.
There
though.
was
was
a
a twist.
twist. That
It's
the
not
whole
trying to,
time,
like,
It went back in the plot, and they're like, "Remember that time?"
that was
Like,
a
that
medical.
wasn't
It was
actually
medical research.
I don't know
it
if I
went back in time to like say like, oh, this person was like working for this.
Remember that drink they got?
Sure, I guess it's
The
more of
twist
just like
it wasn't what you thought the drink
was the medicine?
The drink was the medicine.
I guess it's
drink
more
was
just-
not drink.
There's a twist.
It's
It's,
a-
not
it's
like
a-
a.
It's not like a
it's like a
unbreakable Sixth Sense
It's a
glass twist. It's
all
not like
twists
a.
are
It's more like an
reveal.
ending reveal.
Sixth Sense is a reveal.
I think it's a.
Regardless, it's not like his traditional like
No,
twist. I would
you're
say.
right. It
You're
was a
right, you're right.
shit twist.
Yeah,
But
but Glass had a bad one too. I thought it was
Probably worse.
pretty kind of bad.
Like 4.
It was like pretty poor writing. All the performances were pretty bad.
I don't think it was that bad.
I mean, it just
I wouldn't
wasn't
say
like
I'm not knocking on the performances. I
thought the
really liked.
performances
What
were
was the guy?
fine.
Freight Train.
mid-sized sedan.
Mid-sized sedan.
That was that.
Too bad he had like 2 minutes of screen time.
Or like the guy from Hereditary. He always does a good job. The girl from Last Night in Soho and
It just wasn't anything out of that movie. Didn't really like stand out.
Yeah, I don't ever want to watch it again.
I walked out of the theater and I was like, there was nothing good.
It was
about
like a very basic.
It was fine.
The
It was-
story
it
was
was-
kind of it was
it
kind of
was-
silly and it like didn't make a lot of sense.
It was no Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Exactly.
The
it
gold
was.
standard.
It was just
do
very.
you think it's better than Glass?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But that is
So
like
it's better than Glass, but worse than maybe any of his other movies.
then his first like 4.
I liked.
But like The
parts
Happening,
of
Lady
it.
in the Water,
yeah.
like Avatar. He's made a lot of terrible movies.
Stinkies.
The Visit isn't very good.
That's pretty good.
I wasn't a huge fan.
Yeah, just
He's
kind
really
of
had
underwhelming. I
no-
thought it was gonna be like a way cooler like story device than like that it's all for medical research. I thought like
Yeah, it's kind of a lame.
maybe
twist.
like there was something to it instead of
Also,
like,
I
like-
totally agree.
The solution of like
That's so
you have to crawl through the magic coral.
oh yeah, the coral it'll protect
Oh, it's
you.
it's a tube. You just swim through.
There's
it
a
and you're fine.
tube over there.
They're just
It like blocks out the
Jimmy
whatever
Dean. Jimmy Dean.
like
Jimmy Dean's tube over there.
radiation, whatever it is.
there were a number of silly lines. I wasn't a huge fan.
No, neither was I.
Oh, also the part where like the lady that's like obsessed with like her beauty or whatever is like in the
when
cave
she, like, becomes
and
Yeah.
just starts like actually killing
Transformer.
herself.
Was it
She
supposed
just
to be
starts like
funny?
I don't know.
I laughed.
I couldn't tell in
I
that
laughed.
movie what was like funny
it-
because it was like M.
also
Night and it was
did.
bad, and what was funny because he was trying to be funny.
Yeah, it also just
So I, like-
looked bad.
Yeah.
Like that whole thing.
She has calcium deficiency. Was that it?
Yeah. Something
It was
that.
like trying to be like a horror movie at some points, and some points were like kind of weird, like the thing where the she like gets pregnant with the baby when she's like a kid. What was it? She like got pregnant when she was a kid.
Well, they became
And then-
like teenagers or something, and then they like.
and they like
boned.
instantly got horny.
Yeah.
Oh, and she got pregnant and then the baby died.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it grew too quickly.
Yeah.
It was pretty lame.
No food.
Yeah.
food.
Any other thoughts?
I
What do
don't.
you have the score, the rankings we gave it?
I have mine.
Ooh.
What was yours?
Oof.
I'd probably go 5.
I'd also say 5. Nothing special.
I don't care. All right.
What is it?
5 is
Oh,
fine.
okay. You could like be different.
I'm gonna go ahead and agree with that.
8 maybe.
I think
I hated it.
I remember after we saw it, I gave it something different than everybody. and I think it was. I don't know. Random.
I not a huge fan. Next, The Kissing Booth 3.
Who remembers that movie?
Yeah.
Who saw it?
3 of us
sadly.
did.
How was there a second one? What happened to the second one?
The second one was the one that was 2.5 hours long, and it was like
It was like the
Everything
dance recital.
Oh, the dance competition. That wasn't the third one?
No,
What was the third one then?
I don't know. I don't remember.
unfortunately it didn't make much of an impression. I remember the ending.
Oh, yeah, they
She-
both have their new, like, the
Well,
guy.
They both decided to go to different colleges, and then years after that, they meet up at like maybe like a reunion or something.
It was like outside, and she had short hair.
Yeah, it was like they both had different jobs, and they like had lived out their lives, but they still didn't have like a partner.
And they still love
And then they
each
were
other.
like, "Oh, what if we like hung out?"
Yeah.
And then I'm assuming they boned.
I remember that, but I also remember the thing where she like at the end decides that she wants to go like be like a game designer, and like
Yeah, and she was like,
Oh.
no, remember she pitched to the
it
meeting?
was
and
watching esports. That was
It
she,
was,
like,
it was esports.
Yeah, it was like she
it
goes
was
to the
like
bar.
fantasy football, but for esports.
Yeah, she goes in the boardroom and she's like pitching all this like
Yeah,
esports
I
stuff,
don't remember this.
and it was like it was cringe.
There are a lot of
It was
gamers out
crazy.
there, and they don't watch sports. They watch professional gaming. And now I was thinking, what if we had fantasy gaming?
Is that really that bad of an idea?
Yes. I don't know.
Why did
I don't-
her
I don't
character
know,
do
it's a
that?
stupid idea. It was just like.
I don't know.
I'm
Also,
kinda-
that's out of left field. She remember she really liked the Wii or something. She liked danced.
They did like
the
Mario
dancing
Kart. Remember the
arcade
Mario
game.
Kart scene where they like all dressed up as like
It's like really drunk.
I'm sure there's also already like fantasy football, but for esports.
that's why it's a
I'm sure
stupid
it was,
idea.
like,
Isn't that
sure
just
it
with,
came
like
up before
streaming?
that.
I'm sure.
Yeah,
they
I remember
stream
like when
that
they
stuff.
described it, it was just like streaming. It was watching esports, which is just what esports
I
are.
can guarantee. Yeah, they.
People want to
Stream that
see
shit all
other
the time.
gamers.
It was bad.
I bet it was. I don't remember liking that movie.
I give it a 1.
One.
One.
Oh, you haven't seen it, so you can't. Oh, I guess you haven't seen
I
it.
watched it.
You were a little under the influence.
I have some. I don't know. Just one.
All right, The Matrix Resurrections.
You know what? I kind of enjoyed watching this movie just because it was like kind of a bad, shitty movie. But,
I didn't mind it.
After-
It could have been worse.
I just started rewatching. I watched the first Matrix and I watched the second Matrix like last week. And then I was thinking about the fourth Matrix and how it literally makes no sense
I mean, yeah,
that it even exists.
it is weird. The like approach they took where they were like, we're gonna be super meta and like have like
Warner
Brothers are the
There's,
bad
like,
guys,
the bad guys
and
But is that like
Neo
true?
Neo works for a game developing company, and the Matrix is a game inside the Matrix, and it was weird. And I don't know. I couldn't tell if it was like stupid, like just really stupid, or
There was no. I feel like the trilogy concluded on a maybe a good point.
yeah, it didn't need to exist.
Yeah, it was definitely unnecessary, and it was just like a watered down version of its predecessors.
The new characters were like disposable. The action was really bad.
Yeah.
Which was really upsetting. It's like the main thing here.
I saw a meme where they said like in the first one it's like, oh, I know like kung fu, and it's like super choreographed with all the like
Still
karate
no
and
kung
stuff.
fu.
Yeah, but then in this movie he just like pushes.
Yeah, he doesn't use like
He doesn't use
do
kung
martial
fu.
arts. It's,
Yeah, he's like as
There was like
Joseph just
one
said,
scene.
he uses the force, and then
He uses the force for the whole movie. It's like, what?
the like recasting.
Yeah,
Agent Smith
Morpheus
was
is
like,
in it.
oh,
Agent
Morpheus.
Smith is
those
like
two.
recast. It's
I wasn't a fan of all the action was like really disappointing.
The only action that I remember is the one where they all go back into the Matrix to like try to get Trinity.
The scene with the Merovingian, where he's like
with the
screaming.
Merovingian,
I was
whatever.
also
But like that is the most worthless. Like, oh, remember him from that other movie?
I can't
Well,
believe I
here
didn't
he
recognize
is,
him.
Screaming
wait,
in French
And he
for
has
no
like
reason.
he looks like a homeless person. It's like I will totally recognize this character.
I must not be a real fan since I didn't recognize him.
I didn't. He's like barely in the second, or he's like in the second one, but not for that much.
Yeah. Neil Patrick Harris was good. I guess.
His character still doesn't make any sense because they have the architect in the first 3 movies.
Because he took over what's his name, the analyst. He took over.
But I don't know. It was confusing.
And the
But
story
didn't Neo
also,
have something to do with that?
the analyst.
Yeah.
Well, was that they
What was
like
the-
brought him and Trinity back to life because together they like.
They provided a lot of power to
Yeah,
the Matrix,
so-
or energy or something.
Yeah. It definitely was more focused on a love story.
Sounds like a headache.
Well, they just
Between-
wanted to
between
give Trinity like a
And she's the one too.
female representation, but I feel like she got a lot of.
Okay.
I was gonna say I feel like they did a good job at.
Well, yeah, she
giving
was
her
already a
female-
good character. She didn't
There's
need.
also, as well written as the Matrix series is.
She was girl
She was, like,
bossing
good.
hard.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't necessary for her to girl boss anymore. She's already a girl boss.
You're right. God, you're right. It was
True,
just
Queen.
could have been worse for a 4th Matrix movie, but certainly disappointed in the action, which was the biggest
that's-
letdown for me.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the only reason I really like the first one is because the
Practical,
choreography
yeah.
of it.
Yeah, and it's just so much stuff in that first movie. Like you're never gonna be able, even like in the second one's, the
It's
third
like
one.
iconic stuff too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're never
like
gonna
the-
recapture it.
And also, like the spinning
finger punch.
camera like stuff
Also.
is really nifty.
Yeah,
Like I thought
Yeah,
that was
like
like
the
cool.
first time.
It was like kind of like, well, yeah, didn't they have like 100 cameras or something?
Yeah,
and they
set up
like
to do that.
actually did it. Like,
It's cool as shit.
that's
Yeah,
really cool.
the Agent Smith like finger punch where like he stops the punch and then he goes like that straight
Oh,
to his
his
neck.
He's like, oh.
the movie's awesome, and even the second two, I don't.
I think
They end the
it's
story.
It's a solid
decently well.
trilogy.
Yeah.
Compared to most
I
things
really
that
like-
come out now.
What's the original Agent Smith guy?
Hugo Weaving, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He like has like a weird accent in those movies.
Well, he just like
Or like his like.
he's just playing it up. He's just acting.
Okay.
I would give it a 5.
I'd probably a 4.5.
Give her a
Nice.
5.5. Just because it was kind of fun.
Halves?
I don't know.
Doing halves.
Kind of funny.
It was like stupid, and especially when he's like, "Fuck." There's like, they're like, "Well, you have to make a decision again." He's like, "Fuck."
That was awesome.
Why do you even say that?
Next movie, Reminiscence,
Oh, that's a beautiful
directed
movie.
by someone. It was a first-time director, I think.
I guess it's not terrible for a first time.
Starring Hugh Jackman,
Rebecca Ferguson.
Rebecca Ferguson.
The structure of the plot was kind of cool, but like the plot just did not work.
I feel like they had a lot of interesting ideas.
I thought it could have been like really cool. Like I thought the ideas of like the plot were cool, but then like
Well, they had like a
They took some
dream,
wrong
like the
turns.
dream sequence kind of thing, and then they had like, everything's been flooded for some reason,
Or-
and that's
Well,
like,
that was just New Orleans in the future, right?
New Orleans like next year.
but it's like they want to reconnect with like their happier memories, I guess. But
Yeah, it's kind of a cool idea.
like at the end, it was like the one person, the alcoholic who had been like running from life, decides to like stay in life, and the guy who had been like trying to like look back in the past decides to go to Pat, like look to like he just locks himself in that thing, which is like really sad, but it was like a cool like I didn't see that coming really.
There were some cool ideas. It
Just
just
like once you actually started like looking into like what that like whole what the story relied on is like the whole like in your past thing. Once you actually started like looking into it, didn't it like not make sense at all?
There was like a couple.
Like, don't
How
big
would you like
pranks.
see anywhere else in the room besides where that person was
Yeah.
looking at the time?
Oh,
Or like
I
when
do.
she
With the
lost
drugs?
her key, and it's like it's based on your perception.
she was like, "Oh, it's in like 5 rooms from here."
yeah.
but it
Yeah.
like it like she like didn't notice when she lost it. So like, how would you have?
Known.
I just
Yeah.
remember some action scene with it was like when it's like
When
Some
they're on
act-
the roof.
what?
When they're on like the roof.
No, it was like
to
in
get
like
hits
was it
them.
like in a bar or something? And like it's like one of
Oh,
the first ones.
when he
When
like
they're meeting
puts him in the
shootout.
fish
yeah,
tank,
yeah. That's like
and they all die.
And then I just remember the ending where he like
It was
has to go back in his memories.
That's
It was
his
cool.
punishment.
Yeah.
it like in like
It just
there were like small things that just didn't make like if it was directed by like Christopher Nolan.
I think I remember
it
at
just
the,
didn't add up.
at
to
the
anything.
ending where like Rebecca Ferguson was like caught by the one dude who like got burned or something. I think that was his thing.
Yeah.
And then she was like talking to Hugh Jackman's character,
And he was
'Cause he-
like,
'cause
because
she
she knew
knew
he was
his-
gonna track down.
but then she like still killed herself where she could have like easily escaped. I think. I don't know.
Well, it was like they
I
were
don't-
like gonna
I don't
get some
remember.
information out of her, and then she was like, "I'm better off dead."
But she could have easily like
No,
I think
if I
there
was
was
her,
like
I
I
wouldn't
think there was
have
like
done
the ocean right there, and she could have like dove in.
Yeah.
Or not the ocean, but
Well,
like,
didn't she dive in and like drown herself? How'd she die?
she like took a bunch of she like OD'd
Oh,
I think
yeah.
on the drugs.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But she could have just dove in and then I don't know.
Maybe
I
she
just-
just relapsed and she just really wanted the drugs.
Probably.
It could be those.
There were some interesting ideas. It just wasn't written in a way that, yeah, if it was like
I don't
written
know
by
what-
someone that, like Christopher Nolan, so you have someone that like
That's
specializes in stuff like that, like
Stupid
Inception
shit.
and
Yeah,
nope.
I
like
think
Interstellar.
it was a
movies.
better concept for a movie than like Tenet. I like that movie, or I like it. But,
Tenet?
no, I'm saying like I wish that movie had been like they could switch. Places, you know what I'm saying
there's
just like all the time and effort. I thought that was a
nothing-
quite.
Tenet. We're not talking about Tenet.
nothing to say really.
Hamburger.
I
What
got
is
like a
that?
5.
I'd give it a 5.
5 seems fair.
We're not doing halves. Let's give it a 5.
Pretty middle of the road.
Next, Licorice Pizza. Directed by
10.
PTA.
Wow, pedophilia? I'd give it a 10.
Do we want to get into the moral implications of the
No, because I
overlying
don't
plot?
think it like matters. I don't think that's like the point of the movie.
If I can ignore that,
What's the point then?
I don't think there.
I
don't
is there a
think
point?
that. I
It's
don't.
unlikely
There's not
love,
a point,
I
but I
think
don't
it's-
think.
I thought the point was love is love.
well, no, yeah, at the end where it's
Well, I
like
don't think it's
she's
just, like,
talking to
simple
the
as
gay
that.
guys.
I feel like it is because
No, it's
it
the two
focuses
gay
on the
guys were
relation,
like talking about how he was like,
It
I wish
also-
this could be okay, and there's like I really like that person.
and it also focuses on the whole point of the movie is their relationship,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
and it was like
is.
wrong.
And
the only
they
reason I
finally
didn't do
get-
it is because it was wrong.
Yeah,
I don't say. I
But
don't.
then
Think,
they
this isn't like it's
did.
not the type of movie where it's
they
like
did, and then
like a clear cut like theme that the character says at the end, and then like the arc's complete and the movie's over. It's like its own like slice of life thing. Period.
When they
piece
kiss,
that.
that is like totally.
Okay, but it is. But I'm
And
saying
at
it's
the
not
end,
like.
she's like, I love
I'm saying,
you,
but the
Gary.
but
And
he's
he's
like
like a
but I'm saying
16-year-old
the
running
movie
away.
also it's like it has a bunch of different like plot points that like happen throughout the movie, and none of them really build to anything. They just in
This
like
is-
some ways contribute.
I was
to,
loving it the entire way.
just in some ways contribute to
different-
like they add to the characters,
the
but
cop thing.
I wouldn't really call them different plot points. I would say they're repeated plot points.
Yeah, it's the
It was
idea
just-
that they're trying
yeah.
to make one another like jealous because it's like, oh, Gary goes after this girl, and then Alana, is that her name, or Elena?
Alana.
Alana is like jealous of Gary, but then Alana goes after this guy, and then Gary gets jealous.
and then Gary does
but
this
then
in
they
life.
finally
and Alana
come
does
together
this,
because they're like, oh, we don't care about the age gap.
It's
yeah.
it's a constant like Alana wants to grow up and then doesn't, and then like Gary wants to
Be
do
Yeah,
a business and like get with a girl that is his age
Yeah.
and then doesn't.
But then they finally
and then they just get together.
Yeah.
Well, it's like at the beginning, like within like what was it, like 10 minutes of the movie starting, they like both had made their decision, or like they both liked each other and they like should have gotten together. And then the rest of the movie was them just like
They shouldn't.
the perils.
They shouldn't. Yeah.
It was good though. It was good. I didn't like love it as much as I wanted to. I didn't feel like that
I did.
director.
I kind of want to see it again.
I
I
did too.
really liked it. I'm not gonna lie.
I could,
The
like,
more
recognize
time
it was-
I've had.
I liked it, but compared to the other movies I've seen by him, I feel like when I first watched those, I was like, oh man, I really.
Well,
like
you're
this
supposed to
movie.
like take his movies in for like a couple weeks and like.
But I'm saying like a
like,
first
digest.
impression for that movie, I really like the other movies. I really
yeah, I
liked
did
it, but
too.
in this movie, I was like, huh.
So I'm curious to see as more time passes or after like a
There's-
rewatch.
It was really good.
There was just like this constant tension that I built like for myself of like
Waiting for something to happen.
waiting for something to happen.
I
And
thought
then it- like,
someone was
I-
gonna get
yeah.
murdered.
Someone was going
Brad-
to die during that movie.
Well, they
and
introduced
never did.
they introduced the Bradley Cooper character
I love
as
that
like
guy.
an
He
insane
was-
maniac.
He was
but
very
then
funny.
but then he just like
Yeah,
basically
but I don't-
disappeared.
Yeah.
Like I thought it would, but I think that was like a kind of like a, like the expectations. Like he kept coming back, and like we thought that's the time that they figured out they either flooded his house, killed his Ferrari, like
Yeah.
did
it's
some
not
shit.
But
a.
I'm saying
It's
they
not
set
a
up-
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood.
I know,
Yeah,
but
they
they
were
s-
like.
I feel
There's
like
like a
they-
But it very well could have
kinda
been.
to it.
It could have turned into that movie with like one change.
Yeah,
Decision.
but
It's. I guess yeah.
They
That's just
didn't
not what he
necessarily-
was like.
they didn't
it's very
necessarily
not
have to
something-
But he
focus
did
on
Boogie
like
Nights,
in a
right?
yeah. And the ending of that movie,
Which I haven't seen.
I'm not gonna spoil it, but
I
it's
also
like
haven't seen
But
kinda,
it does. It
kinda
goes a
builds
little
up.
crazier than.
That's
And in
rough.
this movie, I guess you don't necessarily have to focus on like the Bradley
Master.
Cooper being violent and like coming back in like Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. But I feel like they built the expectation. Oh, they flooded their house. Oh, they like destroyed his car, and then they drop him off at the gas station, ditch him, and
And then
then
they
he
run
never
out.
comes back. I don't know. I feel like
He does. Remember what? The
Well, he
two
comes
tennis
back,
girls,
and then
and
he's
he's
like,
like, he does like peanut butter sandwich.
Yeah,
Yeah, but that's I don't know.
I was like always like entertained. It was well written. It was like
really well written.
I
enjoyed the movie.
I was never like I like liked it. I just didn't. I just think I just went in with like pretty high expectations.
I do think it would
It
have
wasn't
been.
like a 9.
I do think it would have been a little bit more boring if they didn't have that constant tension.
Yeah,
Because like now that like we're talking about it again, those were all put in for a reason to like keep your interest. Like,
yeah.
It's
what's about to happen?
Just all the crazy like
Those are cool movies though. When like if like I don't know.
every scene was like I was like
Like
on
it-
board, enjoying it, and like
Exactly.
it was well made.
Like
it was
it-
extremely well shot. It was like the best try shot movie of the year. That's all. It was like
I didn't
Maybe,
notice
like,
that. But that's
5
a good way
minutes,
of
there
putting
was,
it.
like-
There was like
there was like a shot or like
The beginning scene of them talking to each
Yes,
other. That was like a 3-minute like
Yeah.
single shot.
and then like when
And that's super impressive.
there were just I can write them all down, but there were like a bunch. Like every 5 minutes there was
Yeah.
one that was really impressing me. So
That's cool. And
I don't
the
know.
soundtrack was top.
Oh.
notch.
Yeah, there's
Oh.
music I was gonna say.
Beautiful.
oh yeah.
I
That one song that we've been playing like since we watched that movie. It's like the
Let Me Roll It.
um
The Paul McCartney and the Wings
yeah.
song.
Maybe.
Also like The Doors with Peace Frog.
Yeah.
It's a banger.
Oh, what
I never rated it because I didn't know.
I think I'm gonna give it
I
an
couldn't
8.
figure it out.
8.
8.
7 or 8.
I'm thinking an 8 because I don't think it's quite a 9, but it was
Yeah.
good.
I'd go 8.
I would expect a 9, but
Although
I'm
I would like on the record that I didn't love the fact that I wish he could have been 17 and then turned 18.
I wish it was like a little bit more okay.
Well, because like
Yeah,
the time,
you
in the
know.
eyes of the law, I'm
But
pretty
that's-
sure that's
The
not.
70s, they
art.
were like crazy. Love is
society,
love.
society puts that like
Age is a
idea in
number.
our mind.
It doesn't
Well,
even matter.
I'm dating a 13
If
year
you
old.
love someone,
I say that
but
louder
it
than
could be like it could be like confirmation bias for like a really weird person. Like I'm just saying, like I don't think that's something that should be like glorified in media.
It is strange.
That's
I
me.
feel like
Wow,
This is me.
did you like the Joker?
But if they literally pushed like the timeline, I mean, I guess we don't necessarily know the timeline, but we're assuming that took place about
She was
maybe
still
a
25 at the end
year
of
or
the
less than a year.
Less than a year, probably.
Like a few months.
So if they just pushed it like a year more,
Love
it'd
is
be
love.
like-
What are you gonna do?
Do you think he was just looking for that kind of like controversy? Like
I don't know. It's
I
an
couldn't
interesting
tell if
idea.
it was like a genuine like they were like it doesn't matter or like it was like I don't know. That's all I'm saying.
Good movie though.
Where'd that come from? Oh, it's in here.
Next.
It's your fault.
On the
It
table.
was my fault.
Batman, The Long Halloween,
Oh, what an
Two-
interesting one to turn to.
two-parter. Hey,
Don't even remember it.
I enjoyed the first part, I think, more than the second part.
yeah. It was solid. I definitely think it benefited from being 2 parts, and it was like an actual story. Like they had time to tell the whole story,
That was nice.
get animation.
I think compared to the previous DC universe, they had
Certainly
I'd say a better Batman voice actor, or I preferred him. I guess it doesn't necessarily mean better, but
I
enjoyed
didn't
him.
mind the other guy, but I definitely thought this was better. I like the animation a lot.
The old animation was like really like
Pooh?
I don't know. It was like blurred almost. Like each section, it was really blurred.
Yeah, it was like Flash animation. It looked like terrible.
It was really bad, and then it's just better storytelling. I guess that helps with the added runtime.
Yeah,
But also, they made like 5 Batman movies, and they made like no other.
in the last one,
Yeah.
yeah.
And no other like single movies.
I'm
so-
glad they're like not doing a universe now. They're just doing their own stuff.
Well, they are doing a universe. Because with the remember
No.
the end credit scene with the Flash. and the
Oh,
Green Arrow?
yeah. Well, whatever.
What
But
do
no,
you
it
mean,
was
whatever. They're doing a universe.
it was good. The a solid mystery. Keep you guessing. You like
Yeah.
it?
Yeah, it definitely kept me guessing.
It's kind of weird how he doesn't like arrest the villain at the end. Because that's kind of like the whole like she still like killed a bunch of people.
Ah, love is love.
Yeah, that must be the
Death is
message
death.
of the night.
But no, it was solid.
I give it a 7. Yeah.
Man, we're on it. Godzilla versus Kong.
Fun.
Arguably best movie of the year.
10, 9. 9.5.
This is pretty silly.
Melanie,
Not very good,
Bobby.
but you know, also wasn't trying to be
I
good.
got 3 words.
For the fight, it's like what you came to the movie to see the fight.
Oh, they're really cool.
That movie was
cool
full
enough.
entertainment.
No.
And,
Yeah.
you know, they talked
There was a giant mechanical fucking.
No, I love
Yeah,
it.
seeing Mechagodzilla was kind of cool.
No, that was like perfect. I think it was what it was meant to be.
The way
Yeah.
the only problem
Those
with the
are, like-
movie is the people, right?
yeah.
But the director talked about, or maybe it wasn't the director, but someone talked about how the only reason those people were in the movie is because they were under contract with
That makes
Warner
sense.
Bros.
That'd be
I
like
guess.
why Millie Bobby Brown's in it, and the guy who gets like
they
cut
had to have
out
a
completely.
specific
Her dad.
they had to have
Yeah.
like a specific screen time for the movie. So, but I'm sure I think the director wanted to focus like only on
Yeah,
like,
which he did. I mean, the Kong is in that movie. Like,
I mean,
a
I think
lot.
he did a good job with what he had to do.
The Hollow Earth thing, where he's fighting like dinosaurs.
That
It's
shit,
not one of
that
those
shit was
awesome.
weird as fuck.
It's not one of those movies where you go away and you're like, that was really well written. It was like one of those movies where you're
You
like, I
came
was
to see the
entertained.
monkey fight the
Yeah,
lizard.
this monkey, and it did fight the lizard.
And I still think
It was
I
cool.
like the original
I still haven't
Godzilla
seen the
more
original, I guess. Or
than that. Like the not the original, the 2014 one. The first
the
one.
one
of
where
the-
you see it for like 5
Yes.
seconds. I never saw that one, but that's
Yes.
all I
they're
heard
not
about it.
bad.
No, I think that's the best one. I mean, I like Kong Skull Island too.
What's the
was
second-
that really like a
King of the
Yes.
Monsters?
That movie's
that
ass.
sucked.
Was that really like a Godzilla movie,
Yeah.
or was it like a person
a
movie?
people movie?
I mean, they're all people movies, but
I think that's a good representation of how the monster would be in.
Real life.
also the way that movie like
I
it was
mean,
the
not
guy who
real
directed Rogue One, and it, like the way it like he presented Godzilla in that has never really been recaptured
Rogue One is so
by the other ones.
Oh, it came out this year.
Kong Skull
I love
Island.
Godzilla.
I actually
Kong
really
Skull
like
Island's
Kong
kinda
Skull
cool.
Island.
No, I do too. Tom Holland is great in that movie.
What's the difference?
But no. Oh, the only thing I like made me angry was how they like stopped Mechagodzilla by pouring the like slushy or whatever on the.
Oh,
I don't even
That,
remember
like,
that.
So,
who cares?
that like
What did they do?
The writers like,
like
ran out
they
of
couldn't
time.
have Godzilla.
Oh,
and-
on the like.
Yes,
the
they couldn't have
dashboard?
Godzilla.
Yeah.
They couldn't have Godzilla and King Kong actually like beat him. They had to like they pour some like.
Wait, what if we? It's like poor shit.
It
all
sucked.
See, the ultimate team up movie of the year.
Yep. No others.
I like your Godzilla 1.
Am I missing?
Yeah,
something?
I like that.
That makes complete sense.
It does. I was worried.
I was voting for a King Kong, but I agree it does.
Well, I thought he was gonna win because they wanted the underdog to win, but no, the person who should have won.
Yeah, I thought it wasn't.
I'd give it a 6.
I'd give it a 7, just because it was fun.
5 because
Jesus.
5 because Big Monkey was shown to be a big pussy.
No.
I don't like that. Big Monkey is
Well, he
better.
got beat as he should have by a
Well,
giant prehistoric
I'm gonna give
super.
it 5
but I didn't-
for 5 toes.
I think it's funny how they had like a like an ancestral
Ancestral
history of like dinosaurs versus monkeys.
Oh, inside the
Yeah,
earth.
they
Yeah,
like had
kinda-
like the inscriptions of it or like the drawings, and it's like
Well, it wasn't just.
I don't
It wasn't
remember. It was
Big
like,
Monkey
who-
just versus like Big.
I thought it was. I thought they had a big war of big monkey versus big
I
dinosaur.
thought
don't
I thought it was just them being like the king of the Hollow Earth, or the.
I'd
the
rather they
rulers of the
focused on like
Hollow
Little
Earth.
Monkey a little more
I don't
next time.
remember.
I want like a little monkey.
Well, God,
He was a little monkey.
Big, yes,
he's
it
the
was.
younger
He
one.
was
Yeah.
Little Monkey.
He's
'cause
still
they're, like,
growing.
apparently, like the children or the parents are like twice the size.
Well, no,
as
but
he
you
is
got
now.
way bigger.
We should rewatch. This
Yeah,
one.
but he's
I
still
kinda
not
wanna
full
rewatch
size
I-
apparently.
Really?
Yeah,
Then he'll be really King
he's
Kong.
gonna be.
No, he
big,
was.
big
He wasn't
monkey.
full size in the like,
in Kong versus,
Skull
but he was
Island.
bigger in.
Well, he was
This
bigger,
movie.
but he still wasn't full size.
That just
Okay.
means we
Was
can
he
no
not?
longer refer to him
I
as
don't
Big
think so.
Monkey. He's like medium monkey.
He's like kind of big.
Either way,
and that means Little Monkey is like really
this
little
unit, the universe is I guess done for now, unless they keep going.
What could
I
they
think-
do?
Yeah, I don't
Mothra.
know.
Mothra
Uh,
died.
Mothra was in a.
Mothra died.
They've
Godzilla
killed off like
too.
all of them.
Yeah.
I don't know why she
Rodan.
died.
They could
Rodan
do
is
like
dead,
one where
Ghidorah's
like
dead.
where like King Kong gets like a family maybe and like it's like a Fantastic Mr.
You mean
Who's he
just
gonna-
War of the Planet
Fantastic
of the
Mr.
Apes?
King Kong.
War of the Planet of the
Yeah.
Apes.
So what? Fives and
Who's he
6s
gonna
and 7s.
start?
Five Nights at
Who's he
all
gonna
six-
start a family with?
Another monkey.
Girl
maybe?
monkey,
Godzilla?
maybe a
A
little little girl monkey.
Fantastic
Does that
Mr.
sound
Monkey.
right?
That's gonna be the
Next
Wes
movie.
Anderson.
Spiral from the Book of Saw.
These two didn't see it,
Yeah, we did.
Thankfully.
Um,
we did. We saw it.
unfortunately.
This movie bewilders me.
Oh yeah, me too.
I think it's really funny how Chris Rock was very
it's
influential
really
in the making
stupid.
of this movie.
Why would you not like make another Saw movie?
Imagine seeing all the Saw movies besides like the first and like I think the sixth one is supposed to be like better, or maybe it's the third.
And Chris Rock said, "I want to make one of those," and
Yeah,
star in it.
he's like, we have to make one of these.
It was bad. Samuel L. Jackson's in it for like barely any time.
Maybe 5 minutes.
I have a question. So like the theater like preview was literally like he's like a cop solving a case or something.
Yeah.
And then he just like wakes up and like chained to it like in a handcuff.
That
or something
happens at
like
the end, right?
That doesn't. What do you mean?
What is the plot of this movie?
It's just like
Is it like a Saw movie or
no?
is it like
there's
a
two
crime
traps, and they're both like kind of lame. There's a
Well,
trap at the beginning.
At the very beginning, you have like a shot of some dude who like
Like a
cheated
train.
on his wife or something.
right?
And then yeah, it's
like
like he's
sits
like
in front of a
he's like
train.
chained up above like where the subway like comes in,
Yeah.
and he dies. And then and then Chris Rock comes in. And he's like the cop, and he's like, "Oh man, look at this trap."
Hey,
And
So
then-
is he just trying to solve
the case, yes.
case
And at the very
Is it
end,
Jigsaw still, I'm guessing?
no. So
Jigsaw's-
spoilers, but he gets like a partner for the case that works at the police station, and then the partner's kid gets killed. So then he like, so then he's like worried about it. Turns out his partner is the killer,
But he like
which is really
he
obvious
frames
because-
his own death at one point.
Yeah, and they don't show the body, so you're like, oh, well,
They
obviously
show
he's
the
the
body.
No, but they don't show it clearly. It's like wrapped up in a bunch of like.
It's like no, it was like
It's like mutilated and stuff, so you can't tell it's actually him. So obviously you're like, oh wait,
Yeah,
he's
he
probably
just-
the killer.
because he had a tattoo of his son's like name on his arm.
Yeah,
And then the body they see has like that tattoo.
it was bad, and I don't want to think about it again. I just think it's funny that Chris Rock like being like acting, it's alright.
I think it's funny how he like. I just think it's hilarious how much he wanted to make this.
Yeah, it's more funny.
And how
than
like
anything.
terrible it was. But
It's kind of
yeah,
sad.
his like serious acting wasn't like terrible. It was passable, and I'm sure if he got a better script and maybe
Yeah.
a better. But
It's just a bad idea.
I don't know
from
how
the
much
start.
influence he had on the script because it was terrible. So
I'd give it like a 2.
I'd give it a 2.
A 2.
2.
Toes.
Red Notice. I don't want to talk
More
about
like Brown Notice.
Oh, I watched
Movie
the
was
first
shit.
this.
half
Movie
of the movie.
sucked.
Well, you know, here's
It was
something.
entertaining.
An observation.
I like-
made.
Oh wait, he has notes for this one. This is the
You have
first
notes
one.
for this one.
All I wrote down was more like Brown Notice.
Nice
I
try.
hated all 3 of the actors because
Yeah.
like Ryan Reynolds.
Ryan
I
Reynolds
like,
is playing
can
himself.
be fun sometimes.
The Rock is playing
has
himself.
never
Gal
been a-
Gadot is like an
I thought The
awkward
Rock was
mix
a-
of,
Rock
like,
doesn't
The
play
Rock-
himself, he just plays the same character.
He's also never been in a good
That's what I
movie
mean by that.
besides
when I
Moana.
watched the first half of this movie,
Because I can't think of one.
when I watched the first half of this movie, The Rock seemed like bad.
Well,
like,
can we
worse
spoil
than
it?
usual.
Isn't
Are you serious?
Kind of. I kind of
Well,
want to see.
Well,
how
there
it
is like
ends.
a there is.
I
a-
only saw the ending.
Okay.
Isn't he like an art thief or is he the cop? Who's the art thief?
Dude.
What a spoiler.
Well,
He's
who's
the bad guy.
So
Is he?
what?
Yes.
Yes, he's working with the bishop.
So
See, I don't
he,
even know.
he
I
and Gal
didn't
Gadot are
get
the
that.
bishop.
Yeah. And
What?
I know it was a pretty good twist. It really they
Thanks
did.
for
It was a pretty
spoiling
good
it.
twist. Pretty good twist. Here's the thing.
Spoiled.
You guys are gonna dog on these movies all day. I know the big time blockbuster. It's like meant to get a couple laughs. Nothing's real serious. But I mean, like I was watching it with my family, and they really
loved
liked it.
it.
They
We're
had
not
a lot
your
of fun with
family.
it. Well,
Okay.
yeah, but my sister said something. She was like, yeah, I don't want to watch a movie that like stresses me out or makes me sad. I'm trying to get away from that. I was like, that's a
I
fair
get there's
point.
a place for
There's
him.
a
That doesn't
big
change
place
the
for them.
fact that it sucks.
I thought when we were watching it, it was entertaining as fuck.
It
but I
was.
was also,
Maybe it's just because we were watching with
funny.
other people. But I like
was
watched
also,
the
like, 3 in the morning
second
and
half by
slept.
myself.
Josh-
I like couldn't stand it. I was
You also-
so bored. I was like, everything Ryan Reynolds said.
Ryan Reynolds was
sucked.
from the parts I watched. I thought Ryan Reynolds was the worst part of that movie.
I agree. I
Gal
don't think
Gadot
it- I
also
don't think his
can't
Yes,
hair
act.
Gal
sounds so
Gadot. Gal
I thought
Gadot.
The Rock-
Something. She says that in Gal Gadot too.
I didn't think that sounded that bad.
I think it
I
sounds
don't
super
like
weird.
Gal Gadot as an actor. Like I don't think she did a good job in this movie at all. She
Well,
was like
she's
really
ever
like
done.
I don't think she's
cringy
been
and
in
like
enough
awkward
movies
and
to-
like
Yeah, what? Like Wonder Woman?
Good movies.
Death,
to rate
Death
her.
on the Nile.
it
You
was
just
like
gotta
there-
see Death
there-
on the
the
Nile.
like the lines that she had. Like at one point she's saying bye a bunch and like it just like makes me cringe every time. She's like ta ta. Like I just hate it. Like I don't know. I don't like her character in that movie and I don't think she did I don't know why she's like this
after
big actress.
Hearing my parents like laughing from downstairs for like an hour and a half, I finally came down and I looked at the screen and I thought it was Jumanji at first because like The Rock was in the jungle with a safari suit on. I was like, what? And I saw Ryan Reynolds. I was like, oh, this is like every other movie they've both been in.
So lazy and so
I thought you were gonna say Jungle
creatively
Cruise.
bankrupt.
Also
so
Jungle Cruise.
lame.
It's just a moneymaker.
And it worked.
But
It's literally
I will
like
say,
the best or the biggest like 3 like actors.
Yeah.
But I think your criticisms are gonna be right. I'm just saying it's not a movie that's
They
meant
are
to be
right.
criticized.
It's a dumb movie.
Yeah,
Like,
it's still a movie that exists. That
But like I enjoyed it. I when I was watching, I was like, cool.
when I came down and like watched the rest of it, my mom was like, "Oh, like, what'd you think of the end?" And I was like, "I mean, I heard it was shit. It was like kind of shit for like what I saw." She's like, "Oh well, I mean, yeah, you do watch like real movies," and I was like, "I mean, yeah."
That's not a bad point though. Like we're like out here
But
watching
who
like
decides what's real?
we're watching
and what's
Uncut
not
Gems
real?
and we're like our palms are sweating and like my heart's racing and I'm like, oh good.
regardless,
I
I
hate
get
it.
it's I get it's
love
for
I like that movie.
like a certain audience type. I
And
just
it's
don't
not.
think it changes the fact that it's
a
not,
bad
it's
movie.
not good.
That's
by most
That's like Spider-Man.
classic metrics, and I agree.
Oh, we'll get there.
We'll get there.
But
So what's next? I'm just
I
kidding. Keep
No,
going.
it's fine.
What are you gonna give it?
a 3.
I'll give it a 5.
I don't want to rate it because I didn't see it. But
You didn't finish it.
I won't.
Oh, don't say it.
I
Don't
won't
say it.
comment. I won't comment.
No one else saw Raya and the Last Dragon, right?
no.
It's a Disney
Keep
movie.
it short.
It was fine. I go to 6. It wasn't bad. There was like action. It was like an action movie, like a Disney action movie. Dude. It was like about as good as Encanto, maybe.
All right.
Don't look up. Don't look up. Directed by Adam McKay.
Up what?
Up yours.
A very divisive movie. So, which side do you guys fall on?
I thought it was fine.
The negative side.
It was like a.
The positive side.
It was like a.
Oh, it's you! You guys did it. I don't know.
It was fine.
Kinda
The
mixed.
comedy was like fine.
I think it was
a
very
bunch
funny,
of like.
but-
There was like the whole. like the funny circumstance of the general like scamming them out of like
Oh, the
a couple
snacks?
bucks
That was
for
kinda
snacks.
fun,
That
yeah.
was like
that was
I didn't like funny.
That was
jokes.
fun. That was fun.
I didn't like
Funny-
laugh or anything, but it's like it's funny.
I,
That was
didn't
a
vibe-
funny
I did
gag.
not vibe with that joke at all. I
Really?
thought that was stupid, and they kept bringing it
It's
up.
like something you would say.
What?
No.
It's something you would do. That's why you didn't like it.
Hit too close to home.
I feel
Yeah,
like
I
I
gotta
would
take
love it
those
if
notes.
I would do that. I would do it.
No,
myself.
it was funny enough. I wasn't there for I wasn't there for the jokes.
I also
I was
wasn't.
just
I
there
didn't think
for.
I didn't think any, or maybe not all of the humor, but I didn't like a lot of that humor. People said Jonah Hill was their favorite part of that movie. I did not like Jonah Hill
really
1 second of that movie.
Didn't like.
Well, I
Jonah
think
Hill.
that was the point.
Well,
I know he was supposed to be annoying and like fuck you, like blah blah blah, but I just I don't know. I just didn't like it.
I did.
I thought it was pretty funny in the Oval Office.
I did too. I liked when he was just ignoring them. The part where he was
It just felt
like in
forced.
some scenes where he was a little too vocal, and he was doing stuff. And I was like, ugh.
It didn't feel natural, or I don't know.
Some of it was a little overboard. I agree, but
I think it also fell flat in probably every aspect. Because they just had a bunch of big names for
Yes.
no reason.
Yes.
But I think
Yes.
I think they all did a good job. I thought the acting was mostly.
Yeah, but you could have done that with
Well,
anyone
yeah.
else.
Well, yeah, I was saying that's not I don't know. That didn't
An impressive-
negatively that didn't make the movie bad.
The movie-
that didn't take anything away from
The
it.
only thing that stood out was Leo's performance.
was
agree.
really
yeah,
good.
he was really good.
I liked his character.
He played the part
I
super
think
well.
him cheating on his wife, that bit where they just kind of jumped into that, when the girl puts his hand on his thigh and he's
She
like,
grabs his balls.
Yeah.
But, I don't
Everybody
understand-
loves the ball touch.
I get,
Classic.
I get,
That's how you get
the
a
hot,
man.
the hot scientist of the year.
yeah. I mean, I thought that was cool. I thought he did a really good job. I liked the movie. I liked the kind of idea for it. I thought it was cool. I do think they went maybe a little too far. I didn't really see the point of having that weird Apple guy
Yeah, the
hated him
I didn't
so
like
Mark
much.
Zuckerberg.
But I liked everything else in that movie, and I thought that like 20 minutes of the movie could be cut out because Jennifer
Yeah,
Lawrence's
it was
like
way too
character
long.
just kind of like was there for a little bit.
There was
like,
no reason for it to be 2.5 hours. That was like not the type of movie that should be that long.
should have
But
cut
you
off.
guys are saying like, oh, I hate this guy, but there were like characters
the
that
whole
are
point.
specifically.
No, I'm
written
not
to
saying I
hate.
hated like he was unlikable. I'm saying I thought like
You didn't find it funny.
no, I'm saying I just don't think that character like the obviously they're like I get what they're trying like the statement they're trying to make whatever. I get it, but I like it was so like over exaggerated, which I guess was supposed to be funny,
That's the
but
point.
but it's not like I feel like it goes like too far to where
Was
you're
it?
not taking.
I think it was
Jonah Hill was like pretty over exaggerated, but like the other guy was just supposed to be a weird dude. Like it was exaggerated, but like it doesn't mean it's like over the top.
He was supposed to be like an evil billionaire
I didn't like him, but I mean,
that like didn't actually know what he's talking about.
I think it's supposed to
I
be
think it was
like
supposed to
Mark
be-
Zuckerberg or
Yeah, it's supposed to be
Space-
as
what's his name?
exaggerated
Like a
as
sociopath,
possible, so
yeah.
people can like, so anyone can be like,
With
oh,
a half a
that
brain.
kinda,
yeah,
like,
it just felt it
resembles
felt like a
something
very
on my
basic
life.
like
but that, I don't think that's bad. I
don't-
think you
I
guys
don't-
are just
I don't
dogging on
act like-
basic stuff. Like
no, I'm not. I'm just. I don't know. I don't know. I didn't like love it, or I thought it was okay. I thought it was like fine. I
thought it was good.
I still like enjoyed it. Ariana Grande being in it.
That was
Was
useless.
weird.
I didn't.
Tell me that
Yeah.
wasn't used. That was like the biggest.
Maybe I just
name
like
use
Leonardo
thing ever.
DiCaprio.
It was like, oh, if we get Ariana Grande,
And they
in
get
the
like
movie, we
a
can get
song at
lot
the
of,
end,
like,
and
a
she
lot
has like
more
a song at the
popularity.
I think the
end.
president
Like,
might
That
be
doesn't
really
add
good.
on to anything. It's like, oh,
it was just there to be like.
It's an exaggeration of everything, and like,
But they're
the
paying
celebrities.
a real celebrity to like. They're making a statement
So
on it,
what?
but they're just doing what the statement is against. Like. They're not saying anything clever about it. They're just including like, oh look how dumb this like singer celebrity is. We just hired.
They could have done the same thing without.
I'm saying you just like hired her, let her do a song for this movie, and then you're just like embodying what you're making fun of. So like I don't like with Ariana Grande in it. You're just giving her a whole scene and time in the movie that doesn't need to be there because you're making fun of that like.
They weren't making fun. What are you?
Well, I
talking
mean, but
about?
you're like
They were making fun of like how people cared about celebrity.
like
celebrities,
talking
like,
about the movement.
No. They were
Yeah,
making
it's
fun
a
of how people
parody.
care about celebrities, like talking about like their life. Like they were like she came on the show to talk about her breakup with that guy, and then they propose like he proposed or whatever. And it was like it was supposed to be showing how people care about that way more than they cared about the next segment. Was like, hey, the world's ending. Like,
I don't think
making,
Ariana Grande needed like. I don't think she needed to like be in the movie or like a song, like a 3-minute like song sequence at the end.
But that
That
also was
maybe.
a parody of itself.
But I don't think the parody
Like
thing.
the whole
is
like
true.
thing, like needing a celebrity to get out a message about a comet coming to collide with Earth. Like, it's just like parodying like the fucking idiots that did the Imagine song, or
Gal Gadot.
or the fact that we have to get some big name to sing a song about climate change
Yeah.
in order
Like
to
Little
like
Dicky.
get Earth.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I really liked the series. I really liked the ending of the movie.
Yeah.
I loved the
Except-
fact that they were like, I liked where they were at the dinner table and like
That was really
that
well
was
done.
so fucking well done. That's why I
Yeah, like-
liked the movie. I was like, because of how they ended it, and he like called him and he was like, I've got a seat on the thing. He was like, I think I'm good.
I liked
and then he
the
like
begin-
goes and has dinner with his family.
I think I just liked
don't have
a lot
kids.
of the serious parts of the movie, and the humor was like somewhat too forced in like the middle part, or like when they're actually. I guess that's all. Like once again, the whole point to like see how like stupid people are and how like not focused they are on like a certain problem of that we're actually experiencing in the world. However, I still think it took away from the message and the seriousness of the ending, where
Yeah.
I don't know.
But like it is, I mean, I don't know. I think it just if you can get over that, I think it was pretty good. And what
Well-
Josh was saying earlier, that it's just too long. There's like if
It
they
is-
could cut it,
it
if
is
you
a little
could
too long.
take that movie and just cut out some of the stupid comedy parts and maybe
Trim it up a bit.
Also, it had
Trim that bush.
2 extra scenes of like that, like the joke
those
they
were just
made in the
kinda funny.
beginning.
Which one?
I didn't like the
It's
Jonah
like,
Hill
oh,
one.
it like, it's like, oh, how will I die? And Meryl
He
Streep's
was
like,
like,
oh, how will I die? It's like, oh, you'll be
the
eaten alive
dinosaur.
by a
glapadap.
and then like the after
comes
credit
up.
scene's like
Her getting eaten
her
by,
getting
like,
eaten by like some
Galapagos.
random.
And they're all
guy.
naked.
Yeah,
It's so funny.
they're all old people.
You remember that shot like over above of like the one bar and they're all porking? I'm talking about
Yes.
the world's ending. My whole family was, what is that? And
I
they're
was
like, what is that? And I was like, don't look down.
What would you give it?
Huh?
What would you give it?
I'd give it like a 6.
I'd give it a 5.
If I could do a 7.5,
Okay.
a 7, maybe an 8. I don't know.
I'll give it a 6.
Okay.
All
I
right.
thought it was good.
I
Lackluster in a lot of things.
I just like remember that movie ended and I was like,
I do like how
my
they
mom
slowly
cried
like
when they all died.
how they like slowly like showed like how like uneasy they were getting. Like they're having fun at first,
Yeah,
and then like
yeah.
the trouble
I thought
started
the act,
coming.
the,
I think
that,
that
that
part
scene
was
was
really
really
good.
well done. Just
Yeah.
like well written, well filmed, well acted.
Yeah.
I thought they just did a good job.
I
agree.
think The Big Short is better. It's
Yeah.
pretty-
Whoa!
So, I
Way
was
to
like, it's like
compare.
a similar thing where like they're taking like a serious subject matter and then putting like a comedic spin on it.
Well, I saw something where someone was like, it's Chris McKay.
Adam McKay?
Or Adam McKay. Adam McKay was like, oh, he did all these funny movies, and then he made one serious movie, and then it got a lot of attention. And now he's like
Now
doing a
he's
bunch of
just doing
serious
serious
movies.
movies.
Adam
But
Sandler.
they're also still like funny.
Do you think
But
Adam
the
Sandler's gonna like go on and do a bunch more Uncut Gem movies?
No. I'm pretty sure he said something about that.
He has to keep doing Hubie Halloween.
I can't believe that.
That movie, I can't believe he's in an Uncut Gem, which is like one of my favorite movies ever. But then he shits out
Hubie
Hubie
Halloween.
Halloween like the year after.
It's like kind of an insensitive movie. Like I don't
It's
know how I
it's
feel about him
like a disabled
portraying like
guy.
a disabled character. Yeah, that's not
And he's
cool.
like, I'm Hubie Halloween. And it's like, why are you doing that?
Yeah.
It's so not cool.
Exactly.
Venom. Let there be carnage.
Vomit.
Not very good.
Josh loved it.
It's not true.
You liked it better than the first one, right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I don't care.
Well, we saw it when we were coming back from like a 38-hour trip and just driving and constantly doing something. So I don't know how that impacted my opinion on the movie, but I remember sitting through the movie and being like, "Wow!" I was like expecting something cool to happen,
Well, that was
Do you
your
remember
first
what we were saying in the theater?
but then it did.
Remember when we were like the cuts? Like it would
It
cut
was
to like
so-
someone's house, and it's like this whole set is set up there, and they're like talking for like 2 seconds, and it cuts back to like something else.
It
and
was
they
so
never go back.
poorly edited.
That's
Because
what I was.
It was.
It,
It
seemed
was an
like a
hour
lot
and
of
a half.
stuff was cut.
It was an hour and a half long
Yeah.
movie that was.
It was
too-
very sporadic. It was like
maybe
jumping
2
around a lot.
It was. It was
It was-
terrible.
There were
Like,
scenes that seemed like it was gonna last like
I
5
couldn't
minutes.
stay engaged because I was like,
the one scene of like Venom and Eddie Brock like on the motorcycle,
Yeah,
and he's
I
like,
hate
"I'm
it.
going to kill myself," and he like tries to kill himself, and then like they stop, say like 2 lines of dialogue each,
Okay.
and then he's like, "Fine," he's like, "All right, let's go."
Yeah. It was.
there was
like
like
something that
zero.
should've been-
What are you gonna
character
say?
development.
It's a
And at the ending, you know,
No,
what?
what?
go.
At the ending, you know, Screech, is that the character?
Mm-hmm. Shriek.
Shriek, not Screech.
Shrek.
What's the fucking
Shrek 4D,
difference?
please.
Shriek at the ending when she's like, oh, Carnage is like a bad guy, and she's about to like scream at him, right?
oh,
And then Venom is like, yeah, and like hits her out of the way. That was like the perfect setup to where
made no-
Shriek is like going against
Some sort of character development.
yeah, and then Venom's like just like kills her. She like hits the bell and then it falls on her, and it's like, oh, she just died. But it's like she was about to like attack
we were
Carnage,
watching
right?
that. Yeah, I remember thinking like what do you?
It's like, wait, you just set that whole thing up for her to like turn on Carnage, but then he's just like, and then she's just done. That's it.
So sad.
What does he say at the ending?
Let there be carnage.
No.
Oh, before that.
When he like kills Woody Harrelson,
When he like eats them.
doesn't he say like "fuck off" or something?
Yeah.
And, like kills him or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
They
just
use
remember
their- they use
watching
their-
that, and I
their
was just like,
F-bomb.
I can't. That movie should totally be rated R.
Oh yeah, that was like.
There was some-
maybe I was like went in expecting it to be just as bad if not worse than the original. So like I was I was expecting like more Venom, more like of everything that was bad about the first movie. What I like really didn't like was just Carnage in the movie. But, like
sucked.
that
Carnage is
character,
such a cool character,
What?
and I feel like they just botched it.
he's
completely.
like not scared. Like he's just
What?
held back so much by the PG-13 rating. I
Also,
don't like Woody Harrelson's
I was
performance
about to say,
at
also it's
all.
Woody Harrelson
Yeah,
playing
like,
him.
he's like,
And
I'm
it's
gonna
like,
get,
"Oh my
I'm gonna
God."
get you.
I cannot believe they got Woody Harrelson. That's like he's like
Yeah.
a goof. He's kind of goofy, but they were like, well, we need like a really super serious serial
gave him
killer
really
guy. And it's
weird
like
hair.
Woody Harrelson.
Oh yeah, you got
Yeah, I
rid of
didn't
the clown.
Yeah,
clown
thank
wig.
God for that. But
It
still
was-
didn't change much.
It was like the first Venom was like really bad and really stupid, and like people made fun of it. So in the second one, they like got in on the joke and were like,
Just like,
they like got in on the joke and were like, they're like Venom's gonna go to like a nightclub and like be crazy.
Okay,
and,
that
like-
was not a terrible.
No,
like,
I'm saying
that was-
like it was
like
like just
okay
like
scene.
stupid. Like it's bad.
they just
It
had a
it
lot
was
of,
like-
having fun with the badness, and then also just like it just
Shitting
But a lot
on
of
him.
people also did find it to be like fun Venom. Like
I thought it
I
was.
didn't.
It was too short. They introduced like 3 new characters, maybe or 2. They introduced Shriek and introduced the like cop guy.
And
That's
his
supposed to be
girlfriend.
toxic.
And his
I
girlfriend
forgot.
was
talks
still like.
about it.
And his girlfriend was like
There.
maybe they like the last movie they were like, oh, maybe they're gonna like get together,
It's like,
but
and-
then
and
they
were like, maybe
didn't,
they're
and then they just like they had all these like arcs that they could have expanded on in that movie.
But did you
But
really
it-
expect them to in Venom
No,
2?
but
Because I know I went in
I
like
was
like-
expecting to watch a movie, not like
I
a-
was just curious. It's just strange that
That
it's so
was-
short.
yeah,
They
it
didn't
was
have
really
any
weird.
like there was 0 character arc where there should have been like
TV
No,
show
Venom
rating,
and
too.
Venom and Eddie, they're fully together
that's like the
now.
same.
They're-
That's like the first movie though, right?
Yeah, but they're like
Then that's
for
no
real.
character.
now they're like even
Now
better.
they're like even they have symbiosis.
in the third
you
one, it
know?
must
They,
be like something like crazy.
Oh, also the voice change.
for Venom.
Yeah,
Did he have a voice change?
it
was
wasn't
still
like pitched down.
It was still Eddie or still Tom Hardy.
Didn't they like pitch it up or pitch it down?
I didn't notice
just
a huge
noticed it.
difference. I remember hearing Carnage's like voice, like
Carnage
in his-
sucked, right?
I just didn't like
It
Carnage.
wasn't high. It wasn't high pitched, right?
No.
I guess I just think of the
the
Spider-Man
'90s
anime-
one.
the
Yeah, which is
animated
like
series.
scary. Like actually like
Yeah,
cool.
he's just like,
Yeah. He's like
high
a serial
voice.
killer. Like, I don't know. I just
That movie somehow did, or that show somehow did it better with like a PG.
yeah,
rating.
where they couldn't even punch people. It's wild. It was really bad.
All right, 2.
I 2,
I think
2, 1, maybe. What do you gotta say, bitch?
I'll go to 3.
too.
I want to look at the
When you get
highest
below a
range
5,
of ratings
like,
we have.
What does it even matter? Oh, I give it a 2 and a 3.
It's still shit.
Well,
Yeah,
all I'll say is that the first Venom is a 3.
yeah. So
I don't.
I didn't
I
think
don't-
I didn't think
it's
it could
better.
get worse, but it
But
does.
then it did.
They do.
Stop hitting the
It's
table.
like a Hallmark movie. Like imagine that budget with a Hall. Like, it's ridiculous.
The Mitchells versus the Machines.
Spoilers.
We actually won't spoil it.
Just
So,
It was really good.
okay.
It was like the
Very
same
good.
team, like
Animated
produced by the
movie?
same team that did Spider-Verse and Cloud with the Chance of Meatballs and the Lego
okay,
movie.
that's.
Same director.
It
I
has
didn't
to-
know if it was.
So it was produced by the directors of Lego Movie and Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs, but they also wrote Spider-Verse, I think.
Whoever wrote
and
that
then
movie
produced
can-
this. Or maybe wrote it. I either like had a role in it. And you can tell because it looks like Spider-Verse. It's the same kind of like...
I thought it was like a Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, but like bisexual.
That sounds perfect.
No, it was like
That makes
very
sense.
creative. Actually, like probably like actually the funniest movie. Like the movie that I saw this year that made me laugh the most. It wasn't.
I don't trust anything.
I
he
guess I haven't
says.
seen it. But...
I'm not like a funny guy.
We watched
but-
The Emperor's New Groove, and you had a stone face throughout the whole thing.
Then you should have been like fucking cracking up while watching it. Mitchell's vs. Machines.
He didn't watch it.
Well,
It was
5
like it
minutes.
was
I watched
funny.
maybe
It had a
3
really good
minutes.
message. Had cool animation. It was just a creative.
I really liked the animation.
The animation was awesome. It was actually like very creative, doing something new with the story.
I think it's just because we
Just-
see Disney movies and they just shit out the same animation.
Well, as we
now.
get to, I
Animated
like that
movies.
this animated movie actually like
different.
Thank
was like
you.
trying
Itself.
to be something really different
Like
and
Spider Verse and like,
Spider Verse's animation is so funny.
it was just really good. Easily best animated movie of the year. I give it
An
an 8.
Probably give it 8.5.
Yeah.
No comment.
All right, Tom and Jerry.
I didn't watch that bullshit.
I don't know what I'm talking about it. All other than
I-
it's like
Just give it the rating.
I came home and it was on. I watched 10 minutes of it, and
it was
any part with like actual people sucked.
Yeah, it was the same thing as like the Smurfs or like Transformers.
Oh,
or,
well,
the things where like you're taking like you're focusing on the human characters, and like they take up most of that movie. So I give it a 2.
It's so weird.
Maybe a 1 for ruining Tom and Jerry.
With a Cartoon Network Tom and Jerry movie's not enough.
Oh wait, no.
The race around the world.
I'm doing
The
2.
race around the Christmas one.
I was it's not like there's already
space
tons
one.
of great animated like Tom and Jerry movies.
Yeah, the one where they're like, you can talk?
Not
I
that
didn't
one.
talk because I thought you couldn't
Not
talk.
that one, not that one.
What's that one?
That's the Tom and Jerry the movie. It was the first one from the
And
90s.
they start talking.
It's not good.
And they're like, oh, I just wasn't talking.
Oh,
I
did you
didn't know you
it's
could
pretty-
talk.
it's kind of
I've
funny.
seen that one.
Have you seen all of Tom and Jerry?
Yes. I watched
the
the Jake
piano
Down.
scene. Was that him singing,
Oh, that was
or was that him like trying to voice it?
that was
over
kind of a
something?
fun reference to the show. You remember that?
When he sings sometimes.
He would like sing like on the piano and be like a voice
like a
that like
full-
wasn't him.
Yeah.
So-
it was like a full song.
That was kind of funny. It was really bad. I give it a 2.
I also don't like the animation of it too.
Yeah, I really upset me.
It should be
that it
2D,
exists.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. Also like
Instead, it's like a weird 3D, 2D.
it's
kind
the
of thing.
Smurfs. It's the Smurfs.
I'd say it's worse than the Smurfs.
I haven't seen the Smurfs.
Animation.
Mortal Kombat.
Who saw that?
We all watched it in our room one day.
Yeah.
The movie's really bad.
It got off to a decent
We're on kind
start,
of a rough
and then
streak
like
right now.
really like
Well, the problem with the main character is, like, he's like,
Oh my God, I forgot
what is he like? He's like, oh, I have to fight for my family, I guess, kind of. Or, no, wait, he's like the descendant of Scorpion, right?
Mhm.
And then he has his, like, own power, but his own power is, like, he has, like, 2 sticks on his hands.
It's also like you have to take this established property, throw a new character in it that's not interesting.
But
his
the
powers
the
suck.
characters suck.
Yeah, he's really boring. You get to see Scorpion and Sub-Zero fight for maybe 2 seconds.
That's at
and
the
the
end.
moments,
That's the best part of the movie.
yeah, and the moments in the movie where there are the fatalities are like super cool. But there's 3 of them.
The story.
There's 3.
What's
There's 3
the girl?
fatalities.
What's the girl's name?
In a Mortal Kombat.
Melina, the one with the fangs?
No, the like blonde chick.
yeah.
Oh, Sonya Blade.
Yeah.
She sucks balls in that movie. She is so annoying.
Oh, dumb like
How do you
girl.
even remember this movie?
Oh,
I remember the second I turned that on, like we left that room, I was like, whatever. I was like, I'm gonna
well, I
see that.
remember Kano and is that his name?
They were in like a
Kana was
dungeon at
funny.
the
Kana
end.
was the only good part of the
I
movie.
remember it was like they had to fight to save the universe, and then like at the end, like the fight didn't happen.
Yeah, it's like the
Yeah.
next movie. It's like,
It's a hard movie to do like starting like you need to like the animated ones right now are doing like a movie for each character and then they're gonna do a Mortal Kombat movie because it's too hard to like do that many characters and
So like
One
the kid, or not the kid, but like the younger that's in it is Scorpion's descendant and
Like, the
not
main
like
guy?
a
It's
the
Liu
main
Kang.
no it's Scorpion's like descendant.
I
See,
think
why
it was gonna be
wouldn't
like
they
Liu
do
Kang.
No.
Luke Kang is in it though, right?
Yeah, Kano was funny. He was the only enjoyable.
He was
part.
fine, and he's like, "What's my power?" And then his like
Oh,
eye
I
becomes
forgot
like a
about that.
laser,
Yeah, they
and
need
he's
to like get their powers. They're like iconic abilities. They like
they
have
like
to
earn their
unlock.
like chi. Yeah, they
and they
like
get like
unlock
a
their
tattoo
chi.
on like their hands when they like get it. It's not.
It's the Mortal
Just watch
Kombat,
Kung Fu
like the
Panda.
dragon, the 2 dragons
Yeah.
or something.
But when there was like actual Mortal Kombat stuff happening, it was cool.
The fighting was cool, and all the like special effects shit was
Yeah.
like fun.
And they were really straight from the game.
But then the main character was so lame, and like they had like
Lame.
the what was the forearms?
Hate-
guy?
Oh, Goro.
Goro was
He
like
killed
he's like
Goro?
fighting like him.
That was
and then-
kind of. That fight would have been better if he was
Baraka
cool.
in it.
Barack
No,
Obama.
no.
What's the guy
maybe?
with the 2 like?
It's,
Wait, yes.
it's the demon with like the
He was
teeth and
with the
also
hook
the 2 swords.
things. Yeah.
Yeah, what's his
Baraka
name?
wasn't.
They come out
Is
of
that
his
his name?
forearm.
Baraka.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not him.
What's the light?
was not in it.
Raiden.
Was he in that?
Yeah.
Who's the guy with
Right.
like the mask, like the predator
Oh,
mask?
Smoke.
No, it's the guy with like the burns on his face, kind of.
I think it might be Smoke.
Is that Smoke?
I don't remember.
I feel
It's
like
the
I
guy
have
with
a
like the
terrible
2 like
memory.
hooks.
I have no idea what that
Thatcher.
is.
The guy with the
Like-
2 like
Thatcher.
it's the guy with the 2 like hook knives
IQ.
that like gets melted in like the purple lava at the end of the movie.
Captain Blackbeard.
Captain Ballsack, maybe I don't know.
Captain Balls.
Captain
Ooh,
Ball.
Ball.
Who is the guy with the hooks?
I know that's what I'm saying.
That's Baraka.
No,
That's
It's
not
not
Baraka.
Baraka doesn't have hooks. He has
He has like
two
he's like
knives
the
that
weird.
come out of his
How much
forearm.
Mortal Kombat have y'all played?
I've only
never
played
played
Mortal
a
Kombat
lot.
versus DC Universe, and it is so good.
How do you know all these freaking characters' names?
Because
I looked it up
Mortal
after we watched
Mortal
Cabal.
Yeah, he was cool, right? He looked cool.
No, he sucked in
Okay.
the movie. He's like cool, but he was in the
sucked.
movie for like 2
He
seconds. Then he like died.
He sucked on movie.
He
I
sucked
like
on
didn't.
movie.
Well, I was just like kind of lame. It wasn't like offensively bad or anything. There was cool parts.
But I'm saying with the characters you have, why introduce a new character?
Yeah, I
who
don't
just like his powers suck, and when they could have just focused on like Scorpion being the main character or like
I don't know.
Sub-Zero.
3.
What?
2.
Oh, is that your rating? Oh, okay.
Okay. I was still
I'm going to
talking.
4.
I'd give it like a 2. That movie is terrible. I give it a 3 because of the action.
Yeah, there were like I'm saying like yeah. Well, I have a 1.
4 is
I have
pretty fucking
one.
high.
I have 1 for the year.
Encanto.
No.
Probably Spider-Man.
But I'm saving it. Okay, so Dune.
Dune your mom?
Oh.
Terrible
Directed by
movie on its own, but
Denis
the fact that they
Villeneuve?
came out,
It was cool.
they were like,
It was really good.
Most I've
It was-
enjoyed a movie, or at that point in the year, it was the most I enjoyed a movie.
Special
Yeah.
effects were very good.
Like on a technical level, everything was really good.
it was really dark, and it wasn't just the theater, it was just a really dark
yeah,
movie.
it was
The-
really
yeah,
dark.
I wish they could have toned it up for that one scene. That was pissing me
I
off.
couldn't see shit
When they were in the
in that
tent,
movie.
when they were in the tent, and I was like, "What is going on?" And
That
when
was
he
the
was
whole
changing
movie,
clothes, and his mom was like, "Damn, looking cute," I was like,
That was really strange.
I didn't like that part.
I don't even remember that part.
That was like a Licorice Pizza moment.
When they're like out in the desert, and
Is he,
like,
like,
he just
naked?
like starts like taking off his shirt, and
I don't
like
know if they,
mom
like
looks
the
over his
actors
shoulder.
got it like wrong, but like it was like they both decided to change clothes, and like they like turn their backs to each other, and the mom like peeks, and I was like, "What's
She
going on?"
loves her
Because
son.
she's afraid of him.
I think it was supposed to be like
In the
she's
book-
becoming afraid of him.
In the book,
But it seemed like she wanted to have sex with him, and I didn't like
Yeah.
that.
in the book, when she like realized,
I did.
like after they get like
Okay,
raided,
let's just
after they get
spoil it.
raided,
Yeah.
by-
Yeah, just like spoil
this isn't
everything.
spoiling it. I haven't read past like where the movie stops.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so like you know how like the Harkonnens like invade and like attack the place.
Yeah.
After that, like Paul, he gets his powers where he can like kind of see in the future.
Yeah.
Or like do that shit. The mom is like afraid of him because of like how powerful he is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like the
I
rest
think
of the
that's what that
time when
was.
they're like running in the desert is like she's like fearful as fuck about like what he can do and how he can like perceive like everybody's like personality or like decisions.
So I think that was supposed to be
Yeah.
that, but
I
it
don't
just
think it was
really
sexual.
it came across as something.
It didn't seem like it kind of led up
It
to
didn't
that.
seem sexual. That was like a joke that we made, but like it was still like
Yeah.
just like I remember that distinctly because
By itself, because at the time when we saw it, there was not a part 2 announced.
Yeah.
Or even in the making. Or
That would
anything.
suck.
Like, not a start to it.
Yeah.
I thought
By
it
itself, it was like fine.
That's Josh.
But it is a
Second
very
film.
good, like
Strike Two.
start
Yeah.
to a series.
The biggest
Obviously,
issue is that
duo
it's
or
not
whatever.
complete.
It's not
So you don't walk
fulfilling.
away
Yeah.
being like, oh,
But it-
that was
but
like...
I was
as like an
I was
intro,
enjoying
it's
it.
really
It was
good.
like I remember like an hour in, or 2 hours into it. I was like, I wanted to keep going. I was like, I like this a lot.
Yeah. It was...
I was just having a good
it was
day.
long. I don't know.
I need to rewatch it.
Him too. It was solid all around. All good
It was just
performances.
really dark.
Solid characters.
Dark.
Really good
It's
soundtrack.
kind of dark.
God!
Josh, you just
Come on,
did that.
guys.
That
That was you. That was you, Tyler.
Did you just take it? Dude, that's mine.
A really good score. All like really good visual effects.
Please change.
Just
Give it a-
solid movie. Don't have much to
Yeah.
say because it was just good.
What did we say?
Need part 2.
What number?
8?
8.
Okay.
Whoa, what, do you feel differently?
I was gonna say 7 or 7.5, but
No, that's fine. It's because you read the book. It's because you read
was
the
the
book.
book
The book was
better?
better.
I don't really remember.
This is the
movie.
movie podcast, not the book club.
All right.
You're probably like really drunk for the movie.
What does that mean? Actually,
Nobody else saw Nobody, right? All right. I'll give it short.
John Wick with...
It was like if John Wick was actually like
Had a
somewhat realistic and had a family, it was actually like surprisingly good. The action was really good. Christopher Lloyd from Back to the Future.
See,
The Doc, he's in it.
spoilers.
That's not spoil. Okay.
That's a spoiler.
He's like the character's dad. He's like a big part of the movie. He's like really. It's just if you're looking for like a solid action movie, which I can't think of a lot of this year. They weren't bad. I'd recommend 7 out of 10.
Next one.
Sorry.
I disagree strongly.
What? Oh, did you see it?
There were plenty of solid action movies.
What?
Like what?
Like Dune.
It's not
It's
an
not
action
an action
movie.
Okay, like a Black Widow.
They said they weren't bad.
That's
Yeah.
shit.
I literally saw that on here and I said, oh. Also, I'm talking about like grounded, good, practical action. The
Original.
bus scene in
Okay.
Nobody is better than the bus scene in
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
No.
Spider-Man.
The Green Knight.
Oh,
I really like the ending of the movie.
holy moly! That movie was like I
a
wish
trip.
we could have watched that at the end of the year once we were well versed in. After we'd been seeing the movie, me.
Oh.
After I'd like,
I could tell you didn't like it.
I did like it.
I
I was
liked it.
just like confused by it.
There was like a few parts of the movie that seemed really unnecessary, or like a lot of long shots that were like didn't really add anything to the plot.
There were a few.
Like the one where he's like tied up, and then they like do like a full like really
But that was
slow
what, like
rotation.
30 seconds?
I'd say that's like 2 minutes almost.
The part where they like go through his life at
Just
the
hit my
end,
toe.
and it like they go through his life like.
Yeah, the ending was great.
I didn't get it. I
The
didn't
ending
get
was
it.
so good.
The ending,
The ending was awesome.
I think the ending
I think
like,
they made up a lot of that movie.
made the movie like worth it, which was it was like I don't know. The movie was like a trip. There were a lot of like crazy visuals, a lot of
Fox, I think the fox didn't make any sense either.
No.
But that was his mom.
No.
Who the fuck was that? That was his mom, right?
I don't remember.
Was it his mom or was it the redhead chick that was like killed in that house?
I honestly don't remember.
Either way, I think the fox was like useless because he was like, "Get out of here!" at the end.
But that also really wasn't. I guess it was like with him all for a lot of the movie, but it's not like it like.
I'm just saying it was like useless.
Having known the story of that,
the like,
like the,
Sir
the
Wayne and the
actual
Green Knight?
old story, yeah, the Green Knight.
it all makes
It
It
sense.
makes sense, but without that context, it's almost impossible
because you
to
don't know
decrypt.
the guy in the
You don't know that
castle
her mom,
was-
his mom set it all up.
Well,
You can
and
kind of imply that, but like,
Even though it was like I don't know,
I think
was
it
re-
applied a lot in the movie.
even though it was really slow, I still really enjoyed it.
but you
I thought it was,
also
like-
don't know the guy in the castle set. Like,
the guy in the castle, I would say, is more important than the mom because they show the mom having like a witch like ritual at the beginning of the movie when he gets the letter, or when the Green Knight shows up to the castle and he has to like cut him or behead him.
You know when they stay like.
When
So
he
does
shows
he
up at the
kill him at
beginning
the
and he's
end, or
like,
what
"I
was
did
that?
No,
do
it's
it."
ambiguous. You don't know.
because remember he finally decides, or at the end after he's gone through his life,
Yeah.
He
in
like
his head,
realizes.
he's like,
I'm not gonna use the
But in the story,
girdle.
in the
that was
story,
like a crazy cool.
Yeah, the ending was,
I
like-
really like the ending.
but in the story at the end, the Green Knight misses his head.
in the original story. You mean?
Yeah, he misses, I think, and then
I think so.
the Gawain like kills him.
Yeah.
But,
But also in the movie, it's ambiguous.
in
so
the
we don't
movie,
know
it's
yet,
like ambiguous as shit. So
which I don't think is a problem.
thing.
Yeah.
I think that's a good way to end it. Better than him like
remember the
missing.
giant,
The Giants.
like,
That was
people-
cool. Yeah.
That was weird as shit. I didn't understand.
We were
that.
all watching. That was like after like 10 minutes of no dialogue and him just walking. It's like big bald giants.
It was.
They're
It didn't make
naked.
any sense.
It was a trip. Lots of very slow, but I think.
I wouldn't say it was a bad trip.
No, I really liked it. Yeah.
I still think that ending made up a lot for.
Well, yeah, but I mean, as a whole,
Please
like
tell me it's an-
I don't. I
Someone say it first. Oops.
I'm
Super
somewhere
bad.
between a 7 and an 8.
7.
I'd give it
Um,
a 7.
I also think I stuck with a 7, but it was very well made. It was I like it. I like.
It was cool.
Props.
I didn't
props.
see it.
You should watch it.
No, you shouldn't. It's boring. You should.
I think it'd be cool to watch at home while like on like really
Acid.
Yeah, I was about to say hardcore drugs.
Cruella.
Ketamine.
I love this.
I
Movie.
love Cruella. No,
Again,
this
Cruella
movie
sucks.
actually made me really upset.
Learning to just have some
It's
fun.
kind of the
What is
Joker.
wrong?
It's like Girl Boss Joker.
It's like
What is wrong with just like having
Wayne.
bad people in original movies just be bad people instead
Yeah.
of trying to make them into like some sort of
I'm
No,
not
no, no,
taking
no, 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 the Joker. The Joker. Now you should watch that movie. The Joker does this.
People
perfect.
saw the Joker and it started becoming a meme, and we're like, we should do that, but with girl.
The biggest problem with that movie, with Cruella, aside from the fact that it's also 2.5 hours long, is that the character in it isn't Cruella from 101 Dalmatians because she doesn't skin animals, and she's not that character because you can't make an origin story.
Smoke.
Because you can't make
Also that.
Yeah, I didn't think about that. Because you can't make an origin story based on that character. Because who would like
bad people?
Because she's bad. Because she
there's
skins
no
like
point
puppies.
making an origin
the
story
character
about that
in
person.
the Cruella Emma Stone movie isn't her, and then it tries to do the Solo thing where it just explains all this dumb stuff that doesn't need to be explained, like where her laugh came from, and her hair has like always been this way.
Solo was a good movie.
And then you
Hey,
could.
I
also-
like Solo.
Hey, you think that, but like I like
Solo had cool parts in it, but the way that it
Solo's
literally-
fine.
It
It just-
literally put in everything that the old movies said, like in those movies, and it's like, oh, this happened in like one crazy week.
Yeah, so you're by yourself.
you could
Solo's
also-
fine.
Han
You could also-
Solo.
That
Like,
was
if you-
the dumbest line ever.
You could like say that like, oh, maybe she like developed these like terrible traits later.
it's more
in
interesting
life.
if you
but
don't
also,
know. Like,
but no, because she openly when she like brings out this Dalmatian coat or whatever, and they're like, oh my god, did she skin the puppies? Because that's obviously referencing
Yeah.
when she said she skins
but then they're like
Dalmatians.
she didn't actually kill the
She's-
I
puppy.
would
that she didn't
never
actually.
hurt animals.
And then she just shipped the Dalmatians
The
to
dogs.
random people.
Yeah, it was like infuriating. This movie like made me really upset. It was. I don't understand. Like, yeah, it was
Disney's not
Solo's
gonna do-
fine, but it did like, oh, where did his blaster come from? Where does his jacket come from? Where does his name come from? It's all these questions that we didn't need answers to, and that we're just there to be like, oh, I know where that. Oh, well, that's how he gets it, and it doesn't need to be there, and it's like stupid. And Cruella was the same way, where they got like, oh, it's like she didn't actually like her like Cruella, like her personality was just inherited from spoilers, Chase.
The old lady she worked for.
From
right?
her, it's her mom. It's like turns out to
okay.
be her mom. So then it's like all genetic. So then
I thought her mom died.
Wasn't that the whole point of the twist, right?
yeah, it's like not actually her mom. It's her like adopted mom. It was like
Died.
someone that worked for the Baroness Emma Thompson that like stole her.
I mean, that
Yeah.
movie just was so far above my
I just
cognitive
like
ability.
really hated that it like
exists.
Disney shouldn't
Treated
make a
like-
movie.
and then it had it like shoved in all this music from when did it take place? The 80s?
Cringe.
I don't want. It's so
Did you
from,
even watch it?
from this music that like it just shoved a bunch of licensed music in that didn't fit, and it had this like these cringe moments of her like being like it's like of her like developing her Cruella traits that she has in 101 Dalmatians, and it just sucks.
I just feel like they can't make a movie based on their villains where they're like actual villains. Based off the old movies where they're like
Yeah.
actually evil.
humans.
And it's not even like you can treat this as a prequel to 101 Dalmatians because it doesn't make any sense, and that's not
They
the
don't
same
have
character.
to be evil, but they just have to do bad
But I'm
things.
saying they can't do
For a villain to be a villain, it can't be like
if they're trying to do the
petty
new
theft.
PG
Like, that's not a
like
villain. That's like a
if they're trying to do
Someone
like
just
the new
trying to get by.
that's just they're chilling.
if they're trying to do like a new PC PG fucking movie, then they're not gonna like get
PC, PG.
PC
PP.
PG PP that kind of movie.
That was the board of directors meeting that like made this movie.
they're not gonna be able to shit it out.
I give it a 4.
4 is pretty fair. I liked it. I had a smile on my face.
Also, it's way
4.
too long, which I don't understand why it's like 2.5 hours.
No, I wasn't paying attention.
So a bunch
to
of
most of it. I was
dogs
like,
just
whatever.
ran some lady off the cliff.
I thought the little the
Spoilers.
goons were like stupid and
You don't know.
terrible.
Yeah, also it doesn't make any sense why
Because it was the
Hasper and
adopted mom.
Joris,
stick around.
Joris and Hasper, sorry, Jasper and Horace
the
are like
difference?
they're her goons in the original, but in this one they like she treats them
friends.
terribly, and they still stay with her at the end for literally no reason, even though she decides to become Cruella. Bad movie.
The Cruella. Well, now you have to
Injustice
move on.
sucks.
Yeah,
It
just
takes elements from in the video game and the comic Injustice.
And
Where-
shits him.
and shoves
Oh shit!
Is everything okay?
and shoves them. And it like tries to condense it like 6 years of stuff.
But then they want to make their own original script where they introduce like
Spoiler.
these characters didn't make it and these characters do
Yeah,
make it and this
tries
character
to-
is in the movie and this
Yeah,
character isn't in the game or comic.
It was just extremely rushed. They changed a bunch of stuff that didn't need to be changed. They tried to adapt 6 years material into a movie that's not even it's like an hour.
It's like an hour
20,
and a half or
like-
something.
It's not even that. It's like an hour and like 15 minutes.
Yeah,
It's really short. Bad movie. I give it 4. Actually, I give it 3.
I give it a 2.
Oh, wait.
1.
You didn't watch?
0.
You didn't watch. No.
The ending was.
I give it
0.
The ending
Can I
also.
spoil some of the ending?
No.
Yes.
Joseph,
Yeah.
They bring in.
they bring in like you know how in the Injustice comic or game they bring in like a
In the game.
Superman
This was like a
that like
superhero movie.
a Superman that like beats the other Superman, except
Yeah.
in the movie the Superman doesn't win,
When did this come
and
out?
then
September.
The bad Superman like kicks his ass,
and
then Lois Lane comes in. And she's like pregnant. And she's like, "Oh, you want to feel the baby?" And then he's like, "Oh, I'm such a bad guy." And I don't know.
It was a disgrace to the source material.
It just doesn't make any sense. Why make like you already? There's a comic, but you already have an adaptation in a video game, so it's like why make it in a movie?
Well,
It's
yeah,
like
the
how many
comic
more
was based
adaptations
off the
can you?
game, so you're
That's
like
what I'm
double
saying.
dipping.
How many adaptations can you make of this? It's like you're making
Very stupid.
Exactly.
Next movie.
Bad Trip.
Hilarious, funny poopy.
Funny, Eric Andre.
It was funny.
I don't. I don't know. The like pranking was pretty cool. I haven't seen a movie like that in a little bit. They went pretty hard on some of them. Some of them were kind of stupid, but I had a laugh. It was weird that there was like a story to it as well, and it like kind of worked. Didn't work super well, but like I don't know. It was just like the Eric Andre show, but long, and I quite enjoyed it.
Couldn't agree more.
I give it like a 6.
Couldn't
5.
add
5,
anything
6.
else because I didn't see it.
Oh,
Oh, what?
Next movie.
The Suicide Squad.
Ooh. Fun action movie.
Oh, there's one. You're right. I forgot about that.
I
So
think
watch
this was like a really, it's really cool because it was like the characters that like were meant to be bad were like actually bad.
Well,
That ferret thing
Not really.
had me on the flow.
I mean them, but like Idris Elba is like you know,
Just
he's like
Deadshot.
good guy. He's not like a
It's not
villain.
Deadshot,
but
He's
it
just
is.
like
It's not.
I have
he's got
perfect
he's got
aim.
like a moral compass. He's got a heart of
Yeah, no, but I'm just saying.
Heart of gold.
Like the ferret thing was like just like pure
Weasel.
evil.
yeah. That can't swim.
I
no,
hated the entire beginning of that with Michael.
Rucker.
Yeah, Michael Rooker.
And
Now he has like a
Pete
bouncy
Davidson.
ball.
Yeah, I wasn't super into
was
the-
hilarious.
the-
Every girl ever, am I right?
But once
I
it like
forgot he was in that. I
focuses
thought the
up with
polka
the-
dot guy was like the best character.
once it
I wish he
focuses
didn't
up with the
fucking
like
lie.
other squad, the other characters,
Yeah,
the main
a
characters,
little
it
twist.
is very good, very funny.
I mean, the twist was
Very
cool and all,
funny.
but they still focused on Michael Rooker.
When they
like,
kill
a
all the
weird
people-
amount of time.
Oh, that's
And
like
they
10
like turn out to
minutes.
be their friends.
10 minutes is kind of a lot in the.
I don't know. Well, it's also just to establish like what the Suicide Squad is, like that they can all die.
What are we?
at any point.
What are we? Some kind of the Suicide Squad?
All the characters were surprisingly good. John Cena was
The
actually very
Shark.
funny.
But the
He
new
beat-
show,
I don't know.
apparently the new show is pretty good.
I mean, he was good in the
The
last
Punisher?
thing.
Yeah. All the clips, no, all the clips I see from that show looks cringe AF.
He looks exactly how he did in.
He did.
I mean, yeah,
Suicide Squad.
yeah, because he wears a helmet and like
Yeah.
a suit.
I'm saying like it's the same kind of like
I
jokes.
can't
feel
believe the
like.
polka dot guy died.
Yeah, that sucked. I was not happy about that.
But I thought like the fact like the scene with him. There's one scene where like I like remember laughing so hard.
When he throws up in the woods.
There was
it's
the
pretty
throw
funny.
up scene, I think, and then there was also the one where like they went from like his POV and everyone is his mother.
That was pretty funny.
It's funny.
I thought the rat catcher.
Yeah,
Two-
Ratcatcher was
The
great.
villain
was
was
really
a
good.
little weird. I don't know how much I loved the
Giant
whole
starfish.
concept. Yeah,
It wasn't
like,
really-
Not
It's
government
wasn't there a villain
secret.
before Starro?
It was the mind.
It was
the
the-
guy with all
the
the
thinker?
Yeah.
Kind of.
Who made Starfish?
He made
I just remember the Starro at the end, but no, it
And
was.
also the dictator.
Oh
He
yeah.
was barely in it.
And he
that
just gets
part with
murdered
her
by
and
Harley
Harley
Quinn.
Quinn went on.
That was
I feel like a little
hilarious.
long. That was like
I enjoyed it.
I enjoyed where it
I mean,
went
and
to,
Birds
but
of Prey
like
is one of my favorite movies, so I don't really.
We gotta rewatch.
Well, I just really
It-
enjoyed Harley Quinn.
The Boys of
I
Prey.
don't like that kid. I don't
I don't-
like how
yeah, I
they're
don't- I don't
focusing on that
like that
character.
I've
character.
never loved a scene more than when Harley Quinn chokes out some guy with her thighs.
that's like cool and all, but I don't like that character, and I've never. She's just like
I don't. it
even when she's
confuses-
treated well, like in the Suicide Squad, I'm still like
It still confuses
that
me
It's
how
kind of
much
annoying.
media focuses on Suicide Squad. They made one Suicide Squad movie. Now they're making. They made a
they're a
second
hot
Suicide Squad
property.
movie, and now they're making a Suicide Squad game.
they're a big property.
The Suicide Squad sucks.
It's like
not this
funny
movie,
because they're
this
like
movie was
villains. You're not supposed to play as villains.
That's the whole point.
But,
But it's just like,
they're doing good.
okay, it's fine. I don't know.
The
Right.
movie was good though. It was very James Gunn, very funny.
Well, that's why I liked it. I think I just like James Gunn.
Yeah, it was
I blindly follow anything.
Stop it.
James does.
What?
I blindly follow James Gunn.
Oh, okay.
Like everything he does and says.
Yeah.
I'm behind every word he's
Alright, come
ever
on, guys. It was a joke.
It was a joke.
But no, the movie was... It was just solid. No real complaints. I'll give it a 7.
8.
I've been like teetering between a 7 and an 8 since August, and
I think when I saw it, I gave it an 8.
I'm gonna go to 7.
I think I gave
if
it.
I need to rewatch it, but I've been like, is it an 8? Is it a 7? I'm gonna stick with a 7.
No one has broken an 8 thus far.
I know
Just
what's gonna
wait.
Well, there's no 10s for me.
Well,
I'll go ahead and tell you that.
I don't think I've ever seen a 10.
Doesn't there have to be a
Pulp
10?
Friction,
No.
maybe Interstellar.
I've never seen a 10.
Interstellar.
Come on, really.
Josh
Get a
disagrees
load of it.
strongly.
Sue me.
Interstellar is like...
Shut up. We're not talking about that.
Not sure you have a 10.
Yeah.
Encanto?
10. That was my 10.
This movie was fine.
We don't talk about Bruno.
It was a Disney movie that didn't really do anything new.
Didn't do anything new.
It was very standard. The music was good. Dude, you've got to stop.
Music was like fine.
The music, like, there were like 2 songs. I was like, it's kind of fun. It just was very like standard. Didn't do anything somewhat different. Didn't even do what it was doing especially well, I don't think. I thought the ending felt a little rushed.
It wasn't. Yeah, the last.
They just rebuilt the house.
Yeah, granted, it's like, there's no villain. They're not like an adventure. It's like slightly different in that way, but it's just, it's hitting on like story ideas and themes that have been done countless times by Disney in the past like 10 years. And there are still Disney movies that they've made in the past like 5 years that are better than it.
Ohana means family.
Like Moana's better, Tangled's better. It just, I thought it was a pretty like,
Tangled's really good.
yeah, it's better than Encanto.
Joseph
Who knew?
loves Tangled.
I love Tangled.
I just thought it was a pretty weak, not even weak. It was fine. It just like, I'm sick of it. I'm ready for something new.
Watched it so many times.
We don't talk about Bruno's catchy. That's about it.
Yeah, I agree. It's
Drip,
catchy.
drip, drip, drip.
I hate that song. Can't believe you enjoyed that song.
Well, when we watched it, I like hated it, but
The-
I listened to it a few times. It's because I like the like song. I just, her voice is like throwing me off.
What could
I don't
change
know.
that?
I'm like, dude, when she first like started dancing, when she did the drip drip
With the donkeys?
it was like the weirdest thing I've seen in one of those kind of animated films in a while. It like
So
looked
bad.
like mocapped. I don't know. It was just strange.
Yeah, I don't know. It was a 6. Give it a 6. I'm not happy about it. I changed it from a 5 to a 6.
You went up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably stay around a 6.
Please.
I would give it a 5 or a 6.
Well, you can't do that.
I give it a 5 then. Fuck you.
All right. Black Widow.
Like a Black Widow, babe. Was that song in that?
That was actually inspired.
This one inspired the movie?
What do you guys think of Black Widow?
That was terrible.
Did you?
Waste of a villain.
Kind of.
I rewatched it recently.
Yeah, it's really funny, isn't it, Josh? You
No,
really
I
it's
don't
funny,
like. It
poopy.
wasn't like great, but there's certainly like
Whenever.
worst MCU movies, worst movies that have come out this year. Like, besides
MCU movies that have come out this year that are
worst MCU movies that have come out this year.
What? Yeah, say it. You
Spider-Man.
can't say it.
Eternals.
Oh, we're all thinking.
Yeah. No. Okay. Black Widow. When.
No,
she,
I would say they're about even.
I would
If
say
not,
Black Widow's maybe
Black
worse.
Widow's worse.
The first, because Black Widow, at least like the first 2/3, like
Sorry.
at least Florence Pugh and David Harbour
Are funny.
enjoyable. They give good performances. What is going on?
Guys, stop
Yeah,
hitting the fucking
like,
table.
Joseph.
You hit it earlier.
It is.
This kid's got ADHD, I think.
I've
Maybe.
been diagnosed with the disability.
No, Black Widow was like, at least David Harbour and Florence Pugh are
Funny.
given like a good performance, and there's at least some decent action in the first like 2/3 of the movie, and there's also a like decent like story
Are we
with her and her
talking-
family.
What's like the dad thing? Like when they're in the house and he like starts like trying to be like a good dad, but then it gets
He
like
sings
interrupted.
American Pie?
This
yeah.
American Pie.
I mean that
I beat Captain America. Remember that part?
they really shafted him. And then the last third, like the whole last act of the movie.
I think
Taskmaster
okay. Last
is
half of
the
the
most
movie was
wasted
bad.
villain.
Taskmaster
He's only
was
in it for
wasted.
5 seconds.
Taskmaster
I
wasn't
mean,
even
in
really like.
It's not really the villain of that movie.
Yeah.
No.
It's just some
She-
guy who
But
abuses women.
whenever Florence Pugh and
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlett Johansson are on screen together, I quite like it. They do a good job.
Hitting on Florence Pugh at the end was like, I had fun.
And their whole family.
Oh, yeah,
shafted
the
a
last-
stick into.
And then
Yeah.
Yeah, you
The
didn't have to do that. There was like, you're an assassin. You could find another way to.
Throw a rock in there.
Yeah.
The last act is pretty weak. But I think like the stuff before that, I think it like starts decently well.
I think the whole family dynamic was cool. I thought the flashback was cool.
I
Like,
think
you
it
know,
doesn't make
if I was
any sense.
making a Black Widow movie though, I totally would have gone like way back and been like explained how she
Well,
became.
yeah, I would have made
Shield.
this movie back in
did
2012.
They did the
but-
family dynamic thing, but they said they were only together for like, what was it, less than a year maybe, and they just lived in America and then came back and then they
It's
went
3
back.
years.
It was 3 years
I think so.
when they were like a family. Or
I
In America,
thought
like in
it was
Ohio?
3.
Yeah.
I thought it was 3 years.
How long
I
was
don't
it?
remember.
It
I,
could
I
be-
didn't
it
think
could
it
have
was.
been less
I don't
than
think it was
that.
3 years, but I feel like they like had this connection, which I guess if you're younger, it makes sense.
Well,
but-
it was like that's why it was like real for Florence Pugh and then not so real for Scarlett Johansson because she knew.
But after 20 years, she's gonna be like, man, that was real.
Well, yeah, because she was tortured and trained as a child
I
assassin.
guess so.
So like that was like her only like.
I just feel like
I thought she was a solid character.
if
I
you
liked her.
have the opportunity of making a Black Widow movie where it's like literally the most grounded character, where it's like, oh, this is like you can make this so
that was
like
very disappointing.
like similar to like a real
Yeah,
person.
well, that's like the last act. It was stupid.
And then they're like,
It doesn't
oh,
have to
he has,
be-
oh, he has a base flying in the sky that nobody can see. Oh, we didn't look in the sky.
yeah, that's
Oh
making
wait,
sense.
oh wait, Shield has like 20 bases in the sky, don't they? And then I don't know.
It was pretty silly.
Yeah, I wish they had gone the Hollywood route.
like an airliner passing by wouldn't have said
Whoa!
anything.
What is that?
Also, not every single man. Both of the men that are in those movies are portrayed as like the dumbest bricks in
Yeah, that
all
movie
of
hates
humanity.
men. David Harbour.
He was funny.
Yeah, but he never
Yeah,
got
but he
any
was
kind of
dumb
payoff.
for it.
Funny, but he
He
was dumb
never
as
got
shit.
any payoff. Like he should have beat Taskmaster
in that
fight.
house. In that house, he should have been like genuine. They shouldn't have ruined that with a joke.
I think he was genuine. at
Also,
one point.
did you
A
know
little
that
bit.
wasn't even written for that movie? That was David Harbour's idea to do the American Pie thing in that scene. So the writers didn't even come up with that.
Was
So,
you think the
yes.
writer like saw the movie when it came out and they're like,
Oh, that was so stupid. Why did you do
What?
that? Ruined my.
It was. Yes, I wasn't terrible. Even for MCU movies, it's one of the like
I'd say it's
in the
pretty shit.
bottom half.
it's
at
in the
least.
shitter for sure.
Very much.
I mean,
So like a 9.
so
And then they had like the pilot guy in the movie for some reason that was like
her like friend.
had like yeah.
I mean,
What was the point of him?
People who
so did you explain where she got her stuff when she was on the run?
They didn't need to explain that.
Well, then we would have been your being. How does she have all this stuff when she's on the run?
Yeah.
for the
I
plane.
feel like
guy,
that's the
before she
least
had
of the
it.
questions when they introduce a floating
Hey man,
base.
I'm just like
in
We're
the
just trying to
sky.
answer a question.
I'm just answering your question.
Oh, this question: where did she get the plane? Oh, she's like totally not a secret
All
spy
right, let's end
agent.
it with a flying base.
Oh, well, this guy
just
had a
every-
flying base.
Literally
Well, it has to
every
be a
agent
room.
ever has had like a Q or a whatever in their disposal.
Or like, I don't know,
She could have fucking.
stole it. I don't give a fuck.
I'll
I don't
say-
care where she got her stuff from.
I'll say a 5.
I'll say it. A 4.
3?
5.
Say
I'm not gonna say 3. It wasn't that
You
bad.
I'll
think
go
about
four
like
then.
that
It
compared
was
to
a
like
5.
other movies that come out, it's not like offensive or
All right,
like.
I'm gonna change
But
it to a
It's
5.
offensive to males.
I for one.
Josh likes being pussy whipped. So.
Ooh.
Oh.
Give it a 5.
I think I think
What's wrong with you?
I think it's easy to forget that it is like, I mean, like, it's bad, but
You
it's
have
just
that
trying
budget though.
to
how
appeal
bad
to
the movie
everybody,
can
and
be.
it just like
compared to
Except
the
for
fucking
men.
budget.
try to keep everyone happy.
Ah, he's all that.
It's terrible.
Bad.
Bad.
It's a TikTok movie. Move on.
1.
1.
This is the worst movie I saw. I don't know about you guys,
The
but-
Flyers
Brian
thing.
Kitchell's story, and it had a 5.
Yes, that was funny.
Did it?
Yeah, he was
Out
like,
of
I think I did
5
something
or out of
wrong, and it's
10?
like top rated
It was a
movie of the
5.
year was He's All That.
This was the worst
That was
movie of the year. No, it was like on his like thing of the year. It said like his most rated.
Number 2 we haven't gotten to, but
But it's like the actor that's been in most of the movies he's watched.
Mine was
Bill Murray.
Willem Dafoe.
Not a bad actor.
I was like, all right.
I feel like mine would be Timothy Chalamet because he's been in
everything this past year.
No, we all ones.
Yeah.
I didn't see it and I'm giving it a 1. That's a blind 1, baby.
Eternals.
It's ruining our credibility.
I haven't seen this one. I'm just gonna give it a 1.
Well, not
This
far
was
off.
pretty disappointing. Not very good.
I expected it to be this bad.
What's this rid of?
I
was just like
expected it to be really bad, and it was somehow worse than what I expected.
It was just like crazy that like the characters were the weakest part. There's these 10 characters that you have to introduce, and it's a lot of work. And they introduced like little stuff with each of them, and none of that really paid off in a meaningful way by the end.
Especially Angelina Jolie's character, how she has like the amnesia kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where she like forgets and then starts like trying to fight everybody, but then at the end she's like, it doesn't matter because she like remembers and then kills the bad guy, and the bad guy doesn't have.
The bad guy shows up at the
A bad guy.
Crow. He just shows up at the very end, and like a lot of stuff doesn't make sense with the Eternals, like why they have free will and why they have the powers they do, and
if they're gonna make
why
them
they
robots.
can even like why they can like are set up the way they are. Nothing makes sense.
Like start off with like those
islands,
beasts, like the animals, and then like like oh okay maybe I should have given them that much freedom, and then like made them into like human beings.
Yeah, it's
to like
with moral choice.
they're like we're gonna send the Eternals there to kill like the Alpha or we're gonna. What was it? Oh, they sent the Deviants there to like kill they sent the Deviants there to kill the predators on the planet, so the humans would not all be dead, so they could have them to be their food source or whatever. But then they realized that the Deviants were just gonna end up killing the humans because I don't know how they didn't like know that was gonna happen. So then they sent the Eternals to go kill the Deviants. It was stupid.
I'm not kidding.
But then the Eternals are like, oh, this is like bad.
What? Oh, there were like decent ideas, and it would have made for probably a solid like Disney Plus show. You know, but there's like if you got a Disney Plus
if
show,
you have that many characters, you would do a Disney Plus show. But then they're like Loki.
Like you focus on like one character for each episode.
Loki. He dead, not no more.
And then
he back.
It was
the whole like inclusivity is pretty cool.
Oh, the deaf Eternal? Don't get me started.
Why would you make a child Eternal? Why would you make a deaf Eternal? What do those like have to do with?
I don't know.
Being able to protect a planet.
I'm saying there's like
they shouldn't have any gender or any like.
They should be robots. There should be reasons like they should have based their like abilities off of like people they kidnapped or some like excuse they gave or there was like some reason.
That's a good excuse.
They shouldn't have just like had it like
use it in the movie.
They should have just had these like random things they came up with, and it was nonsense. I also didn't think any of the action was like exciting. All their powers aren't. Angelina Jolie is just like energy weapons, and then Kingo has like the little guns.
That is so dumb.
And there's just no reason for any of their abilities. Why aren't all of them like
Icarus? I don't know.
Why aren't they all Superman? Why aren't they?
And we just have these lame powers fighting the deviants who are just these like basic, done in every modern movie like squid monster things.
They look gross.
They don't look good. And red.
I'm saying like you have these like gross CG creatures fighting these boring characters with lame powers. It was lame. And
then like one of them wants to be king of the land. Doesn't like Druig want to like rule over people?
Druig's the only one that was like
which has like the most like powerful power of them all. Just like be able to mind control everyone.
But if they're not supposed to interfere, why does he have the power to interfere? That's his only power. Bad movie.
Next.
So many questions.
One of the worst MCU movies. Tired?
Hamburger.
One of the worst MCU movies. I think I have it at a 5 right now. I may have to drop it to a 4.
What did I give?
Didn't you just say 5. Black Widow was like middle of the pack? It was like
that's what I'm saying. So I originally gave both of them 5s, but I'm like 4. I might have to give it a 4 because that movie was pretty weak. I'll give it a 4.
One less than Black Widow.
To All the Boys, 3.
Sucks balls.
Never saw it.
No one remembers this, right? I actually don't remember.
Did I see this?
I remember at the
I'm gonna give it a 5.
I'll give it a 3.
Oh.
How the fuck you giving it a 5?
Sorry, I'll go to 4.
What is wrong with
Did
you?
Remember
they
at
get
the-
better with age?
Noah Centineo.
All I remember is they bone
they
when
both,
she like.
Well, but they both go to a different college, but then they bone on prom. But then at the end, Noah Centineo like, "Oh, I love you," and then they like get back together, but then they just have a long distance. I think.
I don't remember.
Wow.
I really don't remember.
I'm just gonna give it a 3 because it was so shitty.
I'm gonna have to
and
give it a 4 because I don't remember. Keith?
I didn't watch it.
Next.
In the Heights.
Spoilers.
Into the Heights.
Is it just Keith and I?
I've seen it.
Dude, you've got to stop making noise.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? You just talked to fucking Joseph.
We're gonna have an intermission soon, and you're gonna get
gonna
your
pass
ass
out.
set straight.
What did you think
Like
of
a
the Heights?
5, dude.
We gotta talk about it.
Like a 5.
Okay.
Do I need to?
Yes.
In the Heights.
Well, you're the only person that saw it. So.
No memorable.
What is going on? Am I invisible?
Yes.
Oh my god, I forgot you saw it. Sorry.
You saw it with me.
No,
No, I didn't.
no
Yeah.
memorable
Oh, I did.
songs besides like In the Heights, and then
Into the Heights in the
like
ice
the
cream truck one.
Piragua.
Piragua. You know the one.
That's like
Piragua.
it's like a 30-second clip. The choreography
In the pool
scene
oh,
is
don't get me
ridiculous.
started. This movie sucks, right?
Have you seen it?
He has. He's seen it twice.
It's the same complaints that I've said ever since I first saw it.
Oh my god.
And it's like it's just so lazy. And like I get it's like the one that came before Hamilton that Lin-Manuel Miranda wrote, but like the songs are just so similar. Like the pool scene, that song is exactly like the one in Hamilton.
I can just think
Which
of
is,
like
like,
a musical that was
fine.
like 8 billion times better that came out this year.
There were like 5 musicals this year, which is kind of weird.
Tick.
I thought In the Heights
Spoilers.
was pretty good.
That was the entire pool scene.
No, it's
And
not.
they just
That's not
splash out of the
that's
pool.
the one. That's the like
What else could he do?
verse at the end. That's like the end, but there's the entire like rest of that song.
I thought it was a cool
The
movie.
entire rest of that song. Oh, you mean in choreography? The entire song is done better in Hamilton.
But that's what
It's the Minutes song, right?
Miss Minutes.
Don't say her name.
Oh, God.
93,000, 96,000, 85,000.
Oh, the surround the
number?
troops. We surround the troops. That thing.
Yeah.
I mean, that's only that one part, but I don't like. There's also still an entire like other 2 hours and 20 minutes of that movie that I think that I thought the songs.
Which songs I don't
All
remember.
right, hey Keith, I'm gonna talk about the movie for a sec.
You
I
asked
thought-
me my opinion.
I know.
Sorry.
I thought all the songs were pretty good. I thought there was a lot of cool choreography in it. It's not a very like deep story. I think the story is like the weakest part. It's a very like basic.
Really middle of the road. I thought it was like okay. It was no Sound of Music. It was like the songs were decent. It was the story was kind of neat. I didn't really like at the end. I was like compromise your dreams. Like I didn't like that. But
I will say, like, it probably is very middle of the road musical, but I haven't seen any like bad musicals, so I have nothing bad to compare.
I
it
guess
to.
I really haven't either.
the Halloween
I
one.
What?
The Halloween one.
Creepy Halloween.
No, the Halloween one.
Halloween Kills.
What are you talking about?
The Halloween one where they go to
Halloween
the scary
Town.
mansion and the guy from Home Alone is there and he's like,
I haven't
I'm just
seen
a
whatever you're talking about.
transvestite.
Oh, Rocky Horror.
Yeah.
That was just
Guy
loud.
from
What's the guy from Home Alone?
Tim Curry.
He's Tim Curry.
Oh,
I was thinking of Joe Pesci.
I was thinking of all the original 3.
No, I thought the movie was pretty good. It's a very basic story, and I like saw the original show, and they changed stuff that I think makes the story in the movie a little bit
You
worse.
did? When did you see the original show?
I like watched it online
Oh,
and like
nice.
go see it on Broadway.
Don't say that you saw the original.
Yeah, but I'm saying I know what happens in it, and I like listen to the music from the original.
Yeah, it's
And-
like saying you saw Hamilton when you're only
Was
watching
the music
Disney
from the
Plus.
original better than the music in the new one?
No, it was actually worse.
So
Can't
okay,
even
well,
imagine.
No, I'm saying those are the same songs. I'm saying the singing was like one
Well,
with like
I
Lynn
guess
because
the
it was like him when he's
production
like 19 or whatever, and he can't sing. So I don't know.
He still
He
can't sing.
Okay, he can sing better, but he can't. I
that
trust
was
me, he
demo
can't.
on the internet.
That's pretty fun. But no, I don't.
I thought it was a 6.
It was
Second video.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was solid story, like pretty good. Not not like great musical music, but like pretty decent numbers, some cool scenes. What would you give it?
6.
Oh, I'll go.
5 or 6.
Hey, I gave it an 8.
8.
Okay.
Yeah, who's surprised?
That's
I
not
need,
surprising.
and I like rewatched
music.
it.
I love music.
rewatched it, and I didn't change it. So I'm gonna
Listen to
stick with
Elton
it.
John, Glee, Into the Heights
Dude,
soundtrack.
all I'm
Your
saying-
jokes are 3 years old.
Well, they
I'm
still
saying-
count.
All I'm saying is Josh's over here with Lynn and just fucking.
I just said, hey,
Woo,
I
you're
said,
doing
did I not
great.
say the music in
What's the
Encanto
movie?
was lame?
Oh, isn't that the one he helped out on?
Tick,
What's
tick,
the other?
boom.
Oh, Frank.
Tick, tick,
So
poop.
Encanto, music pretty lame. In fact, his music, like,
Had more memorable music than In the Heights. Bruno,
Encanto?
We don't talk about Bruno and drip, 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 drip.
That
drip,
song
drip,
sucks.
drip. It's memorable though.
It still sucks.
regardless. What's next? Lamb?
Next.
Oh,
Lamb,
that movie was so cool.
boring.
What's wrong with you?
Boo. No fun.
Lamb was
I'm
solid.
kidding. It was a good movie.
It was very,
The ending was so sad.
yeah.
It wasn't.
It was very, like,
It was not in English.
very, very
Going
simple.
into a movie thinking it would
it's
be
in
in
English.
English,
Yeah.
and
What are they
it
gonna
was
switch?
actually in like some sort of
Icelandic?
Icelandic, yeah.
It was very, like,
It's
very
kinda
much
thrown off.
accomplished what it set out to do.
If I was like from Iceland, like that would have been great.
It was fun. It was really disturbing.
Again, you're really only there for, like, the
The
ending.
build up was
Like,
really
yeah.
cool, and it was like I liked. It was well done. I thought.
The build-up, it just kind of surprised me.
Yeah,
The-
the,
the
it was,
right-
They were going for like a walk or something.
well,
and
it
then
was like
you-
the
you
story
saw a
line.
shot
It was
of
like a. It was like a straight line, and then just shot up.
The
then you
Ram
saw a
Man.
It was
shot
like
of the
it was like
Ram Man
normal
just holding
Ram
a gun.
Man. When they
Okay, it wasn't,
originally
like,
show
normal. It
Ada,
was never normal.
yeah, when they originally show Ada, it was really funny. Also, I like when he goes outside and sees like the dog get murdered, and he's like Ram Man. Then he like goes back inside, and he's like Jay chillin', and then
Yeah.
doesn't the dad get shot?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
By
that's
the
the,
Ram
shot
Man.
of the Ram Man holding the gun.
The
at
iconic shot.
camera.
That is
That is
iconic.
nowhere on the internet.
It's terrifying.
Can we make it iconic? Throw it up on the screen. That it is should be iconic.
It's terrifying.
No, it was solid. Yeah.
I disagree with the director. Didn't he say that
Oh.
the wife was like jumping off a cliff at the end of the movie? Or
No,
something?
it was a breath of relief.
Yeah.
Or a-
Is what he
You
said.
thought she jumped off a cliff.
Yeah,
I thought
it
she was
looked
gonna
like she
kill
was going to kill
herself 'cause
herself,
she
but
lost.
instead she was like
It was like
happy
relief, yeah.
that
That like she
I
didn't
don't-
take care of.
I
Ada.
don't agree with that at all. But I guess
It's his work.
it
Maybe.
seems.
I mean, also, it's like...
but
you
it
can-
seems up,
I guess
up
that-
to interpretation. But then he's like,
I would-
he
yeah,
said
she's
there's-
relieved.
You
Yeah.
think
Well,
his
I mean,
wife
also-
and kids saw this movie and they're like,
You can just not
breath
listen to
of
what he
relief? What's that mean? Come on.
says. You can
What
also
does
just
that mean?
He's
not
gonna
listen
kill his family.
to what he says.
Gosh, thank God.
It was solid, though. It was, like, yeah, just all building
That was
tension.
really well
enjoyable.
done. In like low budget movie.
Yeah.
Wish it was English.
Oh, of course.
I just
Wasn't
wish
that-
it was.
It's not like
foreign.
there was not enough dialogue in that movie for it to have even mattered.
I think like a solid.
I
Fucking
told-
table.
I liked watching the game they played. The like when they were watching
Yeah,
that
that
sports
scene,
event. Like,
yeah.
what the fuck was that game?
Oh, that was
They were
hilarious.
playing football.
But it
Or
wasn't.
something.
It was like a bouncy ball.
It was funny
They were
whenever
like
you
all
saw...
the adults were drunk, and you're like, "What's happening to Ada? What's happening?"
And
to Ada?
Ada's like watching from the door, like
Whenever you'd see Ada, like,
Ada was
eating
hilarious.
food or, like, hanging out in their...
just
in their
vibing. And that one
clothes.
guy the brother who decided to
The,
murder
the
Ada.
horny brother?
But then
I
he was
guess
like,
I'm gonna
then he
kill
really
you.
liked him.
Yeah.
Really
No,
like
it was
that.
solid.
That was that was kind of cool.
7.
7, I agree.
Seven.
Look at us.
That was who would have thought.
Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings.
0. JK.
Pretty solid.
I liked the movie. I think it was like a different MCU movie until the
Kind of.
end where they introduced like a weird like alien kind of thing that came out of behind the door. No, like the purple.
The goo monster. I don't even remember what they were. They were just like ant monsters.
It
of
was
some
so
kind.
like useless monsters where you could have just focused on the relationship between the father and the son, and then he had to kill him or something.
Holy
Yeah.
Spirit.
Just like most of these movies, it kind of loses
But I'm-
it in the
but I'm
last
saying
act.
They had
'Cause
it.
they can't. Yeah, they did have it. They literally, but also like they had it but also
I mean, there was still humor.
they were like,
in it.
yeah, the like stuff in that movie that was I think like really good up to that point was like the good action in the bus scene until it got like ridiculous like CG, like he's like hanging out on the bus and then like it got like super crazy, or when it was just like the fight scene in the like on the building.
The ring.
What?
No,
No,
like bamboo sticks.
No, the one like where they're like at the Fight Club place, but they're like he's like running
On the
scaffolding and all that. Yeah, all that was like super
Second
cool.
best scaffolding fight scene. Number 1, Ryan Reynolds. Brown notice.
All that stuff was super cool. But then they like start as they go along, they bring back like Trevor Slattery and he's cracking MCU jokes every 5 minutes, and he was like kind of enjoyable, and then he stays way too long and is in the last third like cracking jokes during this like serious climax of the movie.
He was not in that at all. He like disappeared for like all of the end because I remember
But
he was
still
the best part of that movie.
But then the Katie person was in it, and she like.
Yeah, she was taking up archery at the end. I don't think she needed to be in there at the end cracking jokes. I don't think
the airplane
Trevor Slattery needed to be there at the end cracking jokes.
I remember the airplane scene when he was like explaining how he like came from like his childhood to like America and changed his name to Sean and all that shit.
Yeah.
And she was like, "You chose Sean." And
From Sean.
It was such a serious like exploration of like how his character like came to be what he is.
Marvel can't be serious.
Yeah.
But then she was
But,
like,
like,
she was
they
like,
did it
"You
well.
chose Sean." I don't think they did that part well.
They did it well originally. I was watching the Avengers and it was like,
were you?
It was.
I want to watch the Avengers.
The Avengers
original
is
Avengers.
joke after joke.
I know,
Yeah,
but it still manages to have some sort of like when the whole he's adopted thing. He was like, "Your brother killed millions," and he was like, "He's adopted."
The
It was
first
like a funny
Avengers
little thing,
is really
but then
good. Also, it's actually got like
the
all
writing
serious
was
moments.
well done. I'm just saying, like they can do that right. They've just been on like a streak.
Well, it
doing
works
that
for
wrong.
that movie and almost that movie alone because of the cast it
I think
had,
Guardians of the
and
Galaxy
because also
works
of when
really
it.
well, too.
Well, yeah, that's like kind of
supposed to be.
That's like yeah.
comedy.
That's
And I
also
think
kind
it
of
works
different.
really well for Thor Ragnarok too.
Of course you do.
But
I'm kidding. It's
how
good, good
else
movie.
are you gonna show off a really cool CGI dragon?
You don't have one.
If I could,
Don't do
Oh,
it.
you
If
just
I-
get grounded?
could change one thing about that movie, I would get rid of those fucking dragons. I wish it was like this like hero and he just like got this crazy power. Oh, dragon's gonna save him. It was like I wish.
It was his mom.
Whatever. I'm just saying. I wish they could have like a semi-grounded like arc of a Marvel movie where it's not this like insane last battle. Like I don't care about
yeah, I'm pretty
dragons.
The
tired
two
of
like learning to fight, or I guess like him learning how to fight, and then like the mom and dad dueling. Were
It would have been cool. Like I wish
the scene where like sorry.
I wish it happened more often where like maybe he got like trapped, separated from everyone else, so he can't lean on anyone, and it's just like him like having to be a hero and do it himself and like I mean like the classic hero like Marvel movie thing, but like just done right. Like I mean I wish it didn't have to be a fight. It could be like maybe he's like trying to overcome like the fact that he's like
Yeah, I'm
That's
pretty
what I mean.
tired.
How do you
think-
do a arc for his father, or do you do one?
I don't think they should have killed his father. His father was the best part of the movie too.
No, I think. Oh, I guess they didn't
Him
necessarily. have to
dying
kill
is fine, but they should.
the way they did it, where he was like, "Oh, I have to open this door." The mom's
Yeah.
coming behind it. Where instead, like, maybe he was trying to like do something.
that idea
evil.
is fine, but in the scene, he literally could have just
He literally gets
looked
killed.
up. Whoa! What? Look! Oh! Like they, I don't. They, yeah.
I think either
That's a good idea
Shang-Chi should have killed him,
Agreed.
like maybe accidentally, or like or maybe the dad like kills himself, or like something like that, where it's like his own power like caused his own demise. But instead, they're like, there's actually like an evil, like purple alien dragon thing behind this door, and it's just gonna kill you.
The final fight should have been a martial arts fight, not what.
That's what I
Yeah.
was thinking. They had such a.
Well, also, it's supposed to be a martial
cool.
arts movie, and the
I
best
wish
parts
he
of that
just
movie.
Why can't they do anything practical?
He was
Why can't they
riding
do
around
anything
with a
practical?
fucking dragon.
Yeah, the best parts of that
That
movie
movie-
are the like beginning of the bus scene and the scene like the scaffolding fight scene, all that stuff.
It's
I
not.
understand
so
that you
it's
guys-
like way more original than what we've seen in
Yeah.
I
MCU
know.
at all.
It's like the same thing. How I feel. This is just me, but how I feel about Black Widow. Not Black Widow. WandaVision. WandaVision. Where it's like
We haven't gotten there.
I know, but it's like the same kind of thing where it's like they have something creative, new, and different, and they. What is this about?
Hey,
What would you guys give Shang-Chi? 7.
6. Actually, I'd say 7 because it kind of I went in with very low expectations.
6.5.
And it beat them.
Cool.
I was in the middle of saying something.
Should have remembered.
Oof.
I did.
Okay, well then say it because it's not like we can just end it with scores. You can just say your piece. And then...
Okay, I'm gonna say my piece. I think that
I think it's probably like a 7.
All right.
I think Marvel movies all suffer from the need for like a big cool fight, but I think a martial arts fight would have been really cool. I wish he had taken it on his own. And I mean, I don't know. That was like basically the gist. It was just I don't like that there was a fight at that movie. I thought it started out really well. I really liked like the first like 45 minutes of that movie. I was like, yes.
The worst parts of that movie are all the MCU.
Well, it's like once they get to that place and they're like driving through this big field and it's like seems like they just like, got kind of lucky. But like, what if you came in there with like a chainsaw and cut all that stupid bamboo down? Like
it's magic bamboo.
But like what? I hate that they like are sticking with this universe and like they just keep discovering more magical things.
Wait, yeah. What if they just like walked through the forest?
I don't know.
Because
like the bamboo wasn't that dense. You could squeeze through
It was
it.
walkable.
I don't know. I just wish it was better, but it was still pretty good.
I totally forgot about like the mystical little pig creature.
Oh, yeah.
He had no eyes.
Dumb
You're
Trevor,
right.
Trevor's animal. Yeah, 7. What'd you give it?
6.
Okay. Next, Halloween Kills.
No.
More like Halloween fails.
Sucks.
That's really
Halloween
bad.
sucks.
That was a
Tonight, Michael Myers dies. Is that what they say?
Evil dies tonight.
Evil dies tonight.
That was one of the worst movies I've seen in a while.
That's so disappointing. The first one was like a good
Yeah,
like,
continuation.
reboot or kind of.
The idea of them stretching this next thing into like 3 different movies that all take place in one night.
That's the
Clearly
whole
they're
point
struggling a little bit.
But that was the whole
Like-
point of rebooting rebooting like a sequel to Halloween, was that because the original problem they faced was making too many sequels and them all sucking. And then when they rebooted, I thought it was gonna be like, oh, that's like the last one.
Yeah.
They like killed him.
But no,
But then they're like, oh, we're making the trilogy, and guess what? The sequel sucked.
Is he like superhuman or is he like no?
He is now.
Yeah, what's going on with that? They were like, he's just a normal
Well,
guy.
they
That
were
was,
like,
the
he
thing.
is evil. He is evil.
Ooh,
He
He
is
is
the embodiment of evil, and then they chased after some random
Oh yeah,
mentally
like
ill
that.
guy.
Oh, that was... he killed himself.
He jumps out the window.
He's evil. I know he doesn't look anything like
Evil
the
dies
guy who's
tonight.
been murdering
And then-
a bunch of people.
And then
he's
they're
like
like,
physically unfit.
Or remember when they like have him on the ground? Like I would just like if he's like this magical being that doesn't seem to
they
die
like
no matter
beat
what
the
happens.
shit out of him, but they don't
I would
shoot
start
him.
like cutting his like head off. Maybe like I know it sounds like
If they do
A
think
little
he's
bit
truly evil, why not like
gratuitous.
dismember him?
Yeah,
completely?
seriously, I would like start like he's still breathing though. I'd, like cut out his lungs.
But I was
maybe.
so glad when Michael Myers turned around and like slashed what's the kid's name? The guy with the bat. The guy
Evan
Oh, I don't
Fitzgerald.
remember. Yeah, that was
when he
that's
like killed that dude. I was like, fuck yes.
when it was like actual just Halloween.
Remember the
Michael
gay
Myers
guys,
killing.
Big John and Little John.
that was the
When it was
that
just
the best
him
part
like
of that
killing
movie.
people, that was like enjoyable enough. But all the like stuff with them in the hospital and the evil dies tonight and bringing back all the old characters,
Anything that
and
didn't,
just
that wasn't like a Halloween movie.
yeah, just all nonsense. And Jamie Lee Curtis is stuck in the bed for the entire movie, so she like is barely in it.
And then she like
And it's-
punches some like she like punches some like random dude and then starts like bleeding out again. She's like,
Yeah, it was really
why
bad.
did you just do that?
Does she punch him or does she like bring him over her knee?
I don't.
It's something
stupid.
stupid.
I
I
just
just him.
remember like line after line was like it was so bad.
Embarrassing.
I was enjoying it though as a Halloween movie.
I mean,
It
the
wasn't.
the like Halloween parts were enjoyable. Just everything
When the
else.
girl
I liked
like
how in
shoots
that
herself in the head. When he like
Oh
opens
my
the car door and
God.
That was
she's like,
awesome.
World War Z.
Whoops.
that was worse than World War Z.
Alright, yeah, let's... What do you guys give it?
3.
I'd give it a 3.
I had 4. I enjoyed it.
I had 4 because I don't was the killing in it like actually good.
There were some
I don't
gruesome
remember it.
kills when he kills the
pretty
old
slow,
lady
though.
and the like.
Oh, and he just like starts like
I
putting
like
the
how-
knives in her husband's back.
It was
The, like,
violent.
I
That
like
was
the
stupid,
mobs
though.
of
Oh
people.
my
like,
God.
I thought that was fun.
I remember like in the theater, everyone was just like laughing their fucking
It was like
heads
kids.
off.
It was like kids with us. The
Some
kids.
lady brought
Oh my
like
God.
3 kids with them, and they were cracking up
And they
when
were,
that
like,
lady was
talking
getting
through it.
killed.
Yeah, I'd probably give it like a 4.
All right. No one else watched Vivo, the Netflix film, right?
I don't even know what that is.
Life.
It was a fine animated movie. I'll give it a 6.
Good.
Okay.
Meaningless number.
Fine, Keith. The beginning and ending were both pretty solid. In the middle, it just turned into a very standard animated film, with Lin playing a monkey.
Lindy?
Lin-Manuel playing a monkey.
Of course.
And he it's like a musical, you know, some decent songs. They're about as good as Encanto songs.
What about Spider-Man 4? I mean, Spider-Man 3. I mean,
Spider-Man No Way Home? Yeah.
We're not there yet.
We are there now.
We're not there yet.
I don't know
What's
if
the next movie?
Spider-Man No Way Home.
It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing.
Pretty good.
Fan service out the wazoo, and I enjoyed every second of it.
Done
Yeah.
well. Actually,
if every person that goes in the movie theater gets a hand job, it's going to be a movie theater full of happy people. But it doesn't mean you watched a good movie.
But if the fan service is used, it's not like a Space Jam thing. It's like the fan service is used to add to the story. Stop! What is wrong with
That
you?
was Joseph.
That wasn't me.
Yes, it was. You hit
no
the
one
table.
can prove that.
You know what? You know the problem I have with
I
this
thought that
movie?
was funny.
They're
Why
like,
is it-
you read a lot of stuff where Kevin Feige's like, I don't know if we want to introduce the Green Goblin and Dr. Octopus because they've been done a lot better before, right?
Yeah.
Well, then they just take the characters from better trilogies or better Spider-Man movies, bring them to this universe, and they're like, oh, whoop-de-doo, we've got some really good
I'd
villains
be mad
now.
I think it's
the worst part of
unfair.
that movie was
Would
Willem
you
Dafoe.
would you argue that? I think it's unfair, but would you argue that like that didn't make it a better movie?
Yes.
No,
I mean, that's not like that's not an issue with the movie though. Like that it has good
Just
villains
it.
because they like.
I don't
but
think
it has
they
good
did
villains
have
because it
good
took
villains.
from
I think-
another.
Yeah, but those
better
villains are
villain.
still Willem Dafoe is still really good as that character, and he
I did
still
not
isn't.
think he was. I thought that he was terrible. I was like,
Are you memeing right now?
no. I think anyone could act like a crazy
Dude.
person. He was just like senile.
You're entitled to your opinion, but I think you're like really wrong.
That's
What
not
about-
that's not a fair outlook, Josh.
That's
What?
like not.
That's not fair, Josh.
What?
What
What about him? In the
What are you talking about?
Why was
Let
he-
the man
Why was he
speak.
bad?
I did let it.
Why was he bad? Yeah, why was he like? I mean, they were trying to fix him and like.
Why was he bad?
Why was he bad? No, I'm kidding. But they were like, I didn't like the acting. I didn't like. I didn't like. I don't think it was. I thought it was a little cringy. His acting. I didn't like it. I didn't like that he was like acting. I'm crazy.
It's crazy.
He's not acting.
Does Heath Ledger suck because he's like crazy?
No,
the Joker's
because
like
he
crazy.
like kind of made sense. He was like acting like a senile old man. Like I didn't see a need for his character. It doesn't make sense to me. I didn't like it. What else do you need? I did not like the way they did that. I didn't think it was well written. I didn't think it was like.
man.
What do you mean? What about him? Like anyone could act like a fucking crazy person and like do just as good of a job. I don't think it was.
Oh, so he did a good
genius.
job.
I don't understand your
I
point.
didn't know.
Yeah, this is like,
I wanted to hear
What?
your opinion.
and I heard it, and it's gone.
I'm listening.
What was good about it?
Everything. He
Everything.
He
What
gives
was
a good
about
performance. He gives as
I
good a
think he's
performance as
still-
he did in the like original.
it?
where
What
he
was
gives-
good about it?
I think
He's
he still
able to
does
play a
justice.
menacing, scary, like crazy.
I
villain.
thought he was not scary at all. He was stupid.
When he comes on,
Is this a new
with
opinion?
his-
Because you
with
were
his-
talking about this when we saw the movie.
with
Yeah.
his.
I thought
hood-
we all thought that.
No, when he comes in with his little hood and his like shit-eating
So
grin,
stupid.
that's terrifying.
Or when he's the condo fight, when he's like punching him and he just keeps laughing.
Yeah, when
don't-
Spider-Man grabs onto him with his crotch and just starts,
Yeah.
and like he like it isn't getting phased by his punches,
Yeah.
and he just starts laughing at him, and he's like completely
I was like,
powerless
okay,
against
You're
Green
entitled
Goblin.
to your opinion, but I
Cut his head
I
off.
think there's other like I think there's other stuff. I think there's other stuff in the movie to talk about that most people
No,
agree
if you're
on.
Spider-Man and your punches aren't doing anything, stop punching him and like shoot
doesn't
him with
kill
your
people.
electric web. Or like,
Yeah, Tom Holland Spider-Man isn't that smart, so.
wait,
Also,
I mean,
he's not Iron Man.
He just doesn't.
He hasn't used the electric web since like Homecoming. Because Spider-Man doesn't use electric webs. Okay, regardless, this is not.
Trilogy's flawed.
That has nothing to do with that. But
I don't see where you're coming from, but the weakest part of the movie was the villains. And only because...
I think it was the two, like, I think Sandman and Electro were, like, shafted. Because they really... And
literally...
What about Tree?
Not Electro. I think Sandman and
Tree,
Lizard.
Tree, is this a guy? Sorry. You have to watch the movie to get it.
I think Sandman and...
If they weren't doing a Sinister Six, why
have a
include any of them?
Exactly.
Well, I don't think that just the, like... Because they're known as the Sinister Six, having 6 villains, like matters. Like, I don't think that makes a difference.
They should have just
I
done it.
disagree with that.
Sandman makes no sense being in the movie.
I agree. I think he's just there to have
Especially
someone
at
to fight.
the end when he's like...
I want to go home.
He's like, I'm going home.
Well, he's
Or
trying
the
to get
elec-
the box.
Well, no,
from-
Electro, the scene, I shit you not, before Sandman speaks, he's like, I'm destroying that box. Nobody's going home. I like this new energy. The scene after that, Sandman's like, I'm going home. Nobody's going to stop me from going home.
Sandman,
And then they're next to each other fighting Spider-Man.
the final scene, like at the end, Electro says, "You're not going home, Sandman," because he wants to, like, I guess.
Oh, and
'cause
then
he wants to destroy the box.
they both fight
And then
he
they
together.
wants
just
to
fight
stay
together.
Also, Electro didn't know he was Spider-Man was Peter Parker, did he?
No.
Yes. I watched a game theory video about it.
But he didn't.
He did.
Well, I guess it
When
makes
so there's
sense.
one time when what's not Emma Watson? What's fucking?
But he doesn't know what's
Gwen
Spider-Man.
Stacy?
Gwen Stacy comes running up and she's like Peter, and
But that's different, isn't it?
Electrode.
I don't remember the
I
rest.
like
of it.
Hey, guys.
But it actually explained it very well.
Maybe.
Listen,
All right.
listen to me.
But he didn't know he was Peter Parker's like, you're
Jamie
I didn't know
Foxx
you were a white
Did
guy.
a better
but I
job
guess he
than
could've
Willem
known.
Dafoe.
I don't know.
Hands down.
You're
Jamie
s-
Foxx wasn't acting. He was literally just
I
playing
think
Jamie
Jess is
Foxx.
fucking with you, right?
Yeah, he is. And I'm not
Right?
listening to what you're saying.
Oh my god.
Stupid.
Dude, Jamie Foxx sucked dick in that movie.
Open your eyes. I'm in the woods. I hate the woods.
I hate the woods.
What you no? So you remember the bone-chilling line? I'm crazy. I don't remember. What's wrong with me? That's so stupid. As someone who's not a little fanboy of the first 3 Spider-Man movies, I don't know the.
He's in the
backstory on
first
that guy.
one.
I'm talking about Willem Dafoe.
Yes. Yes, the first one.
Are you?
I don't know.
I don't want to talk to you anymore.
What do you mean?
Are you being serious? You're not, right?
I am. I don't like Willem Dafoe in that movie.
Do you like Jamie Foxx?
No, I was kidding about that.
What other villain do you like?
The only villain I like in that movie.
Don't say Lizard.
But you like
I don't like
Taika
it.
Waititi's performance
Can't
as like
believe
Korg.
that. I can't believe that's
It's
his
just like that's
girlfriend.
that's
Fun.
good acting.
That's funny.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, at least it's like he's not. You're not claiming that he did like a crazy. I'm not saying like.
I'm saying he gave
What
a
is your
great
wrong with the
performance.
crazy part?
That's like
He's playing the character of Green Goblin. Green
Also, I
Goblin
think that
is
is-
some
I think it was a
over-the-top
well-written
I think
crazy.
that is the least
Why
valid
would
concern
Aunt
you can
May's
throw
like,
at
we
that
gotta help
movie.
this dude.
Okay, my like
Because from his perspective, he just popped out of fucking nowhere.
And why did he find
his
Aunt
house
May?
belongs to someone else now. He doesn't. He's
because
not
they were
a s-
advertising that they knew Spider-Man, and he like had just was like
He
trying to find
knows
Spider-Man.
What?
Yeah. Sorry, does that not follow or something?
She died.
Spoilers.
Ooh.
My issues with the movie are only just
Holy
that
shit,
it doesn't
movie.
like the Aunt May stuff, and that her doesn't feel naturally built up over the past 2 movies because it's clear that that isn't really what they were trying to do or were planning to do in the 3rd one, and that also some villains like Sandman and Lizard don't really feel like they kind of get shafted. Lizard's like, I'm gonna wait in the truck, and then
For
for no reason.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like, okay.
He's like, I told you it
and
was
then
coming.
like a few like CG nitpicks, but
a lot of
I don't-
CG.
not that.
Aunt
not
May's
just-
This
death,
also just
the
doesn't
worst-
make sense because like Doc Ock's pulled out at whatever like.
Why did
right
he-
Yeah,
when he
well,
has
and
that-
then also the
this-
number of plot things that
Yeah.
don't make sense. And it's also like the whole thing.
Why
of
would
how,
even Doctor Strange?
But yeah, the whole thing
And-
with how it even starts with Doctor Strange, like them not like talking about this like spell they're gonna do, and like it's a lot of that stuff.
ask the college about calling them?
Not sure he sounds like that.
What are you doing this, bruh?
but But overall, it was an improvement over the past two. And it had some,
Andrew Garfield.
It had
amazing
some-
as
By
always.
using the
Andrew
characters in the old movies
but
to
that
make it
doesn't
better.
make this movie bad, though. If they're used well, I don't...
You're still never shut that
I agree with you. I think that's like kind of lame to take from the better stuff. But I wasn't mad.
It's pathetic. It's not lame.
I
But
would
it
be
still made the movie better.
Yeah. Also, I would be mad if they weren't treated
Andrew
well. But
Garfield
they
was the
treated,
best thing in the
they
movie.
treated
How
every
long did it
character,
take
with the
this?
exception of Sandman and Electra, or Sandman and Lizard, extremely well. So I'm not mad about it.
Andrew Garfield was the
I
best thing in
can't
the movie.
believe that's his girlfriend.
And then
No
Tom Holland got to be pretty close at the very end.
No, it was like Andrew Garfield is up here, Tom Holland's down up here, Tobey Maguire, Willem Dafoe.
I just...
You're lying.
You're
I know
actually
you're
memeing.
kidding.
He's
You are
not.
memeing.
He ain't memeing.
He ain't kidding.
But
This guy's
there's
for
a
real.
lot of really good stuff in it. I think the highs for me, like for the most part, like
The spider's cracking jokes about
for the most part, I
Cracking
like can
backs.
forgive some of the dumb plot stuff and the CG like mishaps throughout. Even though they're still there, I still think it was overall very solid. Certainly a step up from
certainly.
The banter
The last
between the
two.
three
That I really like
Spider-Man
that.
were
very
great.
natural.
My back hurts.
the action. Only really the condo fight with Green Goblin is the best like MCU fight
when
he's
they're
had
all
because
on-
Green Goblin's like a good villain in this movie.
Where he's getting thrown through the ground?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What?
Does Green Goblin weigh like 1,000 pounds?
He's really strong.
No, but
Well,
he's
yeah,
really
but he
strong.
jumps up and then pushes him through it.
Spider-Man's really strong.
But they weigh like the normal human.
Being
How
strong
would they
doesn't
fall
mean
through
they
the
weigh
floor?
more.
It's still, hey man.
But that doesn't that physically doesn't
You're
make
bringing
sense.
physics into a superhero movie.
Well,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure Thor's hammer like works
he puts
exactly.
a lot of force
like,
into
Well,
So when he
if
throws
you
him to the
jump
ground-
up, the only thing pulling you down is gravity. You can't like.
But does Thor Ragnarok's fights have 100%
Well,
straight
Thor.
physics?
We don't know how much Thor weighs.
I bet we do. There's got to be an
His
MCU
hammer
encyclopedia out there
Mjolnir
that has Thor's
is
weight.
infinite
What did
weight.
you just say?
Nobody Mjolnir. Nobody can pick it up.
If I were
Only
watching this,
Thor.
I'd be cringing.
Captain
I'd be
America.
cringing to
Captain
you.
America can pick it up.
You can also force someone through a floor. Right?
Well, that's
All right.
That's
He picks
poopy.
him up and then throws him down with his force, and it's more than
Hey,
gravity, right?
these are the
Bah
dumb
humbug.
That doesn't matter. That literally, like, who cares? That fight is good.
Ooh, to find the best one.
What'd you? We are talking about this movie.
And then the ending fight
That was
is
I like
very
font.
good.
Yeah.
That's okay.
From like an action standpoint, not like crazy, but
Yeah.
you know.
From like story.
I give it an 8.
Ooh, I'm cringing.
No.
Okay,
Four.
but also okay.
4.
Let the man
You
speak.
said yourself the last half hour at least was perfect,
Yeah,
and I would have to agree.
Yeah.
it is. It's really good.
What's
just
your
thought I should
rating?
bring
A
that up.
4? Okay.
That's not true. What's yours?
I'm gonna like.
7.5.
I'm gonna put a big like.
Also 7.5. 7 for not
Big
doing it.
asterisk.
I really liked it the second time we watched it, but then
Well, I didn't watch it twice.
the first time I watched it, I liked it less.
I
And the
didn't
second time I liked it a lot more, but then I was like thinking more about it, how dumb the plot is.
And how bad the writing is.
The writing is miserable at some points, but then the writing is really
That's
good
your
at some
real
point.
name?
Yeah, that's really fucking dumb. But then the writing at the end is like really good.
That's
For
what I'm
some
saying. I
reason.
think the highs are so high that I'm okay with like.
Like balances out the really shitty.
Yeah, because there's
parts.
not like even some of my like
There's not
favorite.
really shitty parts of that movie.
Yeah, like the
Yeah.
that's like the.
If you bring up the
Making-
fucking woods line again, I'm gonna.
I mean,
I'm not-
that
I
is,
think-
I think it's
I
so silly.
hate
But
the woods.
I think the whole idea.
Why is
that-
that so bad?
I think the
He's
whole.
been stuck in a fucking power grid somehow for.
Well, he hasn't been
However
stuck in.
long.
I would
He
love
hasn't
to
been stuck
see-
in the woods.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'd be like, oh shit, yes, the woods.
Well, it would make sense because he is literally electricity embodied. That's why he would
He lands
hate
next
the
to a bunch
woods
of power cables.
that
I
have been
hate
brought
the-
down. That's
Yes,
why he
there's-
gets out of the power cables.
there's
It's because
a few,
they're dead.
There's some dumb lines, but there's
And he's
also,
a fucking nerd.
There's
They
also
were crazy.
some dumb lines in like movies that also where the good stuff is insanely good, and then that's where you're unless
Like
the like
Interstellar.
Dunkirk.
Interstellar
unless the
is
bad stuff-
average.
unless the bad stuff is like I don't know there like what don't you like about, like
I just
the
hate
bad
the part.
guy.
I hate the whole idea of them going to the apartment and should be
I
like,
think that is
It's not
I'm gonna
as
fix
bad.
you.
no I
It
think
wasn't
him
as
trying to
bad
like
the
fix
second
them
time
makes
I wa-
that like
I
is
think the
fine.
idea of him fixing
But yeah-
them is like okay, but then he's like, coming back to this guy's apartment, and then we're...
That's okay. That's fine. It's the fact that he brings all these like villains with his like aunt there
into the middle of a city.
And then
yeah,
he's
that,
like
seems
the
like,
lizard's like he wanted to stay in this.
and then he's just fine with
I'm
him.
gonna
Like,
stay
oh yeah,
in
he's fine. No one go out.
There's-
Watch
oh,
it.
that guy's like obviously like an evil villain from like a different
Oh,
world.
like
yeah.
crazy
Just
psychopath.
leave him in the truck.
there's a
Chilling
few
the-
plot things like that are dumb, but
It's like,
also
who
the
wrote
good
that?
stuff
Yeah,
is
me.
so good.
But then
that
cares.
But Sandman is so fucking bad. He's obviously like, I want to
I
go
think he's,
home.
like,
I want to see
terrible.
my
He's-
daughter again.
Yeah.
But then he's like, I'm fighting the Spider-Man
because he
I don't
wants the
want to go
box.
home.
He wants to get the box.
But Electro is literally like, I want to destroy the box.
Yeah, I don't think he. Okay,
Side by side,
but he
side
also
by
isn't,
side, fighting
like,
against the
I
Spider-Man.
know he's not like yeah. I don't know. I think you literally just have that there.
You should have
so
just
he's, like,
been on the good
another-
side. You should have just been.
But then you wouldn't have had the beware if you had the 3 Spider-Men and Sandman fighting the things. 'Cause
They
then
could
you would-
if they did the same thing where Doc Ock shows up at the end of it, and then it's like Electro, and then grabs him. Sandman could have done the same shit.
There's some dumb plot things.
Sandman should
They
have
just
been
had to have a
good guy.
3v3
They
fucking
Yeah.
pussy
Bad
man shouldn't have been in
guy.
the movie.
Doesn't mean
Yes,
I'm bad.
Sandman
guy.
and Lizard should not have been in that fucking movie,
Oh,
but you
totally
had to have a.
agree.
They didn't. If they were going for a Sinister Six, then maybe they all should have been in the movie. But they didn't. They just
Well,
went out of
Venom
5 villains.
was.
They didn't
It
have-
just-
they didn't-
just
I mean, they
didn't
were
see
just
him.
there
They
to
didn't
have
even
something
have.
to
They
fight.
didn't have any Tom Holland villains in those movies, which is kind of weird. I think. I feel like,
He was in it.
I mean,
no,
they
he
could.
wasn't.
They
No,
could-
he wasn't.
They could have done that, but
He was
also
not.
there's a billion different things they could have done for the third movie. And judging it as of the movie we got, you know,
But it doesn't make any sense because they took all of the Tom Holland Spider-Man villains, almost all of them, minus fucking Venom, and then they took all the Andrew Garfield movie villains, and then they're like Tom Holland villains. No fucking way.
I know.
You're not gonna
I'm
do it.
obviously it's like like a cohesive trilogy. The third movie doesn't feel like a meaningful end for a lot of
Earned.
it. Well, part of it does feel earned, but part of it, like with the villain stuff, doesn't. There's some dumb plot stuff in it, and some characters,
I
like
remember
mainly
watching
just
this.
2 that I think weren't treated super well. But they treated everyone else extremely well, and there was a lot of good writing, and especially the last 45 minutes are like perfect.
I
The
disagree.
third movie, it seemed like
What
they
was wrong
just
with the
got
last
rid
45
of the
minutes?
The
third
45
movie.
minutes. It's not the last 45 minutes.
I
thought
think
were
everything
perfect.
from
It
like
was the
Aunt
last
May's death to like the end of the movie is.
I don't think it was perfect.
What's wrong with it?
I mean, there was like
The way they
20
introduced
minutes
the
of
villains
like
at the end was kind
fan
of.
service. I think it like if you really like the Spider-Man movies, then like yeah, it was perfect.
Where
But,
was
like,
the Green Goblin in the entire ending of that
yeah,
movie?
and why did
He
he
was
show
like
up?
rode out on a
late.
glider.
Why would he
After
even
they
show?
fought all of
What
them,
was his
and
like
then just,
motivation to kill Tom
Then just got
Holland?
his ass kicked.
Because
why would
none
he
of them
even-
agreed with Goblin. Why would he be like fighting with them?
I'm saying they should have introduced all the villains as like persuaded by the Green Goblin or something like that.
But it's
where
not
they
the
was-
Sinister Six. None of them.
Exactly.
None of them
Exactly.
agreed.
But
None
they
of them
didn't need
agreed
to
with
be
each other.
persuaded. They weren't like.
But it should have been a cohesive.
Why did
like,
they wait?
villain-
They don't want to. The ones that are dead, their motivation is they don't want to die, so they want to get like destroy the box, so they can't be sent home.
But Sandman doesn't even die.
I'm not talking about
Lizard
Sam. I'm
doesn't
saying
even
like
die.
Electro and like Doc Ock too, but I'm saying Electro and like Green Goblin. They want to like destroy the box and
But
not
then,
be sent back.
but then Doc Ock gets persuaded to be good, and then he doesn't have like a.
He helps them at the end.
I know, but he's still gonna die when he goes back.
Yeah.
Green Goblin's.
Well,
gonna
we
die
also
when he goes
we
back.
also don't like we don't know what happens. I mean, that you'd think that would happen, but
it's shit.
but
It's shit.
I don't know.
I think this whole movie, it's like it is hard to ignore that there were really good parts, like the very ending, when he's on the when they're fighting on the shield, like that was really cool. Other than Toby getting stabbed, I really liked the banter between the Spider-Mans. That was cool, but like the just like whole thing where the entire movie was just like cameo after cameo, and it felt like it kind of dragged in between. Like the story of the movie was like really bad. But like there were like so many like cool characters and cameos going on that you like kind of forget about it. But like if you break it down, like the first like hour of that movie is garbage.
No.
I wouldn't say that.
I thought it was.
I don't know. It is confusing when they like focus on, so like the whole bridge scene with Doc Ock when Tom Holland's like, "You gotta let my friends in," and then like he like saves the admissions
Like what
person.
the fuck was he doing?
But then she's like, "I will get in a good word
That's
for
so
your friends."
stupid.
But then that doesn't really make an impact later on because.
It does because they get into that school.
Yeah, but
But
who
I'm saying
cares? Because everyone would have forgotten
after he
anyways.
erases the memory of Peter Parker, and then they just get in anyways. So like him putting in that good word doesn't have an impact.
No, I think
on-
that's exactly what it. That's his fault.
I was saying that
But she doesn't remember that he existed, so she wouldn't remember
right.
that conversation.
But the only reason he's doing
But
that
she
is because
still
he's trying to
did.
like make it up to them.
But then he
for,
does like
ruining
kind of
their
make
lives.
it up because she's like, I will put in a good word, but then that good word doesn't have any impact because he just erases himself from history, and then they just get in anyways.
Also,
Well,
Well,
then
he's
there's-
he's
then there's
getting up
no
his
need-
entire like life. He doesn't.
I
like,
just
there's
like,
also-
I refuse to believe that Doctor Strange would just be like that's the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
yeah, the like
stupid.
reasoning behind why the plot is
Why
put
would
in
he be like,
motion
yeah,
is
let's
whack.
do it. Fuck it. Yeah, this could
The
be really
multiverse
dangerous.
is so.
Oh my god, we missed everything. I'm like, what do you mean, dude? Oh,
That is really stupid.
Okay.
That just
let's
pissed me off.
let's move on.
Alright, 3.
We can talk about Spider-Man.
I already voted.
A
it,
3?
actually.
I'm kidding.
No, but he is still
4.
keeping out a 4.
4.
Next.
Move on, because I think he's memeing, but
I know
I don't want him to
he's
change his
memeing.
answer, so go to the next one.
My day is ruined.
I know he's mean.
Go to the next
Wait,
one.
what did you guys say? Oh, 7.5.
I already
And
did.
what'd you say?
He said 7.5.
Okay. All right.
Just
No
go to the
time to
next
die.
one. He's not going to
No
change
time
it.
to die.
Spoilers, don't spoil it.
I don't really want to hear anything from you anymore.
I don't like.
Oh, we
wanna
disagree.
Talk about this movie.
Wait, what
but
is so-
It was good.
Just give a rating.
sorry.
Just give a rating.
Go, Keith, Joseph.
I thought it wrapped everything up. Like, I was fine with it. It was
You
It was
didn't
a
see
lot.
the movie before it.
I didn't see the movie before it, so I can't really speak to it.
Dumb
But
fuck.
as a movie, I thought it was pretty decent. I like that James Bond. It was cool what they did. 6.
All right.
It was a good 007 movie. I really didn't like 007. She was very unlikable.
Yeah.
Next,
Gee.
Zack Snyder's Justice League.
Dog shit.
Wait, I didn't
dog shit.
give a
Oh,
rating.
sorry.
6.
What? Oh, whoops.
Alright. Zack Snyder's Justice
Zack Snyder's Justice League,
4.
dude.
I didn't watch it.
Oh, okay. It
4
wasn't.
for 4 hours.
It was.
That's mine.
It wasn't very good. I mean,
3 hours.
was it better than the other one?
Yeah.
Probably.
If it had been 6 hours, it would have gotten a 6.
It confuses me how many. It's so weird. How many like fanboys Zack Snyder has. His movies are terrible.
What other movies do you have?
He's got Army of the
300,
Dead is the
Watchmen,
one.
Army of the Dead, Man of Steel, Batman
300
v
is good.
Superman.
I
Isn't
think
Watchmen
300
really
is
good?
arguably the best movie.
Man of Steel is one of his.
Mm-hmm.
That movie.
He
kinda
directed all the
blows.
DC
Yeah.
movies.
I didn't love
wasn't
300.
Watchmen
I thought
supposed to be
300 was
really
like-
I was
Watchmen's
gonna
supposed to be
watch it
good, but it's
soon.
still not
It's-
that good.
300 looks cool. That's about all it's got going for it.
300 is the most. Sorry.
But no,
Most
like
stylish
Snyder
movie.
Cut, it's cool that the people that wanted to see it finally get to see it.
I think
good
it's
for you.
It's really cool that he gets like to make his own vision, but
Sure.
he sucks as a
Yeah, I just
director. He's
don't
so-
like
he needs
this. Like
glasses.
this version of like this universe. I was done with when,
ass.
before this movie came out, and there's a bunch of stuff.
Man
with
of
it.
Steel, he has full creative freedom. Batman v Superman, he has full creative
Ooh,
freedom.
Yeah, it's just
Yikes,
weird.
such a bad
It's,
track
yeah, it's just
run.
weird.
Oh
He's
wait,
given
those
like
movies
a,
are terrible. Why do you want to see his Justice League? His Justice League still
Man of
sucks.
Steel wasn't like really bad. But
No,
it's, like,
you
not
should
good.
re fucking watch it. We rewatched it, and it was fucking
yeah, it was somehow
awful.
a lot worse than I
That
remember.
character just sucks.
Superman.
Yes.
in the DC,
Like
the,
you know the way that he did it in the movie.
yeah,
At least
he,
I
he
thought.
did
just,
a
like,
poor job.
He kills like so many people.
I know.
And then he's like, and then they treat him as like a hero at the end of the movie. It's like, what are
Thank
you
you.
talking about?
Well, and then there's so much stuff in the plot of Man of Steel that's whack, or BBS. That's
rating.
weird.
They introduced Batman as like the Dark Knight Returns Batman, which doesn't make any sense because he's like old and like kind of kills people now, but it doesn't make any
The
sense.
Snyder Cut was just it was longer, but they also like they made everything slightly better, but it still isn't good. Like Steppenwolf has a little bit more like time to like be a character, but he still like is not a good villain. And then the only like thing that was I'd say a major improvement was like Cyborg. He got a lot more time.
Yeah, they made his character like relatable.
But they
and
also
shit.
like because it's 4 hours. There's at least an hour that could have been cut. There's a bunch of ridiculous slow motion. There's
there's 20.
there's the
Isn't
the like
25%
Wonder
of
Woman
it
like
is like slow mo.
Yeah,
and
but,
it's
like-
all on the Wonder Woman with that stupid fucking
so
song.
it's like ridiculous. That's ridiculous.
It's like you're not even doing slow mos on cool parts. You're doing slow mos where Wonder Woman's like holding a sword out.
yeah,
And
it's
it's
cringe. The nightmare scene with Jared Leto's Joker.
Nightmare.
At the end.
Oh
Cringe.
my god!
Did you watch that? That
I've
scene
seen
is
that.
awesome. It's
What is
so
he
He
saying?
funny.
said, we live in a society.
Terrible.
That's not in the final movie. He's just
we
like
live in a
yeah.
society.
It's
what does
terrible.
he say? He's like, when Harley Quinn died, or he's like, Batman. I don't even remember what he says.
Batman.
His performance is balls.
How's he still
the way-
getting roles?
His like
As
interpretation
Morbius?
of the Joker
He's
is
coasting
so
off.
apt.
Isn't he
Yeah.
the guy from
Morbius?
Dallas Buyers Club?
Yeah.
He's really good in that.
Yeah,
movie.
he's
That's
coasting
the
off
only
that
great movie
success.
I've seen him in.
Isn't he in House of Gucci?
30 seconds
House
to
of
Mars.
House of
House of
Gucci.
Googie. House of Cookie.
Snyder Cut, I give a 4.
Give him
For 4 hours.
For 4 hours.
4 for 4. One for each hour.
The French Dispatch.
A solid film of the year.
Owen.
Wilson.
I wouldn't.
I'm kidding.
Good.
What do you mean you what?
He's
That
in the
movie-
for
Owen
5
Wilson
seconds.
is in like
He was in it for 4 pages.
every good Wes
4
Anderson.
pages.
Yeah, remember? His article was 4
Oh,
pages.
oh.
Other people's articles were like
He's
20.
riding his bike.
I remember.
That was so good.
I wish
the
it
colors
lasted
in that
longer.
movie are like something I remember very well.
Yeah.
Like the blue and the light yellow.
Very
and
well made. Very
Oh
well
man,
written.
that chef scene is one of the most beautiful scenes in
So-
cinema.
The
The one where he's like
creative.
talking about the poison.
I definitely like the first and third stories more than the second one.
What
I
was
can't. There was one that I didn't
What was
love.
your favorite story, if you guys remember?
I don't.
I think the chef one.
I liked the first and third
Like
ones probably
kidnapping
like
one?
equally. Like I liked them
The
both a
last
lot,
one.
and then the second one was I still like enjoyed it, but it wasn't.
Is that the painting one?
This second.
No, the second one's the Timothy Chalamet one.
I really like the painting one too.
I like the
Best.
painting one and the chef one.
Yeah, the first and third
Last
one.
one.
Timothy Chalamet was.
I'd say the artist one was my favorite.
That one
Because
was
you're
really
not-
good.
I just didn't
No.
really understand the Chalamet one.
Yeah, I
Like,
didn't
it was
know.
just kind of like a,
It was
Yeah, like fuck
the whole like
lady
revolution
and then-
thing.
Yeah, I liked how he was fucking that old lady. That was kind of funny.
very like funny, very funny.
Funny movie.
No, that is my favorite movie we saw this year.
I agree.
Definitely
the most interesting.
It was funny. It was funny. Very funny.
It
The
was funny. Bill Murray,
animated sequence during
Murray's
the
great.
drive during the car chase at the
Understand.
end.
he funny guy.
Yeah, that was cool.
Very creatively made. It was awesome. Big
Oh yeah.
Big Chungus.
Chungus.
Does that get the
I'll-
Big Chungus award of the
Hey,
year?
everybody
I'll-
say your rating on 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 9.
9.
I knew it was
Oh,
gonna
look at
happen.
us! It's nice one.
We already rated this
Anyone
shit.
else get any other 9s out so far?
No, I think that's the first 9.
That's the only 9.
rough
I-
year.
Luckily, the last 9.
No 10s? Okay.
Actually, I'm gonna give something else a 9.
Ooh.
What could that be?
What could that be?
Army of the
We're
Dead.
gonna find out.
Hopefully.
Diary of Wimpy Kid.
I didn't watch it. I told you that like 3 times.
It was just a worse version. A worse version of the live action
I'm
movie.
shocked.
That already exists. That's pretty good. So I
Just
don't know
go watch
why
that.
Go watch that. I don't know why they made a new one.
All right.
The animation sucked. Sorry.
Plus,
I'll
it's
give like
only
a-
in an hour.
Plus, it's not even an hour. It's like
Rate it.
56 minutes. A 3.
All right, Nightmare Alley.
Just don't spoil it.
Oh yeah, no spoilers. Hey,
All right.
solid. It was
Solid
a
movie.
good story
I'm
with really
trying to-
good performances and
It was a
Good.
okay. It was a pretty good story. No,
Yeah.
wait. It was a really good story. Wait.
it was a
Getting
good
that
story.
confused with Reminiscence for some reason.
Really like good direction.
No,
Just
it-
solid performances. My only real issue is it could have had 30 minutes probably shaved off of it. I don't think it needed
I
to be
think
2.5 hours.
My biggest
A lot
issue,
of the middle area.
Yeah.
I think what would have helped the end is like the timing was like a little bit like weird. You know, I thought they
Like the
lingered
last,
on
like,
things
10
a little
minutes?
bit too much. Yeah, and then
Yeah.
like it just like needed to all fall into place a little bit quicker, and I think that would have helped it a lot. But it was like a really, really good if that
Told
was based
story.
a book, like that
Yeah.
book is probably really, really good.
Yeah.
So yeah, 7.
7.
7.5.
Nice.
All
Luca.
right. D's.
I watched this earlier.
All right, so you're fresh on it. What'd you think?
It was good. It was the average movie, kids movie.
The fish, yeah.
It's like a cool representation film.
Yeah, I know.
I kept on hearing about a bunch of like gay stuff before it, and I kept on waiting there for to be
Were
like
they
a
gay?
lot
For
of
them to
gay
kiss?
stuff, and I was like, oh, they're just like best buds.
Maybe.
Are they or are they like kissing?
It's up to interpretation.
They're-
They're not.
it's up to
They're not
interpretation.
like kissing in the movie, but some people you could view it as the beginnings of a
Gay.
homo relationship.
It was very like once like
Homosexual
after like
relationship.
hearing about that for the longest time, and then like wanting to or like towards the end, it's kind of like sea monsters. Oh wait, no, they do belong. And then there's that one line where
Yeah.
he's like, some people will hate him. but some people will accept them. And I was like, oh, that's nice.
It was a solid little.
Spoilers.
It's not aiming to be very much. Like, again, for Pixar, they've got a lot of crazy stuff, but for what it was,
I kind of wish they did make them gay.
for what it was,
They
it
don't have
was
the balls to make you gay.
A main actor.
Kind of feels like they didn't have the balls.
it was a
to do
good
China's
story.
income.
Some childhood
It was
friends.
good. I had a theory watching, like, as I was watching, I had a theory that was about, like, introduction to drugs. Like, going. So like, the whole thing is, like, the beginning is, like, because, like, at first he's like, come on, try it. And he's like, because, like, he
Dip your
shows,
foot
like,
in the water,
curiosity.
and then you, like,
and then
dip a leg in the water.
and like
then you
getting out of the
jump
surface
into it.
was like marijuana, and then like what was the next part? It was
Quite a
when he
read.
like started reading. It was before he started reading about like the plants and stuff with the girl. It had something to do with the girl. And, like he got like the scenes about it got a lot like more imaginative. It was like, oh, that's like introduction to like hallucinogens and
LSD.
like LSD and stuff.
And then the last
And
one's
then like
ketamine.
and then like after that, it was like, oh, this doesn't really hold up at all. Like after the first like 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Cool. 7.
Yeah.
All right.
Also,
West Side Story. I'm the one that saw that. It was very, very good, actually.
I bet.
Was it?
Yes. I watched the original like a few days before seeing the new
that
one.
surprises me. What'd you
And
give? Wait,
I gave
don't
the
spoil
original.
it.
Okay. I gave the original like an 8. It was great. And the new one, I don't know. It's long, but it's like, I guess I can't say much without spoiling it.
Hamburger.
It's like it's a good story.
Just spit
same
it
story,
out, man.
like
Spit
a
it
West
out.
Side Story.
Really good music and
What's the
just.
story? God damn it!
What's
I
the
gave
score
it an
of
8,
Shane?
but I was leaning towards maybe upping it to a 9.
So it's better than the original. Is what you're trying to say?
Oh,
There were
dumb
some things that I
fuck.
think it improved upon, so I'd recommend.
Cool.
You finished it?
I don't have it.
What's wrong with you guys?
Right there.
Fighting over California champagne.
Fighting.
Yeah,
with my
it's called champagne.
Fighting with my family.
The SpongeBob movie,
No one
Sponge on the
saw it.
Run,
Asshole. It was
Oh, I guess he did.
sucked.
It was an advertisement.
It was worse
for
than the last one.
It was an advertisement for the show called Camp Coral, where it explores
Yeah.
the.
That was my biggest problem with it, is that it just towards the end of the movie, every 5 minutes they start cutting to these like clips from Camp Coral, just saying go watch Camp Coral, and the movie also has all these Keanu Reeves is in it, Snoop Dogg is in it,
It's a bunch of big names.
Machete,
What's his Danny Trejo?
Danny Trejo's in it. I didn't mind the animation. I actually kind of liked it, like the normal,
The
the
animation's,
CG,
I guess,
like 3D
fine, but
animation.
the story's
I thought
so
it looked
bad.
good. Yeah, the story was really lame, especially like towards the end.
They have all these origin stories that don't even make sense, because when you watch the original show,
SpongeBob.
Sandy's introduced by when she's like fighting clams, but
I don't
instead,
remember the lore.
okay, but instead they're like, oh, I remember meeting SpongeBob at Camp Coral.
I take this movie as well.
That's
like
not even
rewrote
true. That's not even
SpongeBob.
true.
Oh yeah, it's things for Camp Coral. They all met at this camp when they were. It sucks.
Because
give
they're
it-
making a new
sorry.
show called Camp Coral
With
with all of them
With
just younger
kid-
Yeah,
versions.
they're like them as kids.
so like baby versions where they can sell a bunch of like plushies.
Steven
Bunch of
Hillenburg
butt
is
plugs.
spinning in his grave.
Spinning.
And Nickelodeon is spitting on his grave.
I give it a 3.
Give it a 2. Maybe even a 1, actually. So embarrassing.
Yikes! Alright. Tick Tick Boom?
Shit, dog shit.
Shitting.
Was it just
Pretty
when
good.
Oh, you watched it too?
I watched
Yeah, we
that
can't
a couple
spoil
days
it
ago.
though.
Alright, no spoilers. That was very good. I was
I was so not interested in the first 30 minutes of that movie. And I gave up on it at first.
No.
And then it was like right before
what's wrong with
That
you?
made more noise than what I made.
it was like right until I watched it till like him and the girlfriend fought.
Oh yeah.
And then I was like, yeah, this kind of sucks. And I like went back to it because I was like, yeah, I mean, I know it's like good. So I watched it. It was the rest of it was very good.
A solid story. I think the main thing like carrying it is Andrew Garfield.
I agree.
He's really good.
I thought that it was really good.
Yeah. I was
I've never liked a song like this. I guess I just like the musical, but I've never liked a song in a musical before. Like
Well, so-
that I've like listened to it in my free time, and I have listened to 3090.
Yeah, I like the way it was structured. The way they like
good.
used like
And the I am mad that or I am sad that you are mad.
the way it was structured with them like it being in the like they're doing like the play at the beginning and then like yeah, and then like cutting between like what it's based on and cutting to the actual story. I thought it was well done, and I
very beautiful scene of piano in the rain.
At the park?
Yeah.
At the end, yeah, that scene
is beautiful.
was awesome. Very good. I 8.
And it's like
8.
hard hitting too.
Yeah.
What do you give it?
Andrew Garfield
I'd probably give it.
wins.
I guess 8.
This is my
Wins.
This is my
that's what I was debating.
That's my 9. I
guess,
don't. It's a soft 9. Like
Yeah.
I don't know what. I'm just saying that's the best music. That's the musical I've liked the most out of any musical I've ever seen.
It's like a high 8.
Yeah.
That was really
high
good.
8.
Not as good as The French Dispatch, but that's my number 2 movie for the year.
Okay. Don't spoil it yet.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Space Jam 2.
It's based on a real person.
10.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a sad movie.
No, I was talking about Space Jam 2.
Alright, Space Jam 2. Hey, Bada Bada. Sweet.
I like
that movie.
couldn't stand this.
That movie, the theater we saw it in.
Is there a big Chungus reference?
Yes.
There is. There's also a Rick and
it.
Morty reference. The theater we saw it in, like everyone was going nuts.
Yes, LeBron. Yes.
And
woo!
And they like at the end when there's a bit of a death maybe. Everyone
I'm
was
spoiling
like
it.
so sad.
We're gonna spoil
Bugs
it.
Bunny.
Bugs Bunny
But
dies.
Bugs Bunny died. People, Bugs, no! And they're like, and then in the, what are you doing, guy?
Dude.
Rabbit season.
All right, now say, I'm hunting rabbits. They're trying to chase me.
Why does he turn into Big Chungus when...
That's a pretty
when,
weak Big Chungus reference. I'm kind
There
of
shouldn't be any Big Chungus reference.
They should at least name drop.
Big
Chungus.
LeBron should have been like, that was Big Chungus.
Was that Big Chungus? Alright.
No, Space Jam 2 was terrible.
And then in the parking lot at the movie theater we saw it in, some kids were shooting off fireworks.
That's nothing to do with the movie.
And a kid shot a firework into our circle where we were talking about the movie, and I just stared at it as it blew up in my face. It was like a scene from Saving Private Ryan. Anyway.
Spoilers.
It was just like that. It was really scary. No, the movie
Loud.
was really bad. It was
Like,
there's so
LeBron
much.
James cannot act, so like why was he doing
Michael
it?
Jordan couldn't either.
Yeah,
At least
well, he's
they made
Michael
that
Jordan.
good.
At least he has like what?
The whole thing with this one that like the first Space Jam, it's got that like 90s charm to it. It's like its own thing. Also, they actually like had the Looney Tunes animated.
Fucking stop.
They had the Looney Tunes animated in the real world. I mean,
Spit it
was
out.
it?
Yes.
Yeah, they had Michael Jordan like. Was they had Michael Jordan in the Toon World?
Yeah,
in
that
the
was
original one. Okay, yeah. So they had Michael Jordan in the Toon World, and they had to do all that green screen stuff. But
And
the new one,
Michael
they just
B.
animate.
Jordan was in this movie.
That sucks. They just animate LeBron James like to be animated, and it's a lot less cool. Also, there's no jokes in the new movie. It's literally just references, and they take the Looney Tunes and just put them into scenes. Like they don't edit them at all. It's just the scenes. It's just the first scene from The Matrix, but it's like the granny is like in the scene, and then there's like the scene from what's another one. There's like some more. Oh, Mad Max Fury Road, and the Roadrunner's there because and they just put him into the movie, and it's cringe. And then at the final fight, like there's like a bunch of like WB
They get
properties
a
there,
million
like the
points.
Iron Giants, like
Yeah.
watching the fight, and like A Clockwork Orange, like people,
There's a bunch
like,
of things I
and,
can't
and like
remember.
Pennywise. Yeah, it's cringe.
All right, 2.
1.
Uh,
That's my 1. My
Alright.
one besides
Chaos Walking.
Chase. Jesus, can you get it together?
That's a fucking one. Ow.
You needed that. Man.
We should just skip this. You should probably get out of here.
That movie is fucking ridiculously bad. It's where
Just give it something.
a girl lands on a planet.
Don't
Dude,
spoil
I'm
it.
not trying to get
I'm
I'm
not-
a spoiler.
Okay,
Just give
it's
it
a 1.
something.
It's a 1.
Oh Jesus, it's
Actually-
kind of low.
It's so bad. It's so boring and so stupid.
Army of the Dead. Oh, you got 2 in a row. Look at you.
Ah, fuck me. Alright, that movie's actually a piece of shit. If you're a Zack Snyder fan, then I don't know why you were ever a Zack Snyder fan. People
You're ever
praise this
forward.
movie for being like creative as fuck and blah blah blah. However, they make the zombies to be like lame as shit, and they make this stupid heist movie where they're like making fun of like a heist movie. And they're just like, you know how they like build the team in the heist?
Yeah.
Well,
You hate that
they
episode
like,
of Rick and Morty.
well, they literally
Rick
do,
and Morty are in space.
they're
Jam.
like kind of making fun of it in this movie, but then they literally do that in this movie. They're like, oh, this is the safe hacker, this is like the gun guy, this is the blah blah blah, and then just do all that shit, and
Like
then they go
Ocean's
rob a
8.
bank where a bunch of zombies are, and then everybody fucking dies, and then can I just spoil this entire movie? I'm gonna do
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
I'm doing it anyway.
Don't.
Fuck it.
And then the U.S., the government's like, okay, so Las Vegas becomes like a zombie like apocalypse area, and they like wall it off and like make it like this whole like contaminated zone. And then one day when they're robbing the bank, they're like, we're gonna nuke Las Vegas and kill all the zombies. So then they're like, oh shit, we gotta hurry up this
Did you
bank
just spoil
heist.
it?
Yeah. So they're like, we gotta
Okay.
hurry up this bank heist. And then they're like, oh yeah, we have 30 minutes to escape the nuclear blast. And it's like, all right, let's go. And then they like make it out with 30 minutes, but oh wait, they still get hit by the like blast of the nuke because it's a fucking nuke.
They die.
And then it's so dumb.
Wait, so they were pulling off a bank heist during a zombie apocalypse?
Yes.
Sounds like a fun
That's
premise.
And they have
Does it? That sounds really easy.
But they have this tiger, which is like a zombie tiger, and that's like all in the trailers and stuff, but it's in there for like 5 seconds, and then it's
The main
It's
thing that
such
kept me
a
from
bad
watching
movie.
this was that it's 2.5 hours. It seemed like the type of movie that probably.
how can
shouldn't
you
be.
make that movie boring? It's like, oh, bank heist, zombie apocalypse, action,
And a zombie tiger.
and a zombie tiger. And then
What?
it's boring as fuck.
What would you give it?
A 2.
Nice.
1 and a 2. Man, you chose the wrong fucking movies to watch.
What was the last movie?
Pig?
Piggy, piggy, piggy.
Pig?
Piggy.
Hey, I won't spoil this because I think you guys should watch this. Nicolas Cage is very good,
Hamburger.
and I don't even want to say what it's like about or anything. So
Okay.
it was just very good. It had some really good
Orange
scenes in
juice?
it, and I'm gonna give it a 7.
What is this
It's not
movie?
really good.
What?
You said it was really good.
Yeah, I know.
Shut up, pussy.
Can you orange juice
It's
me?
like a fine movie.
What movie?
Better
No.
than average.
What'd you give Pig?
He just said 7.
I've got it a 7. I was
way.
thinking of maybe upping it to an 8. One of the two.
Is it really that good?
Yeah.
Nicolas Cage movie 7? Wow.
Nicolas Cage is good.
He
has
has
an
an
Oscar.
He has an Oscar.
Y'all
for
should
Best
watch
Actor.
Raising Arizona. That movie is actually so fucking good.
Well, it's not on the list, so I'm not really sure.
I'm just saying you should watch it.
Okay.
Oh, this movie's on the list, so it doesn't exist.
Wait. What's the movie of Nick
Him.
Cage that has the bee scene?
That's
Oh, what
that's the
movie
horror
is that?
movie. What's that movie called?
You just do that.
I can't remember, but it's really
Right.
funny.
Yeah.
I
All
want
right.
to watch it.
Alright.
Yeah.
A Quiet
Please.
Place 2?
Another one I can't say anything about.
I liked this movie a lot.
I thought it was very good. Or
That was good.
pretty good. Good.
It was the
Good.
first movie we saw in theaters in like a really long time. I think that might have influenced my experience, but I liked it. I had a good one.
It was a solid sequel. It like
I also-
built on the first one, built on the characters,
For some
expanded
reason,
the world a little bit.
It felt
Fucking
like
yeah,
a
it was
really
dumb.
solid sequel. I don't know if this was just me, but like it felt because I think because it picked up immediately after, and it was like it was like a story that was like made sense to tell the story and like I don't know. I just think it checked out in a lot of
That was kind of stupid how they introduced like the other like the island place that didn't have anything.
and they
else.
killed all of them.
But they're playing like under the sea, and they're like, oh, we're
They
like,
can't
that's
swim.
like a message for like we're on this island.
but they were like the aliens.
If I
can't
listened to
swim.
that, I'd be like,
Wait, what?
you know how like the message they play on the radio over and over again is they're playing Under the Sea
Yeah.
by like the Nemo song, and then they're
Little
like,
Mermaid?
what?
Little Mermaid?
No, they're like Under the Sea, na na na. Is that what it's called?
The crab that sings? it?
Under the Sea. It's not that
Okay,
one.
maybe I think of a different song.
Is there another song called Under the Sea?
It's the one in Nemo,
But it's like a cryptic message.
but it's a cryptic message. And it's like basically we're on this island, like
There's
close to
songs
where
like
you
that.
are. Well, it's like at the end credits.
Ocean Man?
SpongeBob.
Ocean
That's pissing me
Man.
off. What is it called?
I don't know, but I know what you're saying. But also I
But
don't.
why wouldn't they just directly say, "Hey, we're on this island"?
Well, I think
by
the point
way?
was that they didn't have like the ability to like do that. They had to choose a song
How can they broadcast that song then?
because they had like a tape of the song.
They probably didn't have a fucking microphone, man.
Yeah, they don't have like a way to make tape.
Put you in the apocalypse. Yeah, you do.
That kind of made sense to me. I thought.
Okay.
I really enjoyed it.
What didn't make sense was the fact that no one. I feel like if I was on an island and it was like safe on islands, I would like go to the mainland and be like, "Yo, guys, like if you don't know, just like set up in like the middle of a lake or some shit because they can't swim." It just seems like a very important memo to get out.
So it's like signs.
It is kind of stupid. It is kind of like science because the aliens can't swim, and the whole world is 70% water. What if that like asteroid crashed?
They're gonna have to take boats.
And they do take a boat,
Yeah.
and they get to that island and kill everybody.
Yeah.
What?
Spoilers.
What the fuck?
Dude. No, like we saw it really early, and I like throughout the year kept trying to make sure I didn't forget about it.
What'd you give it?
7. That was.
I think I'd give it an 8.
Hey,
8.
that's respectable.
Give it a
She's probably
7
giving it like a
or
4.
6.
So what is it?
We'll go 7 because you fuck you guys.
Last night in Soho.
Piss. Just kidding.
Was it piss?
No. It was pretty good.
I've soured on it a little.
I've soured on it a little bit.
You know, all for Edgar Wright trying something different. I just am not sure he's like. I don't know.
It was well done.
I thought it was a super interesting, like original.
It was It was a cool idea.
It just
Thinking
like didn't
back on
hit
it,
that hard.
Did it seem longer than it should have been?
Think so.
No.
There was a love story in it, or like a relationship that probably didn't need to be there.
Like her and her boyfriend.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought that was fine. I don't think it resolves in a satisfying way because it's not like a mystery you're figuring out. You literally are shown like fake visions of like what she sees, and then it's like, oh, like, you know, her one that she's like leasing the room from or whatever. It was her, and then it's not like, you know, something.
That's like a really good point.
So it's not something you would like figure out throughout the movie, and it's because
It was just you straight were lied to.
Yeah, the movie lied to you, and it's like, and then as it started, like as it went on, and like all the like horror elements, kind of just like the like CG ghosts that were like following her didn't look very good, and it just
I will
scary.
say the faceless men kind of looked pretty.
It's just
pretty
I don't think
I
they-
did not like that. I wanted that to.
it was
not be there.
disturbing.
I thought, yeah, I just,
They don't have to look good.
yeah,
It
sure.
could have been. It was like it had all the parts of like a really good movie.
Yeah.
But I don't think it quite.
There's a lot of like really cool stuff, like all the like production wise, like when they first like go back in the past, or she goes back in the past, it's like well done. It looks really cool. All the stuff with them like swapping, but like actresses is like all like in camera, no like effects. It's super cool. I just don't think like as it went on, I was like less into it, and then by the ending, I don't think it was really super satisfying.
Yeah, like the ending isn't super satisfying because you are just fed lies throughout the entire movie. So you're like,
she's the
there wasn't really a way to like see it coming.
It's
like,
a
there's not
weird-
like hints in the movie.
Yeah.
Although with Edgar Wright, there could be a lot of hints in the movie.
Like maybe we have to watch it
I
again.
don't know if they
Well,
should.
'cause,
You
like-
know, have they have that picture of Anya Taylor-Joy on the wall later on when she's like in the main room.
But that's like when we're figuring when the
But I'm
audience
saying,
is
do
being
they show
shown.
that before
No.
that? I don't remember.
Probably
Maybe.
not.
It's,
But Edgar Wright in all the like Simon Pegg movies or whatever, like there's like cars are lined up in a specific way to like give hints at something. It's
I've
like
seen
really
it.
small details that like no one would ever notice until
Well,
someone told you.
maybe
upon
we should
watching it
realize
one time, I give it a 6.
There's something missing in it.
Yeah, I
Same.
also
I'd
go down
probably
to
give
a
it
6.
like a 7.
I'd give it a 7.
Okay.
The Tomorrow War.
Movie's
Yeah.
ass.
Chris Pratt, movie
It's a
star.
Chris Pratt.
This was like one of those like, and I'm the guy who's standing behind
Mr. Chris
Red
Pratt.
Red Notice and Black Widow, but holy guacamole, I can't get behind this one. This was like one of the worst movies I've seen in a while.
So you didn't like it?
No, it
It was
was
really bad.
terrible.
Let's
The
see
story, like, logistically, like, I know, like, you can overlook some things for a movie, but, like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, basically, they chose to go back in time to, like, prepare for an alien invasion, but then at the end of the movie, they just, like, realized that, like, the aliens landed here, like,
They didn't have a solution when they went back in time.
why would you not go back in time
They're
more
like, we're
so
sending
you could prepare
they're
even
like,
more?
we're sending you to the future to fight all these aliens, and then everybody dies again, And
So
then they're
basically,
like,
they ran.
oh shit.
Do you not want the spoilers?
No, okay.
So basically, they ran out of people to fight the war, so they go back in time to get people to come forward in time to fight the war.
But then they still.
But they only go back like 30 years, so like the whole like what doesn't make sense to me is that means that someone could be born or someone could be like 20 when the people are going back in time to get soldiers, and then be like 50 by the time the event actually happens. So you're fighting it as your 50-year-old self and your 20-year-old self. But if your 20-year-old self goes forward in time and dies, then like it doesn't make sense.
Was Chris Pratt good?
No.
He's
fine.
Garfield.
He was fine.
He's gonna be
Mario?
Garfield and Mario.
It's not what you expect.
I'm never gonna watch
I thought he disappointed me a little bit.
it. I'm sorry.
I was just like, I was really upset with this
J.K.
movie.
Simmons is in it.
I hardly
He's
remember
the dad.
And Ghostbusters.
Actually-
He's everywhere.
For
I
2
did like
seconds.
that part where they're like, yeah, I liked that
No,
part.
I didn't like that.
What
part.
would y'all give it?
4.
All right. Free Guy.
Yes.
That is my 10.
Game movie.
That's my 10.
Gay movie. Let's go.
Movie.
It was
Is there a lot to say about this?
yes. It was so much fun.
It was a fun.
Me watching the
free
movie?
It was the first.
Honestly.
It was the first movie I'd seen in theaters in quite some time that was like fun.
It was just
stupid,
stupid
cringy internet bullshit.
But
I
I knew
agree.
it was.
Rarely
it
do
was
you
doing-
enjoy a movie in
But
the
it
way
was
that like Dan the Diamond Minecart can like make you enjoy something.
What?
Rarely do you see Dan TDM show up in your favorite Hollywood action flick.
Is that,
what I'm saying?
Not stand up for Team Deathmatch.
No, it's the Diamond.
Yeah, it was really stupid.
I don't know.
Pretty bad.
It was a really bad movie, but it had
But it was like
so much
totally,
fun in
it was totally meant to be.
Shoving in these like references and cameos.
It was a carefree.
Just
movie.
for the reason of them being there, and it's kind of cringe.
See,
And it's
if
Ryan
you
Reynolds not
were like
being
a professional
funny.
basketball player, maybe like Space Jam would be to you as Free Guy.
But
is
Space
to
Jam
me.
2 is for
morons.
well, WB fans, Rick and Morty fans, but apparently LeBron James fans, and their whole theater was super hyped
I think
about
it
him.
was LeBron James fans. Imagine your like favorite celebrities.
But we
LeBron
are
James.
gaming fans, and I was like, oh, there's a mantis. Oh, he used the pinata from Fortnite.
Hello. It was actually
Like-
a scorpion.
Is
Was
this?
No, a mantis
Free
was in it
Guy
too.
I
or
remember
Space
Amantis
Jam?
because
I'm talking about free. No, I'm talking about Free Guy.
It was a scorpion.
Free the guy.
there was a mantis.
I'm going crazy.
There were just
I will
references
say,
there for the sake
I
of
saw
references.
I saw you dying laughing when he whipped out the Captain America shield.
Yeah, because you're
and-
like, what? Because it's so unexpected.
music
They
started
were like not allowed to do that, right?
That's
But
what
they
I
are,
thought.
because
no,
it's
it was
the
a-
Fox
it was a-
Studios,
it was
which is
a-
owned by Disney.
It was a
now.
Fox movie, and then I'm
20th
guessing
Century
Disney.
Studios.
And then when Disney bought Fox, it literally has to be that they chose to add that in.
It
was just there for the sake
When
of-
I saw
great
like
joke.
the
Is
meat-
that's not a joke. That's not a joke. It's just
That's
the
just
Captain
being able to
America
own
shield.
property.
Yeah, there's no humor there.
it's
It's
funny
just
reference because like what
The
does
music
Captain
starts
America
fun.
shield doing in this?
that's not a joke. That is not a joke, and that is what's
It's a
wrong with
funny,
it.
Justin,
funny
then why did you laugh?
circumstance.
Because it was unexpected, and I was
But that
like,
is
"Duh."
a joke. I think that's the whole point of the comedy of the movie was like just like really
It was
weird
so
shit.
like
Sometimes
lazy.
she-
Like
and
like
that's
is
dumb,
is
and-
That's
is
why it's
scaring
funny though.
is scaring someone like building up all the suspense to like blah 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 blah.
with
or
big
can it just
CG Ryan
or
Reynolds.
can it just be like this really like disgusting looking monster, or can it be someone just jumping out around a corner? That's still
You
scaring.
can get
someone.
a laugh, you can get a scare from many different ways. It doesn't have to be a classical joke for it to be funny. I think that was funny as shit.
I'm not
That's
saying
so
it didn't
stupid.
like make me laugh when it happened.
I
I'm
laughed
just saying,
more out of the ridiculousness of that movie than
But I think that was the
jokes
point of
that
the
they
movie.
wanted to.
Well, that's
yeah,
what
I
I'm
know.
saying is they thought you would laugh at like
The
because
stupid
you're
shit
laugh. It's
they
not
put
even
in.
like you're laughing with. You're literally laughing at them.
Yeah.
Like that was like dumb. That was
Like-
stupid.
Okay, so when I saw the trailer with the meathead Ryan Reynolds,
Yeah,
I thought that was like a stupid like
Yeah, I did
marketing
too.
I
scheme.
love
I didn't
that
know that was
trailer.
in the movie.
And then he actually appeared in the movie. I was like,
The interview with him or whatever.
Where he's like, yeah, I've got a...
catchphrase.
That was dumb.
That was dumb. That was dumb. But he said like there was some
I
pretty
really
funny.
like that
is that
trailer.
more dumb than everything else in that movie though?
A little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is more dumb.
The entire movie is so stupid.
Did you forget there was like a real life people, or I thought it was just like Ryan
Also,
Reynolds.
it had
Yeah, that movie-
Fantasy by Mariah Carey playing like almost all the time, and I was just like having fun.
the real life World War part of that movie is trying to have this message about like, you know, indie devs and indie games, and then
don't
the
care.
movie is shoving in like Captain America, Fortnite, like the Avengers, like so yeah, like that's just not their message, just going against it.
I don't think they give a fuck.
Well, someone did that. They like thought that was a good idea for their like main. Also, they're like, we're
gave
gonna
up.
make an indie game, and then it's like where you don't play, you just to watch the NPCs.
Bruh.
The Sims.
It's just like Kissing Booth 3.
Alright, yeah. Next.
Just told me that was.
I've gotta rate it.
No, do not rate this movie.
No,
Having fun in a theater, 10 out of 10. Actual movie, like 3.
I'm taking a stand. I'm giving it a 10. I had so much fun. It was worth $20. It wasn't a movie. It was a.
It was an experience.
It was.
if this shows up on your like top of the year,
Oh my gosh, still to do that?
I don't think we should do that.
just do like your 5 favorites. Just can you not remember?
No.
Nope.
Jace can't remember.
But Free Guys.
I'm gonna give Free Guy a 5.
Don't say it.
What?
What do you give it?
4.
Alright. Candyman!
Okay, I thought everybody was going to go like really low.
Oh,
I'll give it a 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Candyman?
It's just a terrible movie. It was so.
Candyman?
It was
It's a
so
terrible
dumb,
movie.
though.
Candyman was a decent reboot.
Wait. Why are we talking about Candyman? I think Free Guy aced the humor, or like the
you didn't
the
say
modern
that.
day humor.
I don't.
I think it did.
You obviously
Give it the
never saw
times,
Mitchell's
guys.
with the Machines. Versus
Someone's
the
seen
Machines.
it.
If I
Those
I'm gonna go
jokes
ahead and
about,
put that
like,
on my top
gamers
5.
It's like
Real
the
into-
stupidest shit ever. Like having fucking Jacksepticeye in it. It's like, oh, Free Guy, do this, and then it's just like it's so fucking dumb.
I
the
think they-
streamers were in it.
Maybe
They
it's not
nailed
even
fucking-
intentional.
They
but
nailed
That's- I
like
think
the
that was it.
cringe compilation humor.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. It's like the whole.
Josh is buff.
I find that stuff so funny. It's like I think
I'm
it's
at a
funny
loss
because
for
it was so
words.
bad and like it was like a good bad kind of funny.
It was a good bad.
It wasn't like nearly as good of a bad as like
Red Notice.
But yet again,
No,
Ryan
Brad
Reynolds
Notice.
playing Ryan Reynolds.
I was gonna say the
Yeah,
disaster artist. The
He's just playing Deadpool. He's been playing Deadpool for 5 years.
Ryan Reynolds is Deadpool.
Oh,
And the proposal, is he Deadpool? I don't remember.
I can't remember.
Kinda.
Cut anyone's head off.
Candyman.
I thought we already talked about that.
No!
We just tried to, and then like, wait.
And you went on some like thing about Free Guy. It was a pretty solid follow up.
The ending was really weak.
Yeah, it was like very solid all the way up until the ending. All right.
All right,
So Candyman.
we finished that.
No, we didn't.
Just tried starting to talk about
I
it.
hate this movie.
I think the last third of that movie is ass.
I don't know. It's like last like 10 minutes. It's just spoilers.
Where's the ending
Spoilers?
of the movie is ass.
The original Candyman shows up, and he
Where he's like the one behind it all the time.
And cops
the
are
whole time
bad.
it is. Yeah, cops are really bad in this movie.
it's got a message. Keith, I'll give it a 6.
I can't believe you're serious. Stop it, Keith.
Wait, but I was giving it his top 5.
That was like the Candyman movie at the ending.
Yeah, I give it a 6.
The movie was like super. It was like really solid. It was like a pretty good comeback, and then
Yeah.
the ending was just so bad.
It was just felt a little rushed. I wasn't a huge fan. I give it a 6.
I thought it was pretty average. So, like a 6.
I give it a 6.
Cool. Jungle
Justin?
Cruise. Let's hear it.
Jungle Cruise. Hey, you know
Mr. Fun Guy. You got a lot of fun movies.
this year, this guy right here. We see every movie in theater. We can see any movie we want. Not Jungle Cruise though, because you hate fun. And let me tell you,
that's
you
me.
missed out. I had a great time watching that movie. It was full of fun. It had a decent storyline. They were just doing their thing. They were cruising down a thing, and you do the thing. They've got a cool boat. Rock is cool. Rock is big. Rock's strong. And
Rock is in jungle for the 5th time
Rock
in
in
the last
jungle?
2 years.
So
no, mostly in water.
You liked it. You liked it. What else
because
is there to
Cruise.
say? Free Guy's fun. Red Notice is fun. Jungle Cruise is fun. I love
Jumanji
fun.
2.
Jumanji, I even thought was fun.
I like Jungle Cruise.
What are you gonna give it?
4.
What?
After all
You
that.
serious? I feel like I wouldn't go that low. I'm sure it's fine.
No, it was like a 6.
Okay, cool. All right, Ghostbusters Afterlife, our 53rd movie.
This
This is the last one?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Oh, I feel like you fell asleep for the other 20. So I don't know if you were here.
I have so many problems with this movie.
Oh, really?
I don't want to. I don't even want to take the
really
effort to
know.
dissect it.
Yeah.
but I just like. It's
Just
not.
disappointing.
Like, it just wasn't good.
And like at the end, like the original Ghostbusters came in and did all the work anyway. So
Well, it doesn't make any sense because a lot of them.
also, why was that kid so goddamn smart?
The first half of the movie, the idea is that like, oh, ghosts like might not exist, right? But then there is solid scientific evidence that ghosts like clearly exist because Ghostbusters like all over the internet. They're all over like blah, blah, like all over like I guess information in the past 30 years.
I'll say it. There's this, this might be bad.
Anyways.
What?
I'm just saying that like there was a fucking demon portal
and, like,
opened
probably a
up
lot of people
in the
died
middle
next
of
week.
New York,
And a big man made a
and everyone
marshmallow.
just forgot about it.
Forget about it.
I don't understand why these movies when they
Well, yeah, people
Bring
seem to
back-
remember big attacks on cities. Is
no, but like in like the Force Awakens.
Yeah.
I would too. I mean, it makes sense. It's
For
tragic.
example, in the Force Awakens, like Ray, or like every character is like Luke Skywalker. Oh,
I mean,
he's
that
a
doesn't make
legend.
sense.
Oh, that was like 30 years ago.
He was like
I-
20.
It's like, oh, that was like totally real.
You
but
see
we're
when
just
I
gonna
hear
be
like, did the Star Wars movies even with the Star Wars movies? I've
And
heard
then-
about those.
but then Ghostbusters are like, they don't even
Ghostbusters.
mention it, and then they like realize that it's like, oh, this should happen like on YouTube, and it's like. That is like the biggest scientific like phenomenon in the past like fucking 80 years.
Yeah,
that they found
changed,
out ghosts
literally
are
everything.
real.
Well, yeah, like religions would probably be built around it because like that's like
But that
Like, you know?
has zero impact on like
Because-
the current world we're living on based on that movie. They're like, I don't know, ghosts were real.
Like
ah.
Zorb or whatever her name was. Its name
Yeah.
was like a god.
And they didn't study that at all. They're just like, Ghostbusters, what?
It's just like.
Besides that,
The
I
movie
just
is
thought it
Girls
was
with
still
girls.
shit. The story's still
fine.
bad.
Ghostbusters with girls.
Wait, we've been talking about the one with McCarthy in it, right?
I thought it was fine. I mean, it wasn't like, good, but it also
Oh.
like didn't really do anything too wrong. It just was a modern reboot of
Pathetic
Ghostbusters.
reboot.
There
It was
was
still a fun-ish movie. There were like some scenes where I was like,
I didn't mind it. It
Like,
didn't do anything like super wrong for me. It just the original Ghostbusters coming back.
It was not good.
cool.
Why? They
I
could
felt
have
5
avoided the
seconds at
whole
the end.
like the guy, the Ghostbuster that's like died a few years back.
Yeah.
Whatever. They
You
could have
got
just
the
avoided. Yeah, they could have just avoided doing thing like with him
I think it was
showing
tricky.
up and. Well, yeah, but like he didn't speak. It was just kind of awkward.
Bringing back people
It was
from
a
the
little
dead.
weird.
I don't know.
I don't know about
They could've
resurrecting
just done, like,
actors. I'm not a huge fan of that.
Yeah.
I think it would have
Like,
been better if they
weird.
just didn't like show his face though, or like
Yeah.
if they
Like
how
just
they
used
did
like a like kind of
Or they had like
spirit,
nods at him
area.
instead of like literally like him.
showing him.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's like,
like digitally recreated.
it's kind of
Spirit
weird.
staring at us
I
from
still,
the spirit plane.
I still didn't like hate it though.
Literally.
It was disappointing, but I don't know. It was whatever.
I mean, I thought it was.
I give it a
good.
5.
I'm gonna give it a 5 too.
5.
8.
Last movie.
Thought it'd be
my...
different.
Alright.
5.
All right, that's it. That's all of them
This
me
was
like-
miserable.
Go through some
for you.
top 5
You're
really
rough
quick.
shape.
Crank
Top
them out.
5? Top 5?
Chase, you go first.
No.
We'll go
Someone else go first.
counterclockwise.
Let me think. while
Josh
people-
is-
You were supposed to be thinking the past 3 hours.
I have been thinking, but I want somebody else to go first.
Keith, you go.
I haven't written down. Oh, I can go.
Well, yeah,
This is Josh's phone. Ah.
Can I see the list?
All right, I can do off my memory then.
Well, like top 5 non-specific order.
All right.
Dune, Mitchell's versus the Machines, French Dispatch, Tick Tick Boom, No Way Home. I think I enjoyed myself in that theater.
Was the
Nice.
4 movies?
Doesn't mean it was great.
Well, it had Willem Dafoe's really bad performance.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Thank God, finally,
ripped.
everybody's making sense now. I'll go next. I have them listed. from best to worst.
Oh, let's hear it.
My favorite movie of the year.
Wait, you should go from 5 to 1.
Okay, my least favorite. Wait.
He did memorize
Yeah.
it backwards.
You want to go from 5 to 1?
Free guys
5
on
to
it.
1. Number 5, Dune. Number. Oh shit! Now I gotta. Hold on. Number 4, Licorice Pizza. Number 3, The Suicide Squad. Number 2, Tick Tick Boom. Number 1, French Dispatch. So French Dispatch, Tick Tick Boom, The Suicide Squad, Dune. What did I put? What did I just say?
Tick Tick Boom.
No,
No,
what was
the last
what was
one.
the first one I said?
Licorice Pizza?
No, he
Licorice
said Dune.
Dune?
Dune. So wait, Licorice Pizza in between The Suicide Squad and Dune.
I will say, it's like, base quality-wise, instead of No Way Home, I would put Licorice Pizza. But I really enjoyed myself.
That's why I
watching
put Suicide Squad. It's like that was the most fun I had in the theater this year.
I'd probably do in no particular order, French Dispatch. Sorry, I'm really having trouble.
You have it like right there.
No, but I don't. That's like to be changed. French Dispatch. Dune. Dune.
Holy
French,
fuck.
French Dispatch. Dune. Tick Tick Boom.
Relatable. Don't be influenced. Why are you hurting so much? Are you okay?
Suicide Squad.
Say it.
Just say
it in
one
the
more.
heights.
Just say it. Just say it.
Just say in the heights.
Say it to the heights.
Come on, guys. French Dispatch. Dune. Tick Tick Boom. Probably
Tick-tock boom.
West Side Story, and either Green Knight or Mitchell's versus Machines.
Really, Green Knight is one of your favorite.
I really liked Green Knight.
Did you watch it again?
No.
Oh.
Did you?
No.
Oh.
You guys want?
No. I mean, I
Oh, my favorite movie of the year.
I would say like so probably
Mitchell's.
French Dispatch, Dune, West Side Story, Mitchell's, and Tick Tick Boom. And then Suicide Squad, Green Knight, and Spider-Man, and Pig
I have
are
a
also
feeling
high up there.
I would put Mitchell's vs. Machines if I had watched it.
Yeah.
Same.
Licorice Pizza maybe on a rewatch could go in there. Alright, Chase.
Okay. I guess I would say French Dispatch, not in a particular order. Again, French Dispatch, Licorice Pizza, Spider-Man, Dune. Is that 4?
Spider-Man.
No, I'm saying Spider-Man's a 4.
I'm saying how many movies?
That Spider-Man sucked.
That was 4 movies.
I still really enjoyed
Okay.
Spider-Man.
Why'd you guys not yell at me about that?
I don't know what a 5th movie is.
Wait, what were your other 4?
Licorice Pizza, Spider-Man, French Dispatch, Dune, and one more.
Did you like Suicide Squad? Did you like
Shang-Chi?
No.
Luca?
No.
Come on, you need a 5th.
I need to see this movie list.
Oh,
I would A Quiet Place Part 2.
Quiet
was
Place 2?
Close. Scroll down. A Green Knight was not close for me because I hadn't even thought about that movie since I watched it.
Hopefully it's
I
not
really liked Don't Look Up, and that
I don't
almost
care.
cracked my
Just
top.
keep scrolling down.
These are like
Oh my god. This is terrible.
What about Lamb? You like that movie?
That was good.
Man,
Last Night in Soho, maybe.
Okay.
I guess I'll do Last Night in Soho, but I don't.
This is like top 5 directors.
I don't know.
Of the
Minus
year?
Spider-Man
What do you mean?
and nothing.
John wants this dog shit. I don't know. This year's so hard. Especially since I didn't watch like the #1 animated movie ever, and then
Yeah.
the, like
You did watch Encanto.
That movie sucked.
And you didn't watch Tick Tick Boom. You didn't watch
Yeah, I didn't
Pig.
watch like the #1 movie.
Wait.
Oh, Tick Tick
yikes.
Boom. Yeah, that's like
But
the
you
one
did
that you're
watch-
missing.
Chaos Walking and
I do watch some really bad movies.
Let's do a top worst
I
5.
think last night Soho.
Oh yeah, worst 5.
No.
Okay.
Just
it's not
bottom
actually
worst
good.
movie of the
Worst
year.
5 is a good one.
It's a
Worst-
tie
worst
between
movie.
He's All That and Space Jam 2.
I didn't see Space Jam, so.
Spider-Man.
I know you're memeing. It's alright.
Worst movie of the year. Venom.
Come on, man.
My least favorite movies of the year was Venom, definitely Space Jam. Kissing Booth 3 was terrible.
Are we counting the Netflix originals?
Yes, they're movies.
God, those movies are terrible.
Black Widow was bad, and so was Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi was not
Cool.
bad.
We
It
got
wasn't that bad.
got next
but
year to look forward
so
to, or
disappointed.
this year.
We're all doing a top 5 worst.
Oh, sorry.
No, we're not.
I thought we just were
Just
doing
list
it.
off
Is it not
the worst.
all? Is
What's
it
your
not
worst
He's
movie?
All That and like Venom and
He's all
Space
that.
Jam?
Venom.
Maybe
Chaos
I'm done.
Walking. Have you ever seen that?
Oh,
Oh, the Tomorrow War, not Shang-Chi.
Tomorrow
Shang-Chi
War was
is
really
fine.
bad.
Tomorrow War was
Shang-Chi.
Basically,
I said Shang-Chi, but I
basically
don't.
any Netflix or fucking Amazon Prime original.
Not really.
Mortal Kombat.
Mitchell's was
That's terrible.
Diary of Wimpy Kid was
There's
worse.
so many bad movies this year. Oops.
Injustice is pretty high up there
Justice
for
is
worst.
ass.
We did miss a few movies. Next year, I vow not to miss any movie.
We gotta watch at least the nominated movies.
I think we watched most of them.
I want to watch that.
I think next year we should actually watch every movie listed on this. Like all of us should watch them.
Yeah.
You
Like-
should have.
I was trying.
You
You
try-
should
you
have. You
try-
didn't watch Bad Trip or Tomorrow War.
So we
yeah.
don't illegally download movies to watch.
I don't think I did for any of these.
This
Like
guy.
the way I watched them the first time. What do you guys?
You had to get your hands on Lamb so we could get that screenshot of
Yeah, come on.
the
You gonna be mad at me
Ram
for that?
yeah.
Sure.
The movies this year were decent. The
Towards the
movie,
end they
movie
got-
theater experience was really cool because obviously this was a weird year. We're coming back into the world,
Spider-Man was awesome in the movie theater.
and I agree
Yeah.
that
just
was
hear
really
everybody
cool.
clap and shit. It
And
was
like
so
also
fun.
your friend, like we had like friends that were like down in the theater, and it was just like, oh, hey,
Things are still kind of weird because movies are still coming out like on HBO Max, same day streaming. I don't know if that's gonna be a thing this year, but like stuff's getting delayed again. Morbius got delayed for the seventh time.
That's for Andrew Garfield to be in it.
Nope.
Yes,
Nope.
Finally.
It's finally there.
Yeah.
it's on Google Images. The Ram Man, throw
Ram
him up on
Man.
the thing.
That was
Ram Man.
stuck in my mind
Ram
for
Man,
at
Ram
least 2
Man.
minutes.
Finally up on the internet. There was still only one photo. Scrolling through all of this, there's one photo of it.
Yeah,
We've got some stuff to look forward to. The Batman, Morbius.
There were some bangers out this year.
Yeah.
They really packed on the heat.
The
the
French
last 3
Dispatch
months.
was the
Yeah,
most
seriously.
The French Dispatch was the most unexpected because I wasn't expecting to like care that much about it. But man,
It was really
it's like
cool.
the
Is that
best
all of
movie of the
our-
year
our
by
number
like
ones?
large
Yeah,
margin.
Wes
That's my
Anderson should
number.
probably retire after that one.
you might feel like
I liked it better than Fantastic Mr. Fox.
Rushmore is.
I think
very good.
I think I like Prime Time for me, or I think I might still like
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
Mr. Fox was so short.
Yeah, it was really short.
Just really weirdly short.
Rushmore is very good. However,
haven't
it
seen
doesn't
it.
really do anything like creative.
Well,
I'll have to watch
hey, tune in next year.
We'll see you guys in a year.
The Red Room.
Hopefully, we'll be in our studio.
Signing
by
off. Well, actually, we're in a floating palace in the atmosphere. That's where.
No
in the
no one's
bathroom
found
right
us
now.
then.
yet.
Is that a
Yeah,
Don't Look Up
don't-
reference?
Yeah, no, that was a. We're in the Red Room, dude.
The Black Widow.
Oh.
Dude, the Black Widow's looking for us right now. Natasha. This room goes on for like 40 feet.
Yeah, it's just
They don't know.
There's just a dark corner over there that we keep on seeing.
That's where like all the ballet people
Figures.
are. Yeah. All right.
Tally ho.
Adios.
See you, chumps.
Peace.
Wait.
It's
I wanna
been
do
4
that.
hours.
Eat my.
Wait, I
rubber.
want to redo that.